Bedroom boom.
Yo,
Bedroom boom.
I
What
don't know.
up?
This is my first time doing this shit. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
All this doom?
Yeah.
This nigga goddamn it on that shit. Yo. Don't say goddamn. I can't understand how a motherfucking go from Mr. Steal Your Girl to flapjack titties and elongated fingers, man. You ain't never lied.
Yeah, I'm just saying that was quite a
A turnaround, huh?
that was a little turnaround. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, now they crying and whining, bitching and moaning. Boy, I sniped their ass so good today. Boy, I sniped their ass good today. Let me show you how messy TikTok is. So I'm sitting in somebody else's live, and I'm not even following Pistol. I swipe up, and there her page is. And you know when you swipe up, it just puts you in the live.
Yeah.
So I clicked on the panel. When I clicked on the panel, I was like, damn, TikTok messy. I ain't even following you, and they put me in your live. So immediately I got blocked. I said, you know what? Demon time. I switched to my motherfucking burner page. Switched to my goddamn burner page. Went up on the panel. When I went up on the panel, I couldn't do it fast enough. It just had the screen was looking like this, like this. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta hurry up. Let me hurry up. So boom, when I hurry up, I boom, put that motherfucker up there. I see, and I thought that she shut it down, but you know how TikTok will drop all the people off your panel
Yeah.
and then just leave you up there. I said, gotcha, bitch. Gotcha, bitch. Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the pew pew, man. That's all I'm saying.
You had to do it to him.
I had to do it, man. They got Punkin Page suspended for 7 days, fam.
Fuck.
7 fucking days, bruh.
You had to do what
And
you had
thought
to
I
do.
wasn't finna get no get back from my home girl. You got me fucked up. We slide on ops over here. Fuck you, tell me. Hell nah.
I'm trying to get some scholars to come and explain to me, how we did this.
Oh shit, they didn't do it.
Like how we get here.
Ancestors were the original heaven. How did they play? Exactly. How did they lose their language? And exactly.
It's nothing crazy, because I never really, so far, I've never really heard the whole like theory of the conspiracy, the great replacement.
Yeah, nah, they just come up with it as they go. Some people got their own opinions of how it happened. Others, they all got different theories, but they were all replaced. Let them tell it. And my question is, if y'all were untouched as a group of people, as they claim, if they were untouched, it would be far-fetched for me to believe that they snatch y'all culture and language when y'all weren't touched by the white man for, I don't know, up until now. Right?
Exactly.
Let them tell it they don't even have any African in their blood. So technically, I would imagine they don't have any white in their blood either. So they're just 100% indigenous. So they left y'all niggas fucking each other but stole your culture and language. That's some powerful shit.
And then you somehow also lost it
That's some powerful shit.
based on them changing the paperwork.
But technically, wouldn't they have to get their hands on the indigenous paperwork to change it?
But see, that's the thing. Is like, did they even have paperwork? Because like, if to me, it makes more sense. Like, if the YT people came through and made the paperwork, why would they do that and then throw it all away and then make a conspiracy? Like, wouldn't they just not make it?
Exactly.
It's like, what's the point of like?
I'm trying to figure it out, bro. Only the indigenous niggas can help us with this. And isn't it beautiful that we get to talk to the magical indigenous niggas and the rest of the world doesn't even know about them? I think that's a beautiful thing.
I actually like I do like I'm not open, but like I do feel like there's some legitimacy to some of the things that people are saying. I just feel like there's no way that like everybody's gonna be indigenous. Like, there's just no way.
No. And that's why Cha Cha won't tell us what her great grandmother name is.
Yeah. I mean, I see Flonies in the like Flonies. I legitimately believe you. Like, I really want you to know that, Flonies. I actually really do believe you. I just don't
Get the
believe a
fuck
lot of
out.
other people. I mean,
Filoni's got
he's
six.
showing his people.
Filoni's got 6 million people in his fucking family tree.
No, I won't say it because y'all a bunch of agents. Like,
Okay,
every time
don't
I
say
share,
it.
all
I
right,
just
but
want you to answer the question.
every time I shared something personal about me, it always goes left. So
Okay.
y'all don't fuck with me for
I
real. So
don't
don't
want
be
you to say
asking
it.
me
I
no
just want you to
personal
answer the
shit.
question. Does
No,
her
I'm not
last name
answering
end in
shit.
O,
I'm not
A, or Z?
answering shit.
So what's the point of coming up to conversation?
You fucking $5 African.
What's the point
I
of coming up
prefer
to conversation?
I don't
23andMe though,
ask you what's your people name because I don't care.
Does the last name end in O, A, or Z?
I
You don't even
don't
have to give
know.
us the fucking name.
I
Literally, you
don't know.
don't.
Go run tell niggas what you
I can't
suspect
dox
it
you
to
by the
be.
last letter of your motherfucking grandmother's
Nah,
last
I'm
name.
good. I'm straight on that.
And I know why you're straight on that because it ends
Yeah,
in an O,
no,
A, or
no.
Z.
You don't know shit.
I
All
know for a
right?
fact it does.
I don't want to end
I
up on
know for a
somebody's.
guaranteed fact it
You
does. I
don't
will bet
know
my last
shit
dollar.
for a
I will bet
fact.
my last dollar on it.
You don't know shit for a fact.
Guarantee
And
it
I don't
does.
want to end up on somebody's
O,
computer
A, or
either.
Z. Anybody up in here willing to bet against me? Cha Cha great grandmother last name ends in an O, A, or Z. Anybody willing to bet against me?
Oh.
Nah. Don't forget, you can actually have an S too.
Yeah, a bunch
Okay,
of
let
fucking
me.
mixed breeds trying to tell me who I am. Get the fuck out of
I
here.
prefer mutant Cha Cha. Thank you.
Yeah, you definitely a fucking mutant.
I
Cause
prefer
y'all don't
mutant.
even
Thank you.
belong on this
Well,
fucking
you're
hemisphere
African mixed
or
with the
planet.
Spaniard,
Wait
so
a
you
minute,
would be
Cha
the more
Cha. I'm
mutant out of
from the
all of us,
Listen,
Western.
wouldn't you?
if
Both my
your
parents
blood
from the
type,
Western Hemisphere.
if your blood type ain't O, quit talking to me, right? Cause y'all,
If your
y'all
last name
don't
don't
even,
end in O,
y'all
quit
don't,
talking to me. Oh
y'all
my
don't even
God, Cha Cha,
belong.
you can
Y'all
keep
don't
talking.
even belong on this motherfucking
Both of my
planet,
Well,
let
parents
my
are
alone
from the
my blood
Western
type
hemisphere.
world.
is an
Thank you.
O, so
All right, you just be co-signing anything, Jay. I don't take you seriously,
oh
but
shit, I can pull my chart. I bet you can't.
I
Cha on some
could,
bullshit today,
Oh
huh?
I
shit.
could,
Cha on
I
some
could,
bullshit
and,
today.
and guess what? It will not say I'm not no octoroon, quadroon, mulatto, none of that
And
shit.
whose does?
I'm a
Whose does? Mine
niggeroon.
says black. I can make you real mad because all my shit says black.
You,
All
Hold on, y'all. Let me
my shit
say
says
this.
yeah,
black.
Let
but
me
you
say
ain't
this
Uh
my
real quick,
black.
Hold on,
y'all.
hold
I'm
up,
gonna
y'all.
drop
Listen to
You
Punky.
down.
ain't
Listen to
my
Punky.
black.
You ain't my black either.
Hold up, listen to Punky.
God,
Wait, Punky,
shit,
what you was gonna say? Let's give Punky a minute to come back to the phone.
thank God for that.
oh, damn, you really can see who be mutant people and shit on here,
I
huh?
will be diet black
Yeah,
out this
hello.
bitch.
Yeah, what you saying,
Yeah.
man?
Fucking
Now I just want to say that I been gave out the message that
There's no
anybody
goddamn way
want to
y'all got.
host. Hold on, Bills. Anybody want to host it? Let me know. So the ones who came to me is the ones who's hosting. So I'll say I'm just
Get the
Oh
food
yeah, and
for
and along
allowing
with that,
everybody.
hold
anybody.
up.
Ready to say
Along with that,
that.
let me say this too.
Just get the
Be
food for
careful who y'all bringing up
everybody.
on the panel today. It's some ops out there in the mix, ready to pull some bullshit tricks.
okay, gotcha.
Um,
Oh yeah, that's gonna get the page taken. Yeah, y'all
Hey,
watch
just
out
be
for
y'all
careful who y'all let
stop
up on the
watch out for
panel.
Tyree
fucking.
today. Watch out for Tyree for the
Hold
next
on,
panel.
y'all. Hold on, real quick.
You good, Jaquan?
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Everything good
hold
with
on,
you?
Steely. Hold on, Steely. So, if anybody come up here, flash like a new picture, just end the live instantly.
Okay.
And if you get like probably up to 8 to 10 restrictions or whatever,
Just gonna restart.
Just
just
restarted.
gonna
Okay.
restart it. Now you might get a restriction about the image, about your image, because for some reason they want you to, I guess, have your camera
Yeah, they
open or
gotta see you
something.
too.
Yeah, something like that. But you can appeal that. They ain't gonna take you down for that. You can appeal that. But like the
Okay.
other stuff, like people, language
Yeah,
and
show us you a
stuff
nigga
like
every
that.
couple of minutes and flash that black
Yeah.
forehead,
So you
motherfucker.
have to if you get too many of them, then just gonna restart it, because
Okay.
now you'll take the whole line down.
And
But yeah, like I
again,
said, anybody want to host, just let me know. I've been told everybody. So the people who
and
host was the
again,
ones who
watch
came
out
to
for the
me.
motherfucking ops today.
one of them.
Hey, was
Shit.
you able to get to your stop, Darkon? They got you back on the
Man,
road,
nigga, listen, let me tell you what happened, P. They had me sitting on the side of the road waiting 3.5 hours. The nigga pull up. He tell me the diaphragm of the air tank fucked up, so he can't fix it on the side of the road. The tow guy come, lift the truck up. He like, bro, it ain't no fucking diaphragm. You just got a valve, a plastic fucking valve that's broken off. You could have fixed this shit. You could have fixed this shit on the side of the road. So instead of me getting my shit fixed on the side of the road, my clock runs empty. Now I'm 2 hours away from Knoxville. Motherfucker can't get a driver to come meet me up here. Now I gotta sit here overnight, drive an hour down into Knoxville, meet this nigga in the morning, and drive back to Baltimore to tomorrow. So I ain't gonna make it back home at 5 o'clock tomorrow when I should have been making it home at 10, 11 o'clock tonight. Go fucking figure. But they gotta pay me for every hour at $38.75 an hour. That's $800 just sitting on my ass. So I ain't tripping, P.
Shit, I mean, it is what it is.
So yeah, I'm finna sit in the back seat of the truck, jerk
Hey,
this
y'all.
meat off. If anybody want to watch, inbox me. Drink me a beer or two. And it's a private show. Y'all are welcome to join. Just send your information to my inbox.
Okay.
I
Hi,
ain't
y'all.
talking about
Hey,
you. You
Kentucky.
married.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey,
what's up,
Kevin.
everybody?
So yeah, I don't know. Anybody want to address the prompt? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, is it pumpkin
Yeah,
line?
mine
Pumpkin
aren't the
always a
original
lady.
inhabitants.
Yeah, I'm
I mean, I do
pumpkin.
have some that are, but
Your
I'm not too
pumpkin?
people.
Okay, 3 questions. If your ancestors were the original inhabitants, how were they replaced? The same way it happened all over the world. YT people came and whitewashed the history and replaced the original people. They did it in Egypt too. That's why you got them light-skinned Arab and white motherfuckers and even the Ews claiming they're the real Israelites. It's a bunch of bullshit. How did they lose their language and culture? Well, when you're forced to not do it and you're in fear of losing your life or being put in jail, hey, you gonna forget that shit over time. And then you got projects like MK Ultra and MK Naomi included, things like the Tuskegee experiment where they just been fucking with niggas over time. Yeah, it's you gonna your priorities gonna get a little shuffled, trying to just stay alive. Let's see what parts of that history survive today. Us, nigga, we still here. We ain't go nowhere. They tried to wipe niggas out.
We
They
still
in this
here,
bitch.
nigga.
We still in this bitch.
Hell
And who
yeah.
preserved them? Our
That's why you
motherfucking parents. God
mad.
damn it, they kept having babies. Despite all the attempts to make niggas have birth control, all the abortion clinics, all of that shit, niggas was still procreating. They was being fruitful and multiplying like a
Can't we
motherfucker.
be productive? Can you talk some sense so we can have a good
Then we came
interaction?
in and
There
did
goes
our
the
part.
Africans. God damn it,
All I'm
yo.
gonna say is the last time I had this conversation with Bill and Steely, I hit a fucking deer, so I'm gonna abstain from conversation.
That's right. That's right. Hey,
Look,
I'm glad
that was
you're
Chief
okay. But
Running.
that's
Look,
what happens when driving.
I did want to
must be a
say I
descendant
did
of
want to
Chief
say
Running
this,
Deer.
right?
Because he chose him.
I did want to say this. Abracadabra, hocus pocus. The indigenous people are still here. That's a great speech, Bill. Great speech.
Gratitude, man. We still in this bitch. We ain't go nowhere despite literally all the shit that you can read up that they tried to do to stop niggas from even being here. They tried to stop niggas from eating. They tried to stop niggas from fucking. They tried to stop niggas from talking. They tried to stop niggas from being who they is, and we still that to this day, bro. Y'all can't take that shit away from us. Be mad. Fuck
That
your
we
feelings. And
influence
if you
the
feel played,
motherfucking
go to
world.
church.
Not only that, we still are the motherfucking culture. And we speak Ebonics, nigga. That's our language.
Oh,
What did you
address
niggas speak before
how
Ebonics,
Native
Cha-Cha?
Americans still have their culture. Tom, I've told you this multiple times through the boarding schools that the European colonizers set up for them. They weren't even teaching themselves their own culture. The Europeans were.
Whose
Any other
culture is
questions?
that? Is that your culture or is that a new random culture?
Nigga, do you see us
No,
outside with no fucking
that's
rhythm?
a new random culture
So
because that
because a lot of
language
people say
is
they
a
stole your culture.
polysynthetic language.
So a lot of
I
people,
got a question, Bill.
quite a few people
Do
say
you
that they
think a
stole
culture
a
should
culture.
have rhythm? Like on some real shit, do you think culture should have rhythm of some type? Whether it
Okay,
be musically or
so
just some type of
Hey,
rhythm, right?
Bill, you know that okay, so there's actually a thing about this, how and you're gonna hate this, but African people, the type of rhythm that they have are usually on the what is it, like on the 4 or something like that, and then the other people have it on the 1. So it's like that's why it looks like they don't have rhythm to us.
That's okay. No, that's not even what I'm talking about. You stay right there.
Africa is a continent, not a people.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, Steely. I'm not doing that today.
Native American music.
I don't know. It's 54 different versions of them over there. I don't know who you're talking about.
So
The
they
same
do have a
traditions
type
that
of their
these
own
Native
rhythm.
Americans
They do have their
have
own
is
type
the
of rhythm.
same. The same
2
traditions
and
and
4, yes,
practices
yes,
that Native
that is
Americans.
bonus.
Okay. The same traditions that Native Americans have is the same traditions and practices that the Siberians have today. They use the same drums. They have the same attire,
Oh
similar
yeah, Cha
attire.
Cha dropped
They
you,
do the same
mulatto.
dances.
Okay, so
Cha Cha.
how were they
Don't
able
drop
to?
me. I got dropped.
So Doom, I have a question
Yeah.
for the indigenous niggas. So can you guys give us an example in history where an invader has come in, they've taken over the land, the resources, everything, right? They've given it to a different people, and then those people assume the identity of the original people of the land.
What kind of question is that?
I think it's a
Bro,
good
they
question. It's a
dropping
good
each other,
question.
Is
man.
that not what you guys say
Hey, can we
happened?
chill with the dropping? I don't know what the hell's
That's a
going on.
good question
Hey,
when
bro, see
she's
if we can
standing
open
on
up
the
another
land in which they
space.
did that.
See if we can open up another space on the panel. I think.
Okay, before everybody
Like
starts
it's already documented that happened. So what kind
No,
of
what I'm
question is that?
asking
Is my point.
outside of what you guys are saying is documented, where has that ever happened before?
The Caribbean islands. What are you talking about here?
What do you mean the Caribbean islands? Okay, so the Caribbean islands,
Who were the
original.
first ones to come in contact with these
Egyptian,
Europeans?
Hey,
the
MIA, can you
Egyptians of
tell
today.
can you
Do you
tell
think
how to
that
open
those
up
are
the
the
ninth
same
part, the ninth,
Egyptians of back
what's the name on
then?
the panel?
The people who are saying that they're
You got
Egyptians
to
today.
change the layout.
Where do you do
change the
that?
layout.
So basically, click the little multi guest thing, right?
Why y'all keep dropping me?
When
I
you
was on the
hold on,
panel.
Cha Cha. When you click that multi guest thing, go to the top corner. It's gonna be like a little like a little screw type thing in there for the settings.
Okay.
Click that
Yeah, because I was on the
and
panel first.
scroll all the way to the right, and you'll see the different layouts.
Okay.
The thing is, we gotta understand. Even
Too.
the Egyptian they have now is not the ancient Egyptians. We gotta understand that modern Egyptians
There we
not
go.
ancient Egyptians.
Now we can
Yeah,
get some
but
actual sense up here.
we
Cha
know
Cha.
that Egypt has been sort of colonized by many different groups multiple times, but the culture of the ancient Egyptians is not the same as what is in today. The culture's been totally different, right? It's been
Right.
modified by the Arabs who've come in. So what I'm saying is that you guys say that Native Americans came in and installed your entire culture, which is not what happened in Egypt.
Cut Bill's fucking camera off. He about to snipe the live.
No, not Native Americans
You
didn't
guys say
take.
they stole the language, the land, the resources, everything like that, but when has that ever happened in history?
They are the descendants of, right? Descendants of certain groups that was brought over here during a certain time periods.
So
And
that's
some
not
of
the
their
that's not the question,
migrations.
MIA. That's not the problem with that, MIA, is what the question is if this replacement happened, how were they able to give these people this culture? Like, how were they able to teach them the
I'm
language?
telling you, I
give
just
them all
told
the
you where their culture came from. Their culture is not something that was already over here in the Americas.
Oh, okay.
That
So
culture
the
that you
current
see,
native culture is
the
there is
the
a completely
culture that
separate
you
culture
see
from
Native Americans practicing today is the Siberian cultural practices. You can look at Siberian native groups today, and they have the same practices.
So
The
then
same
why?
So I have a
tradition.
question.
So I guess like, why do people like Sage, who always talks about being in his tribe? Why do people like Sage go to powwows? Why do black Indians wear feathers and do powwows as well? Like,
That
where?
was my
So
question.
why, if that's not their culture, why are they
Because they
appropriating?
adopted into the Native American title. That's different from being the Amerindians. Being a Native American is not the same as being an Amerindian.
No. Okay, so all the black Indians, you know what I'm talking about? Like when they're using the feathers and they're doing the powwows. Is that them? That's them appropriating a culture that was never theirs?
They found
No.
ties to the tribe, so that's their culture.
But you
That's
just
what
said that's
their lineage
Siberian
took
culture.
And
them.
You said that's Siberian culture a second
hold
ago.
up. What needs to be added in that situation was indigenous people. A matter of fact, feathers are not exclusive to the Siberians or anybody who claims to be Native Americans.
So how are you guys able to keep?
When
How are you
you
guys able to
look,
remember that you wear feathers though?
hold on,
You
You
forgot
need
everything else.
ostrich
Hold on.
feathers to color that big
Can I
ass
please finish
cha-cha.
my thought
Okay, so
process?
I'm gonna ask
All
everyone
right.
here
So
after
it's
Cha-Cha. Go
not
ahead,
just
Cha-Cha.
Thank you. It's not just exclusive to them. When you look throughout the whole Americas, feathers are used, whether it's used as a headdress, as a skirt, or many different things. Even in the wintertime, when you look at Inuits or other places who it may seem cold or whatever the case may be, feathers were worn. So to say that that's only exclusive to a particular Native American group, you're wrong on that. Feathers was worn throughout the whole entire Americas
Okay,
I mean,
by
not
let's
even
not
just the
pigeonhole the
thing
different
about
feathers.
tribes
Not
and
feathers.
the
groups.
pun unintended.
No. The thing about feathers though is majority of the time when you see feather headdresses being worn, people claim that it was chiefs, but majority of the time those were shamans, not the chief.
Well, we can get off the feathers because
And do y'all
there are
know?
other
Oh
aspects
no,
that they
no, we're gonna
participate
stay
in.
on the feathers
Asking
because
No,
who's
because I
talking
asked things
about
like
it.
feathers. So explain the powwow.
hold up. So just
If the
one
feather,
second.
that's a fair point that people all over the world use feathers. So that's a fair point.
But do
And
y'all
what
know
about the
what the
other cultural
feathers
things
come
like the
from?
powwow?
Do you know what
A
the feathers
bird's
originally
ass,
came?
nigga, duh.
No. The feathers weren't originally from a bird. Do y'all know what creature the feathers were originally from?
Oh,
We're
this
going
nigga
down
ain't
the
finna say a
rabbit hole. Come
dragon, is
on,
it?
reel it back, reel it back.
Peacock, pheasants. They use different birds. They
It's
didn't
all
Is this
just
nigga
use
birds,
about to
one
say
type
a
of
birds.
animal.
dragon? If you
No,
say a dragon, I'm
Dark
dropping.
Wine actually is on the money. Yes,
Oh
from
my
the
fucking
feathered
god, I'm
serpents.
out of here, bro.
Yeah, you can be out of here
Niggas
if
not
you
finna say
want.
a dragon, bro.
That's why when
Not only that,
that's why the
feathers were.
hairdressers used to be so fucking long and it looked like dragon scales and feathers. It looks
This
like a
nigga's
fucking
dead ass
serpent.
serious.
Yes,
And
I'm
not
dead
only
ass
that,
serious.
feathers are used
Nigga,
for
since when did
spiritual
reptiles grow
practices.
feathers?
I
Calm.
still use feathers.
Well, kind nigga, like
The
what?
se-
Wait. I thought reptiles didn't grow feathers.
I mean, they do have a lot of these ancient cultures in the Americas have this thing called the feathered serpent.
Thank you, MIA.
Exactly.
Okay,
But
And
that's a
feathers
fucking
are
that's
fictional
also
fine.
used
character.
for
We're getting away from the
spiritual
point though. We're getting away
practices.
from the point. We're getting away from the point. The point
But
is
you
the
made
point
that
is
point.
no, the point, the original, well, the point is I said things like powwows and feathers. So you guys are saying that feathers are a thing that's all over the world. I will
And they
concede that.
come from dragons.
Yeah, I will concede that.
This
I will
all over
concede
the
that. Oh
world,
no, but
but
I'll
we
concede it. I'll
wore
concede
them
it.
Darquan,
and
shut your
used
ass
them for
up.
So
Focus
the
spiritual
sitting
question,
another
practices.
goddamn deer at your ass.
the question though is, so you guys are all saying that your culture was completely just wiped out, and now it has been replaced with a Siberian type of culture. And my question
That's
is,
not what
No,
I'm
see, that's the
saying.
thing. It wasn't even
Nobody's
wiped out.
saying
What they
okay,
did is they took it, watered it down to the shittiest, lowest frequency format, and then gave it back. Same thing they did with KFC, Korean Fried Chicken. They took it from niggas and then gave it back to them,
but
but in
then
a
somebody
different way.
just didn't somebody else just say it was
And
feathers?
then said it was theirs. That's all. That is all they did.
Okay, so how were they able to
They
teach?
didn't
because
make
I
shit new.
still
They
use
didn't create
feathers.
shit because they are literally incapable. Everything that these people have done is mimicry and watering down. They haven't created a goddamn thing. They steal and then they water down the shit, bro. That's
Okay,
all
so
they've been doing.
how were they
I
able? How were
still
they able
use
to give it to
feathers
you?
for
How were they
spiritual
able to?
practices.
Okay, but how were they able to?
So
How were they able to teach this entirely foreign population all of this stuff?
The same way they did it in Africa, motherfucker. Why are you asking these
We
dumbass
don't need to talk
questions?
about
boarding
Africa. Africa is
schools.
not. This is
No,
We
no,
just
I'm
went
giving
through
you a
boarding
assuming that
perfect
you guys
school
are
example
stuff.
because
correct.
you're
So I'll
asking
tell
a
you.
question.
I will
You're
tell you
asking
the
a
point.
question that has an
I'll
answer
tell you
in
the point of
multiple
the
continents.
Bill.
You're
Bill.
asking a question that has an answer in multiple continents, and when
No,
we
I will
give you
tell
that
you.
answer, it's still
I'll tell
not
you the point of the. I'll
satisfactory.
tell you the point of this
So
prompt.
I don't get it.
The point of this prompt is assuming that everyone is correct. Today we are assuming that black indigenous people are the original inhabitants of this land. We do not need to talk about Africa at all. I am just trying to understand how you were replaced.
Systematically, motherfuckers got in close because we are the most loving and welcoming people on the motherfucking planet. That's why when motherfuckers come to the cookout, we give them a plate and we let them dance and everything. Nobody else does it, and nobody else invites us to their shit. We're the only people that do it, and that's what fucked us over, being nice and giving. And motherfuckers took our kindness as a weakness and bonked
Let
us
me
over
find
the
out
head
these
with our
niggas stole y'all motherfucking history over a bag of
I'm gonna
ribs.
just say
Ain't
this,
the
right?
Let me
cookout
find
ain't
out they
nothing
stole
but a
y'all
big ass
history over a rack of ribs.
barbecue?
But this is why I
Ain't
The
the
want to
cookout
say,
ain't
documents,
nothing but a
the
big ass
documents is being
barbecue? And
created
ain't the
by them.
barbecue
That is
indigenous to the
how.
Western Hemisphere?
Y'all niggas
You
so
gave up y'all
you're only
history
getting
to
one
ribs.
side. Listen, you only get
Yeah.
one. You only get one side of the story of history. Period. We are reading it from European side of history. We're not reading it from our ancestors' side of history.
Why are
Right?
the
You're
black
only getting one
black
side
indigenous the
of
only
it. You're
people that
not
don't have
like I
getting
do want
it
to say
from the
this,
other
right?
side.
why are black indigenous people the only ones that don't have a side? We don't. So I understand
The
that there is
thing
a side.
is, y'all
So no,
claim we don't have a side, but we are
Why
here
are
telling
they?
you the
Why are
side.
they the only people with a
let me
history of
I'm gonna
reclassification?
let me finish my question so you guys can
Why
understand
is y'all
exactly what I'm
always
saying.
projecting?
So what I'm talking about is we know that to the victor goes the spoils, and victors often write history, right? But the problem is, yes, Bubba, this is doom. The problem is, we still, while the other narratives are often suppressed, we still do have those other narratives. We can look at Israel or Israel. I don't know how to say that in Philistine or whatever elsewhere.
Israel.
And then we could talk about even the current Native Americans have their own story, even though that in that story they lost really, really bad. So why is it that the indigenous niggas are the only ones that don't have a cohesive and consistent story about their take on history?
They actually do. If you heard me say it multiple times,
Well,
we've
all of
been
you
given
guys
the same.
disagree on
We've
this.
been given the same. Well, I'll say it. We've been given the same history as you, and somehow we've been able to find all our shit through all the hidden bullshit nooks and cranny. But on the opposition, it's nothing. There's no actual paper trail. There's nothing. There's nothing but a myth and belief. There's a paper trail behind our shit that was actually hidden, and that's crazy.
I mean,
And I agree with Bill.
for
Because
all the people that have
again,
brought up their
There's a
genealogy,
proof
I
of,
still have
of
not
to
seen
Doom.
reclassification also.
Well, I've seen every time. Correct me if I'm wrong, but all the times that I've seen people bring up their papers, they look exactly like mine or anybody else's. Like I've never seen any eyes on anybody's anything. I've usually seen Negroes, mulattoes,
Why?
black,
But
which is
it's
what
it's
the
not
rest of it
about
has as
only
well.
I being on there. Those are
Right.
just for the ones who resembled the so-called ones that they deemed Indian during the time. Those
So where are
so-called,
the
hold
other
on,
ones?
those so-called records that you're talking about only went off of looker shit. Period. So when you have the reclassification of mulatto, Negro, colored, black, and all this other shit, there were multiple groups incorporated in those just off of skin tone alone
Right. But if you're
prior to
reclassified, what
anything
were
else
you
being
previously?
associated.
But what were you previously before the reclassification?
What
What
your
was the what
tribe
like what?
was.
Well, no. What would they have written down on a
They
census
would have written
prior to
down
your
whatever they
reclassification?
wanted. They would have written down whatever class they wanted to put you in. They didn't
That's
place.
not what I'm
They
asking
did.
though.
Hold on. I'm telling you, they didn't put people in the class that was appropriate to where they actually were. Like if they actually came across the indigenous population and they wanted to correctly mark it down on the census, they would have just said indigenous population of America. Simple as
So
that.
why are there eyes? Why are people able to find eyes for Indians in the
Because
census?
some had people that was listed to that, but that was not the only classification that people were listed as.
Okay, so
Hey,
what
you
was the
want to know the
original
best part? Hey,
classification? What is the
Doom.
original classification for the Black indigenous population? What was
You're trying
what
to
was the
you're
original
trying to
classification?
the thing is you're
Well,
trying to
because you're saying that
compare.
you're reclassified, or
Listen,
you
you're
have that
trying to
wrong.
tie European
There is
created
no
terms to the
You're
one
saying
indigenous
that you
populations
were
of America.
umbilical.
reclassified. So I'm
There
saying
is no,
if you
what are
were
we talking?
reclassified,
They
something
were
had to
called
change,
their
no?
tribes to begin with in the beginning. You're talking
Yeah, but
about
you're not
reclassifications that came once European contact happened.
sure.
What sense does that make?
So I'll tell you again. So you're saying so the consensus is that you were reclassified on paper. In order for that to happen, since Native Americans or indigenous Indians, whatever you want to call them, did not have these systems, reclassification would need to mean that you were classified as something previous to the reclassification. So what was it? What were they calling you on these censuses? Were they putting eyes or
Hold
what?
on. Doom.
Hold up. Wait. Oh, go ahead, Bayou.
Doom,
I'll
Doom,
I'll
you're
finish first.
asking a question. You're asking a question as if it was one umbrella term for all the people of the land, Doom, and that's a
Well, no, I'm
dishonest
asking you,
act.
what were the terms? Was it a term? Was it multiple
Look, hey,
terms? What were
dude,
they?
this is how I can destroy your argument.
You would have
There were no
to go.
terms because before then there was no census. There was no self-identification. There was no identification.
Okay, so
These
what about
people
the
were their
Walter
tribes.
Flecker thing? So what
These
about the
people
Walter
were their
Flecker thing?
tribes. So
Okay,
when the census did come into play, that's
right.
when people got classifications.
So
So
we
if
have
these people
almost
were,
so we have almost
that would still
150
be, hold
years.
up, let me finish. So that would still be by default a reclassification because if these people were already their tribes and identified themselves with their tribes, and then the colonizers came and gave them these labels, these colonial societal labels that they didn't give themselves, that would make them what?
Sure. So
Right, but what
the
did you
problem in
guys
that
call
story. Wait, 1 second,
yourselves? Like,
Tom.
I don't.
Thank
The
you.
problem with
I
that
love
story
this
though,
shit.
Bill, is that you guys have multiple levels of reclassification. So we have over 100 years between when the first census happened and when Walter Plecker happened. So even though you guys might have been calling yourselves something prior to colonization, once colonization happened, they did give you a name. What was that name? And then the question then is, from the time that they gave you that name to the time
Name
of
was
Walter, let me
American.
finish. Let me finish. The
Yeah, go
time that they
ahead. Go
gave you the
ahead. Go
name.
ahead. Go ahead.
Let me finish. Let me finish. The time that they gave you the name to Walter Plecker, which is over 100 years, what were you being classified as on those censuses before Walter Plecker? Because that was in the
Did I
1900s.
not just or
You
like
did
what?
not. You didn't answer that question. You didn't answer that
Hey
question.
man, the iPhone 18 Pro was
Dog, we just
released
running in
in
circles
September.
around with
You
you right
didn't. You
now,
didn't answer
dog.
that question in my head.
iPhone 18 Pro is released in September.
Nice. You didn't answer that question in my head.
Can I get the big screen? It's an easy answer to your
Can
question
somebody
because
get Bill a big screen?
it
I'm
was in the
running.
Webster's dictionary. After they stopped identifying niggas with their tribes, they gave them the classification of American Indian
Man, you
because
can't take that
niggas
sexy,
niggas
attractive ass
over
nigga
here.
off the big screen
If
for
we
no
gonna be
information.
correct about the history, niggas wasn't calling themselves American Indians at first. No, that was
Absolutely
just
not.
a
Yeah, I
colonial
agree. I
label.
agree. I agree.
Niggas want to
So
remove sexy,
so
attractive niggas off the big
so
screen for
once
some
again,
fucking information.
Daquan, I'm gonna kick your motherfucking.
You know what? We need Darquan to. He's keeping it light right now.
Go ahead, man. Here. How you switch?
I don't
How
know
do
how
I
to do it.
switch?
I don't know how to
Hold on,
do
hold
it.
on. I got it.
I'm gonna use that shit. Hey, bro, you can't take a sexy nigga off the screen. Fuck you, time.
For some
I'm
fucking
gonna
information.
use that shit.
You niggas crazy.
This is what before they started calling them colored, before they started calling them black. These niggas was American. They were the Americans.
So where's that on the census?
It wasn't on the census. That's when the reclassification started happening. When the census came to be, that's when they started calling niggas what they weren't,
Which
and
was
giving
what?
them
Which was
labels
what?
and giving them the labels that they wanted to give them instead of what they actually
So
were.
then how? So then
The
what did?
bro,
So then what?
Doom, I need you to
Because
understand this. I need you to understand this.
So what
I need you to
exactly?
understand
there
this, Doom,
was
No,
no
I
because
do.
you getting it all
I
confused.
do understand. I do understand. You guys are just kind of.
No, you
You guys are
don't.
kind
The
of. I do.
creation
I do.
of the census is the reclassification. Are you that
Okay, then
slow?
what? So then what is Walter Plecker?
It's another reclassification. Like,
Okay,
what are
so
you
but if you
talking
so
about?
okay, so let's follow that logic. So they already reclassified you prior to the census, and then they reclassified you again
They did it
over
How
100
do you
years
think?
later?
How do you get
How did that
colored,
happen?
Negro, and black? What
That
do you mean?
doesn't
How
make
did that
any
happen?
Just
sense.
explain to me how it happened.
How do
That
you,
Just explain
doesn't
to me
make
how it
any
happened.
sense,
So
it
goddamn.
makes
just
complete
make it
Listen,
make
this
sense
is
for
how
me.
dumb y'all are. This is how dumb y'all are.
This is
Hold on,
literally trying to
hold on. I'm
argue
about
in
to tell them how
circles.
dumb they are, right?
so just explain to me.
Negro, color, black, and all that shit is all reclassifications. Y'all are just
Okay,
that
so what were
dumb.
you
Y'all,
before that on the census?
There
it's
was
still a
no.
reclassification, stupid. Are you that
No,
dumb?
MIA. He's doing this
There
on
Yo,
purpose.
was no
It's a
census,
reclassification
but
Hold
of
the
the
up.
same fucking
Hold
census
human.
up.
don't
is
crash,
Hold
not
MIA.
up. You're
law.
trying
You
to
keep
argue
saying
with something.
census
You're
like the
literally
census
trying
is
to.
law.
What you're trying to do right now is argue in circles on purpose because I gave you.
I'm not arguing circles. I asked you. I asked you a pretty clear question.
And you're asking the same
You did
question.
not. You didn't. No. So actually, Bill, you did give me part of the answer. You did give me part of the answer.
So once again, since I didn't answer your question, I'll say the answer
You gave me part of it, but you didn't give me the whole
wasn't
thing.
listening. You asked what people were called, but prior to misclassification or reclassification, they were called and identified by their tribes. They identified within themselves. They identified themselves. So whatever tribe they were part of, they would have said. That's why they didn't speak English language when they wrote down what language and shit they wrote and understood. They wrote their tribal languages. Okay, are you still following?
Why isn't that reflected on the first part on the first censuses?
Are you still following me?
I think you understand. I think you know that I know what you're saying. You're just not answering
if that's the case, why are you still asking the same question?
Because you're not answering the question.
But are you still following me? Because
your question got asked 100 different ways. You're just that fucking illiterate. You don't understand what the fuck we're saying.
We gotta go to insulting intelligence.
Bro, it's the fucking truth.
And I'm
giving this shit 100 different fucking ways and you still don't understand.
Next MIA is gonna tell me he's gonna come see me.
Doom. I wouldn't do that. You would call the police.
I would call the police on your bitch ass.
Yeah, I already know. I already know a snitch bitch when I see one.
I don't give a fuck.
So stick to the information and stop deflecting.
I'm trying to, but you guys won't answer the question.
We're having a conversation. You're running in circles.
Look, once again, hold up. To all 20 plus people in here, Doom is trying to argue in circles. He asked me the question, what were people called before the census, before misclassification?
I will literally reiterate. Let's answer chat. Let's answer chat.
The host asked what people were called before the census came around because he was like, what were y'all called before reclassification? Whatever tribe these people belong to, whether it be Cherokee, Creek, Muskogee, that's what they called themselves.
That's fair. I have no argument against that.
You're not letting me finish. You want to talk over me because you know I'm answering your question. You want to keep going in circles. I'm not going to let you do that because I don't like going in circles. That way people get dizzy and then they end up tripping over their shoes. So we're going to keep walking down the road. Are you still following me? Because I'm giving you your answer. Are you still following?
You're giving me half of it, but you can keep
going. Just making sure. So these people that called themselves whatever tribes they were in, the colonizers hadn't given them labels yet. So they only called them what they identified with it themselves as. So when the colonizer came and asked them what they were, and they said what they were, whether it be Creek, Muskogee, Cherokee, anything, the colonizers at that point were like, okay, well, that's what they are. Then came the census, which also came with reclassification. What does that mean? That means the colonizers decided to say, okay, we don't want to call them what they are and what they identify as anymore. On this paper, we're going to call them what we want to call them and identify as. And they did it multiple times, starting with Negro and colored, and then eventually black. And then when Jesse came, and then the African American Summit came, eventually African American. So I've answered your question multiple times. And this time I just gave it more of a breakdown. These people before the census came, they were called with whatever they identified as in their tribe. So when the colonizers saw someone say, oh, I'm Cherokee, and they saw a Cherokee, these people are Cherokee. Years later, they decided, okay, we don't want these people to be what they say they are. We want them to be what we say they are. That's how you get mis- and reclassification. That's how you get the Racial Integrity Act. That's how you get Walter Plecker, Naomi Drake. That's how you get all of this. All of this. Is there any gray area in anything I'm saying? If it's gray, I promise I'll bring light and color to all of it.
Okay, thank you, Bill. So again, I do concede that sure they were classifying themselves before colonization. When the census first comes about, white people did decide they're going to call them something else. That makes sense. My question is why didn't that, number one, why didn't that suffice, and why do we need to have multiple more reclassifications? And then number two is, if they're reclassifying you guys to being too Negro, too colored, too BLK, too African American, where is the paper trace of you being called whatever you're saying was on the census prior to that? Like, I haven't seen any evidence supporting that whatsoever.
That's a lie, because you have.
I have not.
You just said it. You literally
What
just
did I
said
just
it.
say? What did I just
You
say?
just admitted it.
What did I just admit?
You just admitted it.
Admit what? What
Was
did I
there
admit?
a reclassification? Was
Yeah,
there a
I'm
reclassification?
saying yes. There's a reclassification. So
So
where were you guys before that?
Okay,
you
so what
agree
are you
that hold
asking for
up.
proof
So
for
if
it
you're
then?
saying there's no paper trail, but you also agreed to what I was saying that through reclassification on the census, that would be your paper trail. So there's that question answered.
No,
Now,
but
when you
that's
said
not
how
that's not
does
what
it,
you're that's not what I'm
that is the
asking
answer
you.
to
That's
that
not what
question.
I'm
That is an
asking.
easy paper trail
That's
for
not what I'm
reclassification.
asking. That's not
Just
what I'm
follow the
asking.
census.
So
You
what I'm
said there
asking
should be a paper trail.
what I'm asking you guys,
Oh
like
my
I
God.
feel like
Move the
I
goalpost.
feel
Go
like you're
ahead. I'm
forcing
waiting.
me to answer this question over and over. And I think there should be a simple way of just clarifying this. And the point is, so you go from identifying yourselves as yourselves prior to colonization, fine. Then the census comes out, and we get this thing where they're calling you something else. But what I'm saying is that was all fine for about 100 years. And then in 1920, when we get Walter Plecker, he then decides to call you guys Negroes and blacks and coloreds, right? So what was he call? What were they calling you on the census before that? And if you're saying the answer is Indian, why don't we see any eyes in a lot of these black indigenous people's genealogy? Why is it the same thing as what mine says? Like why is it when I look at my great great grandfather from 1860 or whatever, his says, mulatto, or it says BLK, and then it says the same thing as yours. Like why doesn't yours say Indian?
Dude,
I
what
have a
happened
question.
to the
Is
race?
Indian a race?
What
Hold
happened
on.
to the?
Are
Hold
Indian
on
a
now.
race?
What happened
Is
to
It
the
was
Indian a race?
labeled as a
race
race.
Indian.
It was labeled as a
in the
race in
Even
the
South?
census.
Indian. Hold on,
Indian
time
was
out.
labeled as a race on the
We
census.
wasn't
Yes, it
even
was.
calling
Okay,
ourselves
cool.
Indian
It's a
They
race
either.
of
were
Y'all
people,
they were
right?
called
they were
us
putting
that
Indian.
shit.
They were
It
putting it
was
in
labeled as
there.
a
Y'all
race on the
called
census.
us that
Okay,
shit.
Shout
so
out to
is that
Toshka who said I had a point. Thank you, Toshka. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm answering anything crazy. I think it's a pretty simple
No,
question.
but yeah, but we wasn't even calling ourselves Indian. Remember,
Yeah, but there
y'all
are
thought we
people.
was
MIA just
Indian.
said that there
Hold
are people that have
on,
Indian on their thing.
dude. That's the problem. You
Now
talk
she
too
ready to
fucking
dance.
much.
But I'm hosting
That's
the bitch.
crazy
We
Here
conversation.
wasn't.
come the
We wasn't.
dancing.
Hello.
Here come the
We
dancing.
wasn't even calling ourselves Indian.
So
Y'all
what the
called
fuck was
us
you
that.
calling yourself?
Excuse me.
What
Look,
the fuck was you
Darquan, I
calling yourself?
answered that question
Oh my
earlier.
God.
The
I'm
people
asking
within
Can
Cha
their
you
Cha,
fake
because she's
tribes.
from a different
Africans?
tribe.
Can you fake Africans? Just
Cha Cha,
chill.
in your tribe, what were y'all calling yourself?
Y'all, but we was called Borinquen.
Nigga, Borican
Since
is
you
a
want to take.
fucking, that is not an English
All
language. That's
right.
not a, that's
So
not a
we
fucking word that
wasn't.
exists. Oh my
Excuse
God.
me. Could you shut up, fake African?
Oh my
We
God.
wasn't even calling ourselves Indian. Y'all came over here calling ourselves that because the so-called story is y'all was on your way to India, and then y'all started calling us that when y'all got here. That's the history lesson y'all put in the McGraw books, right? So we wasn't even calling ourselves Indian. Y'all labeled us that. Y'all been labeling us since y'all got here.
Cha cha, don't let him. Nah. Stick with his question. You dig what I'm saying? He said he did his
Only
genealogy in
that,
eight.
we
Hold
wasn't
on,
putting
cha
our
cha.
history on paper and shit like that. Your Catholic priest was telling y'all to do that shit. That's not
So
what we
this
used to
Well,
do.
that was in Puerto Rico, but yeah, we're talking about the Southeast United States.
your question that you just gave her was, oh, I looked at mine and from 1868. How come y'all's don't show that? Bill
No,
just
I said
said,
why
bro.
do
They
ours
just
say the
did.
same thing? I said why do ours say the same thing?
It's not gonna say the same thing. You just said yours was
Hey, let's talk
No, that's
about.
1868,
what he's
right?
I
saying.
said mine says all of my ancestors are listed as either black, mulatto, or Negro or colored.
Up to what
Hold
year?
up.
What
Oh,
year did you
Reclassification.
just say?
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay.
Reclassify.
Hold on.
Hold up.
What were
What
they
year did
list?
you
What
just
Hold
were
up.
say?
they
Listen,
No,
he just
hold
classified
said.
up.
before
Wait,
that?
wait, wait. Hold the fuck up. How far
Repeat
did you
that
get back
shit.
on the census? How far did you get back on the census since you're saying that?
I
1860,
think
nigga, that's when the
I think I
census
went
started
well. I think I went further than that. Where it's like
for
from
the
the
black people.
whenever the shit started. Like I mean, we traced the
No,
oldest
no.
1860,
ancestor.
because
The oldest
listen,
How
ancestor that we
Doom,
far
Doom
have
is a
is
back?
trick
Because
question.
you
Doom is a
said
trick
no.
question.
so the
I'm gonna
The
oldest
need
the
1860
everybody else
oldest.
census
besides
is the
Doom to
only
hold
place
the
where they
fuck
I
up.
don't mind.
recorded
I
I
don't
black
mind.
need
people.
I'll tell
everybody
you
else
my full
besides
history.
Doom to hold the fuck up.
I'll tell you my full
The
history. I don't mind.
1860 census is the first census
Yeah,
that recorded black people. They trying to trick you with this bullshit.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, maybe I'm
No,
just
I ain't
saying,
trying.
like, as
No,
far as
Daquan, stop trying to say. Hey, how far did you
I'm
get
not. You're
back?
not saving me. I'm just saying, like, as far as I've been able to go back, all I am seeing is colored, black, Negro, mulatto. You know what I'm saying?
How
Like,
far have you
so.
gotten
How
back?
far did you
How
get back?
far?
I mean, I didn't do that mine personally. My mom did it.
I
So
went back to the 1860 census.
But how far did you get
mine.
back?
I mean, so we got. I don't think we have a census record of this. Well, we have a later one of this
The
person, but
reason why he not
my
telling because
first.
he don't know
I'm
the
trying to
year
I'm
when
trying to I'm trying to explain to you. Like, you
the
gotta
year
chill.
colored mulatto.
You got to chill, bro.
He's not giving us the
Because
timeline.
that's not really relevant to what I'm saying.
Oh, it is very relevant. If
So
you
let me
found all
just.
these,
Very
So
relevant.
I'll
if
explain
you
to you.
found these
I'll explain to
terms,
you.
you
I'll
should be
explain
able
to
to give
you.
me the timeline you
I
started
will.
seeing.
Well, I will. Well, first of all, I'm not looking to confirm that I'm not African, so I wasn't really paying
It's
attention
not
to
about
that part. So
no.
I mean, I
That's
can
not the
pull up.
thing.
I can pull up
I'm
my
not saying you
ancestry.
about
Like,
confirming you're
I'm not trying
African
to
or not.
hide anything. Like,
I'm
so
not saying
when I
about
first
confirming if you're
bro,
African or
Bill, you
not.
gotta let me talk,
I'm
bro.
asking what
You gotta
year did
you
you
gotta
see
let me
those
talk,
terms in your
Bill,
genealogy?
Bill. You gotta let me talk.
This is even
I do
simpler
not.
than
Just
that.
answer
I'll
it
be honest
directly,
with you.
bro. Quit
I do
doing all
not.
this
So
dancing and
I
shit,
do
bro.
not know the exact date. All I know is that the oldest ancestor that we have was born in 1725 in Virginia, and then after that, the people who are come after that, once we're starting to see those census records, they're only being classified as black, mulatto, colored, Negro. That is what I'm saying. So I don't know the exact.
1725. What did it say?
I don't know exactly what. I don't think there was a. I don't know if there was like a census from that. Right? Like, I just know
So,
that that's the
you know when
oldest.
Indians was
Okay, so
first
that's the
added to the hold
point,
on? Do
bro.
you know
That's the
when
point that
Indians
we
were first
saying.
added to the census? The
You
word
tell me.
Indian. You asking
You
them
tell me.
about
You tell
the
me.
census right now
You're the
regarding? Do
Indian.
you
You tell
know
me.
1860?
That's a
Okay.
lie.
No, I'm looking it up right now.
That's a lie.
1860.
That's a
I'm looking it
lie.
up right now.
There's a 17 something. There's a 1700 census that recorded fucking Indians. You're lying.
That was
Pull it up.
1790, nigga.
17, hold up.
Try again.
1700s would not encompass, it would, that'd only be the 13 colonies.
They
Right.
still recorded them in the census. Facts.
That's not our census.
But if your
Yes, it's a fact.
family's not in the 13 colonies, then it has nothing to
It's
do
a
with you. In
fact,
the
though.
1700s,
He said the
Yeah,
only
my family
census.
was in
He said
Louisiana
the
you
and
only
talking about a
transitioned
census
as
they
different
Creole
census
recorded
though,
because of
Indians
It
Daquan.
says
was the
Indian
1860
categorized as
census.
a racial
He's
category. As a
lying.
racial category was first added to
They
the
were
U.S. Census in
identified in the
1860. However, the
1700s.
initial
Nigga,
1860 to
concede to the fact
1870
that you're
count only
wrong.
included Native
The only one in the
Americans who were
1700s you
renounced
should be focused on
tribal
is
rulers.
1790.
Nigga, thank you. The 1790 census explicitly stated the motherfucking number of motherfucking Indians that they recorded. So MIA, can you tell that nigga that there was a census that recorded Indians fucking 60
No,
years prior to what he talking about?
when was the
Oh,
letter
So
so that does
I
answer my
Daquan,
question.
nigga.
recorded?
That does answer my
Like
Stop
question.
when
playing,
was
That's
the
a
bro.
letter
racial
I implemented into
categorization.
the
That is what I'm
census?
putting
Come
on
on,
you.
nigga.
Listen to me,
Okay, guys,
Daquan, very clearly,
we're
Daquan.
gonna do Joe. We're not gonna do the
Daquan, hold on,
we're not gonna do the multiple people talking all over. Let's just chill out.
brother.
Let's go one at a time. You come in a
He
little
was the
hot
one
Just let
sometimes.
talking.
Joseph
So
go then. Let Joseph
Just
go.
let
MIA
them.
was talking. MIA was talking,
No,
and
he
you
was the
got it
one
right now.
talking. I was just making an
Okay, well,
input.
MIA, can you mute up and let's let Joseph
You.
go?
This is what y'all do with Joseph because y'all don't want to handle the truth. Anyway, go back to Daquan. When I'm referencing is the actual racial categorization on the census. The actual racial categorization on the census did not implement it till 1860. 1860. That is the
Okay.
difference.
Okay, and MIA is saying that he doesn't agree with that, correct, MIA?
No, what Darquan is saying that actual Indians weren't recorded, or that was, that's what he thought Joseph was saying. But
Okay.
Joe was actually asking when was the letter I implemented into the census.
Okay.
Thank you. That was the question. Thank you.
Pumpkin, stop hating on me, bro. I ain't doing shit to you. I'm letting everybody talk.
So therefore, that's all I'm saying, bro. So you asking them on the census, but the census are with the which identify an Indian racial categorization, 1860, 5 years before slavery emancipation.
Okay, so we're saying that there at one point at 1860 that there were going to be I's, the letter I, on the census, right, for Indian.
1860.
Okay, so if you are a Black Indigenous person, would
That's
your
reclassification. What?
So before the reclassification, would you guys have been listed as an I? Yes or no? Was there any point in history where you guys would have been classified as I's?
You literally just gave the answer, bro. It was in 1860. Before that, we weren't classified as
No,
Indian.
so that's not
We were
okay. Okay,
classified by our
so
nation.
is the answer yes? Is the consensus yes that everyone, all that Black indigenous people were classified as I on the census? Is that the Black indigenous consensus from everyone?
Reclassification would never have taken place.
Okay, so the answer is yes. There, Bill, do you agree with that?
Actually, if you want to be honest, whoever was marked down it wasn't them marking it down. These censuses were done by enumerators, and the enumerators were going
Agents.
by looking for it.
Facts.
So whoever did have I on those censuses, some of them probably were niggas, but more than likely, most of them were the same motherfuckers that is trying to do the same bitch ass shit they doing today and trying to
How
take
about
niggas.
we go to the census record and look at the
And
letter
then,
I and look
and
at the
then,
birthplace at which they
and
were
then
born
after
at. They
that,
were born in
from
Russia.
1970 or either 1960 or 1970, all the way up to the 1990s, that's when they started letting motherfuckers self-identify as American Indian and everything. So random people with no tribal affiliations, no federal enrollment, no actual documentations, nothing like that. They was able to just say, "Hey, I'm Indian," and they were wrote down on the census as such. I can
And
pull
we
that
know
up.
that to be factual because if you look at the birthplace of where
Everyone
they was
agrees with
born,
that, correct?
it would
Everyone
have said that they
all
were
the
born
Indians
in
agree with
Russia.
that, correct?
I mean,
If you look at the census, if you look at the birth records, they would have said that they was born in Russia, Asia, China, but yet they was identified with the letter I, indigenous, as an Indian.
So that sort of contradicts what you were saying earlier,
No,
Joseph.
it doesn't
If you're
contradict
going
what I'm
along with
saying.
what
It
Bill
just,
said,
listen to what I just said. Listen, exactly.
That's what he
If
just
you
said.
listen, you will understand what Bill just said. It is
no, I do
based off
understand what Bill
looking
said.
shit.
Nigga, can
We're
you
good on what
calm
Bill
your
said.
blood pressure down?
Yeah, we're
It
good
is
on what
based
Bill
off
said.
looking shit.
We're totally good. We're totally good with what Bill said. Like that's so. I'm just asking all the indigenous. Is that the consensus that for the most part, you guys were never classified as eyes on the census? Is that correct?
Correct.
not what we're saying.
Oh, so what are you saying, Joseph?
In the sense, hold on. If you want to talk about, if you want to go by the census,
Because Bill
the
just said maybe some of them were niggas,
listen
but
to
the
what
rest
I'm
of them
trying
were
to
not.
say, brother. If you start interrupting and listen, if you're going by the reclassification era, when we're talking about people of lookership, that is what identifies your race, because race is all about lookership. It had nothing to do with your DNA.
Right.
So
You know
therefore, if
you smoking black and
oh
mild.
my
You can't be
sweet
yelling
Jesus,
like
nigga,
that,
shut
bro.
up,
Now,
bro.
quiet. Shut
Just
the
shut
fuck
up,
up.
bro.
I'm saying, nigga,
Anyway,
I'm worried
if
about
we
that
shut
nigga
the
health.
fuck up, if you know everything was based off lookership, so if you know that they are classifying any one of this melanation as Negro, as black, as colored, why would they mark them down as Indian when it's a social construct already that they will be labeled as that?
That's a great question. That's a question that I have is like, because the I exists, but Bill already answered it. And he said, okay, maybe some of the black population was being called I, but for the most part, they were not being classified as I. So I'm just asking if the
Two things be true at the same time.
I'm just asking if the indigenous panel
That's not
agrees
what
with
Bill
that.
said, for one, man.
Oh,
That's
okay.
not what he
Oh, well,
said.
please
But
elaborate.
even
If I
even how
didn't
he
understand.
phrased it, two things can be truth at the
What I
same
was saying
time.
was
So
more
please
than
elaborate
likely
if I got that wrong.
the majority of the people that ended up being listed, because this is during the census when they started trying to take the land from niggas, it was probably people that weren't originally Indians. And
Okay, so I did get it right.
I'm just
Okay,
being
so I did
real
get it
from
right.
hold up. I said more than likely, and this is just
Okay.
from my standpoint. Don't
Okay.
try to be like, oh, do you all agree with stop
No,
doing that?
I'm trying to get it. I do want to get a consensus. So if they don't agree, like this is not a trap. They don't need to agree with you. I'm just asking because we need to. Because the problem that I think a lot of
The
these
last
conversations
time you
have.
asked this line
So
of
a lot of.
questioning to the Siberians.
Well, this is my first
Never.
time hosting. Pumpkin, you don't know
No,
what I
but
got in the
when you
chamber.
go, when y'all go
Pumpkin,
on other
not Pumpkin,
panels,
Cha-Cha.
do
You don't
y'all
know. You don't
do
know what I
this?
got. You don't know what I got in the
Do y'all
chamber.
do this to the
I got some bangers
Siberians?
coming up too.
I
I
just
got
want
some
to
smoke for
I'm just
Africans.
asking.
I got some smoke for the quote unquote Siberians. This is my first time. I got
Yeah,
some.
but
I got some hot
when you
topics.
over there, but you
I
you
got I
don't
got I
even
got one
try to
that
go
asks.
over there and
So
do
I
this.
have one that asks about if Igbos are pseudo for believing that they're true Hebrews. I got all kind of stuff. So just stay tuned, Cha Cha. You gonna be alright.
Hey, I want y'all to pay attention to Mine's comment that she said down there, because that's key. She said that you need to look at the taxation and the census for Indian versus non-Indian tax
I would love
before
to do. I
18.
would love to do that. Yeah, we could do that. So
Right.
I just
There's a
think that.
difference between us, man.
Okay, yeah, I would love to do that. So, but I mean, so I just want to. So again, you guys do not all. So from the point that I was making is I think it's hard to have some of these conversations because everyone kind of believes like their own thing, which is fine. You guys are all your own scholars, no issue there. But I'm just trying to get a consensus if what we're all going along with what Bill is saying is like, okay, like that kind of makes sense. So does everyone agree with that? So we can just
It's not about what I'm saying. It's about what's
for the
actually.
host, for the host.
Hold up. It's about what's actually historically done. I'm not saying shit. Everything that I'm saying is what history is saying. This is all.
You know what I mean, Bill.
These are all from .govs. These are from .edu.
And
I don't want to say
gonna
so the
be
reason why I said it
moving.
like that, Bill. So the reason why I said it like that is if Steely disagrees, I don't want to be like, well, Steely's can believe what he wants, but he's wrong. Like I'm just open to anyone's interpretation. So I'm just asking the rest of the panel if they agree with Bill or not. So we can just go down the line.
Man, I just think you need to ask better questions, man, because your
you
question
can,
was like,
I mean, you can wait for another host.
they never,
You can wait for another
did
host.
they never identify as Indians? You're using absolutes to answer a question. You can't
I'm
do
just
that.
asking questions for clarity. I don't know the history. You can give me the history. I'm waiting for
Joseph
it.
just said that they started using eyes in 1860,
I'm
correct?
asking you motherfuckers. I didn't say that. Someone else said that on here. I didn't say that. I think Joseph
Nigga,
said that.
we telling you the answer.
Well, but you said I said that. I didn't say that. Joseph said it.
I'm the one that I educated you on, so you are now aware about when they started introducing the letter I. So when you pose the question and when would y'all ever been labeled as Indians, and then I posed the question, when was Indians was even added to the census? It wasn't added to the census as a racial category until 1860. But we know the census was long before that.
Cool. Yeah. I don't. All I'm asking is if you motherfuckers agree with Bill or not. Like, why are you getting mad at me? This is a simple yes or no.
I get mad at you, man. We just get mad because you don't listen to this shit.
My question
if you go off,
I said exactly what Bill said. I said I went exactly with what Bill said. He's the one with the source. I'm just asking the panel if they agree, yes or no.
Well, the thing is, you rephrase your question to be the exact same question, but just a rephrasing of it. That's what makes it like, did you not hear it when the first time? And we caught you. We just continue rephrasing.
Let's listen to what Bill said. Listen to what Bill said. Disregard me. Do you agree with what Bill said? Don't even worry about me. Pretend I'm not here in this situation. Yes or no?
I agree that what Bill, I agree with what Bill saying as far as
for no reason, bro. I'm so nice to you, Cha-Cha. You just hate on me for no reason. I don't get it. There's so many people that are wait, hold on. There's so many people that are like 20 times meaner than you, Cha-Cha. You just be bullying me for no fucking reason. I think it's because I am nice. You know what I mean?
I don't bully you. You bully people. I can see through your bullshit just because you want to sound like Poindexter. I see right through that shit, right? I see right through that shit. You're the biggest bully on this fucking panel right now.
Low key. That's kind of tight. Like, I might have to change my name to the biggest bully. You know what I'm saying? I don't really agree, but Cha-Cha said it, not me.
So I just want to point out the fact that instead of, considering to maybe delve deeper into the information that you've been given, you want to try to cause a diffusion between the people on the panel by saying, "Hey, do you guys agree with Bill?" It's not about agreeing with me. It's about looking at the information because you were asking a specific question. You were asking a specific question. I gave you an answer based off of actual documentation of what can be proven, and instead of trying to go into that information and reflect on that, you're now asking if people that have the same views of me as me agree with me on this exact topic.
Instead of
seeing if your question is being answered by the information I provided.
You answered my question. So you already answered my question. And I actually like what you said. So the thing is I'm not everything is a conspiracy. I don't really care if people agree, but Steely, let me finish. All I really care about is setting an intellectual consensus for a foundation for the conversation. If you agree, cool, we can move on. If you don't agree, I would like to hear other people's points. That does not mean that there's going to be some kind of fight between you guys. There shouldn't be a fight. You guys all acknowledge that you don't all believe the same thing, but for the sake of intellectual honesty, it's good to set that foundation for the conversation. It's not a conspiracy. I really don't give a shit if you guys agree with him or not. I just need to know for the conversation. That's it. Because these
If
conversations
you don't
always
care, why are
these
you asking?
conversations
Doom, hold
because
on,
these
hold on, hold on.
conversations
Wait a minute.
always go off of
Wait,
the rails. And it turns
Doom.
so I'll
But
tell you from my
Doom,
perspective. Well, Steely, one last thing.
Doom. If we don't
One
agree,
last thing,
hold
Steely.
on, bro.
Go
Doom.
ahead. Oh, I didn't do that. You can whoever
If
we
we
don't get
don't
any.
agree, Doom, we're going to say that we don't agree with what he said, or we will present, because it's really not about agreeing. It's just about maybe adding some information that he might not be aware of.
Okay,
And
just say that.
that is how we deal with each other when we're dealing with this information, because
Okay, just say
nobody's
that.
going to sit here and say that they know everything.
So you
So,
guys are
and
taking it as
further,
if I'm
so
like as
as
if
we,
I'm trying to make you guys fight
no,
with each other,
Doom,
which I'm not.
I'm trying to keep the conversation going.
I am
So
too, but you
the
guys could have
next,
just
so,
easily answered the. You guys could have just easily answered the question
but
instead of going through
Doom,
this whole thing. Like that.
us
That's
not
the thing.
saying nothing
Act
is
like no fucking
showing that we
Vegemite.
agree.
Oh, okay, all right, that's
But the
fine.
thing,
So we
That's
hold
what
all
on.
I'm
agree.
saying.
That's fine.
Us
So we
not
all
saying
agree.
anything is saying that we
Okay,
agree.
okay. So we all agree. So let's just
It's
move
the
on,
truth. We agree, man. Let's move on, man.
bruh.
I put it like this. I
Well,
think
God
hold
if
up.
you
damn.
if
Can I say something?
Yes.
go for it.
Hey to the host and everybody on the panel. How y'all doing today?
Hello,
What's
Case.
up, Case? How you doing, love?
Hey,
Hey, Case.
But
Case.
anyway, I don't even know how to even answer the question because I mean I'm still trying to figure out why. I mean
Shit
we all
starter.
supposed to be living on one planet, right? But I'm still trying to figure out why the American year is 2026, but in Thailand it's like 2556. In
I swear to
Afghanistan,
God, Cakes. I
it's
swear
like
to God.
1406. So, and then I think in Ethiopia or
Hey,
something
Better
hey,
like
get it,
that,
Doom,
it's
because you
year
finna
like
start some
20.
shit.
I think it's
Case been
Motherfucker
doing.
said Africa stuck in the past.
Case been doing this. He's been doing this shit for like 4 weeks in a row. That every single panel she be getting on. This shit is funny as fuck.
Said the Asians living in the future, we in the present, and Africa in the past. Ain't that about to
They
be?
stay doing that shit. I don't know what they're doing down there in Mississippi, but Case has been on that type of time for like 4 weeks. But anyways, okay, Bill, yeah, please. So I guess we're all in. We set this.
Wait a minute.
We set the
Why
foundation.
y'all drop me? I'm for
I didn't
real
drop
though.
you.
Y'all didn't know that though. Why we in year? I mean, we 2026, but like on other places
Yeah,
like
everybody
in
else on different
Thailand
time.
and say what?
Other places is on different time. Yeah,
It's on
it's
different
been like
time,
that.
but I thought we was on
Yeah,
one
they're on a
planet
different
though.
timeline.
Huh?
No, that's like no, that's like everybody thinks
Because the
that the
forms
rules in
of
America
oppression
are
vary
the
throughout the
rules
world.
of the
Our
world.
form of
Okay,
oppression, the forms
if
of oppression vary.
if
I'm
I
finna
go
give you an answer,
to
Cakes.
if I go to Afghanistan or Thailand or something like that, then okay, Thailand is 2556. So that means I'm really like 100 some years old over there, right?
Sure,
Nah, it's all perception, man. That's all that
Hey,
is.
Cakes.
sure, Cakes. You know what? No, Cakes. You're a young 23 over there in Thailand.
Because different forms of oppression lead to different environments. Our form of oppression, niggas is stuck in the present. Motherfuckers don't get the chance to advance because the first sign of a nigga figuring out cars run on water, that's his ass. Everywhere else, that might not happen. That's why you might see motherfuckers with cars flying or some shit in China or some shit because their level of oppression is different. Their
Right.
level of oppression is one child, and it better be a boy. If it's a girl, god damn it, you better make that bitch learn geothermal mechanics. It's as simple as that.
I think we just use a different calendar, the Gregorian
Yo,
calendar,
did
and
this
that's
guy just
why
throw out geothermal
I
mechanics? I
don't know why
fucking see you,
we're
Bill. I see you.
going down the rabbit hole.
Look,
This
what you
motherfucker
say,
threw that
Tyler? We
shit
It's
can't
out
a
hear
there.
you. You
1,000
sound
year
muffled.
old. Oh, okay. So I'm still trying to adapt to that. That's all, y'all. But y'all can go
I'm
on.
talking about.
So
Oh,
I
you're talking
can't.
about the calendars. Okay, my bad. My bad. I ain't.
So I can. So I really don't know how to answer whatever that is on the panel. I don't know. I really don't know shit anyway. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I don't. I don't think so, Cakes. I think you're an archaeologist myself.
You might not know shit, but you damn sure know how to start shit, don't you?
It's called being a professional conversationalist. Cakes will speak for
Man,
me.
I think it's just it's perception. And shit, you can go to Colorado and this shit look like they in the future over there. Same shit.
well, I ain't mean to mess y'all conversation. Y'all have a good day. I'm about to go in the store now.
Have a good day.
I'm
What you
about to
finna
go
get?
in Walmart.
What you finna
What you gonna
get?
get at Walmart?
Oh, I'm finna go. I'm finna get some stuff so I can make some smash burgers.
Oh, okay, goddamn, you
Ooh,
boy.
Nah, fuck
hey,
that. Case don't
are you
leave. You
using
asking
hold
questions
up?
that
Are you
matter.
using moisture cheese
Nigga said you
for your
asked the
smash
question.
burger?
See,
You
That what
asking
made you
questions
think,
that fucking
Darkwan?
yeah,
matter.
right now I'm about to go in the store. I'm
That
going
shit made
Walmart.
you think?
Yeah, that
Huh?
shit deep.
Darkwan lean forward in
Honey,
this
we
chair
getting
like, hold
something?
up.
That shit deep, bro.
Yeah,
Ain't
definitely.
nobody got an answer for cakes though. That's all I'm saying.
I answered it in my way, but
Because
technically I was off
the
because it
answer
was
is
related to the
time
calendar.
is not real. Time's not real. That's all they
That's what
say.
I thought. That's what I was thinking. I was
Yes,
thinking
it's a
time is
man-made
not
concept.
real. I was thinking that they really just man-made and put a time on shit, and they really don't supposed to be a time on anything. That's me just thinking, because I feel like if we all on one planet and we all get night and day, then we should still be on the same zone. That's just me
I
thinking,
agree.
like
I agree.
clearly. But I feel like it's just a separation
We all
because they
we all
tried
on
to
the
separate everything and everybody to make everybody go against each other when we all should be together. That's just me thinking. I don't know. I'm just thinking out. So I don't know. That's just me
I like
thinking.
the way, but yeah, but I
Bill, stay
like the
with
way
that woman
these
right there,
people
Bill. That woman knows
expose
something.
themselves. I like it. I like it. It takes the hard work away from me when they expose themselves.
Oh, brother.
So I mean, Cakes, to your point,
Cha Cha thinks she the main character like the motherfucker.
time totally is relative. So I mean, I feel
I
like,
don't talk as much as y'all.
oh yeah, I feel like people just came up with a random number depending on where they were at, and we're just there now. But it's like you can't really. It's kind of like real and not real because it's all relative.
Time is
I
simply the
just feel
way we
like
calculate
Hold on.
a
But
lot of
does
stuff. I just feel
relative
like a lot of
make
stuff
it
that's
real?
going on is like something that a person, like some person just like particular, like just because they be saying that scientists said this and that, and they doing researches on this and research, but some research is just like ain't actually true, because you just doing theories or something that could have happened or what you think might have happened, but you really ain't telling me that it actually happened. Like when you showing something that actually happened, you can actually talk to it, or you can actually see it, or you can go off, well, it could have did this, or that could have happened, or because they did the tests and research showed this because somebody else said something. Do it really, really, is it something that really, really happened? I feel like when something really, really happened, you see it, you know it, you can touch it, and you can understand it.
Kind of like
That's like the
reaching for
Moon
that
landing.
forbidden fruit
if
and
a tree
falling out the
falls in the
tree.
Moon
forest, Bill.
landing. Moon landing.
So when it comes to time, as we solved it today, no, it doesn't exist. Time is based on the observation when
Gravity.
the sun go up, when the sun goes down. That's how time used to be.
Gravity.
Before the
Here go a
12
dumb
o'clock,
nigga
12,
trying to sound
Why they
smart.
put?
Joseph,
Why they
shut the
make
fuck up.
months though? Why did they
before
make
12
months?
o'clock, it
So
was
when
always
who
6 to
made?
6.
But listen though, who made months? Like how did months come about?
That's based off the lunar cycle.
I mean, so that's a time, right? So they putting
That's not,
time on
those
months.
are not real. Those are man-made concepts.
Because
Okay.
No, but
yes, because
literally
it
months are
because
based
it's
So
off of
only
the
that's just
phases
supposed to
of the
be
something.
moon.
So
28,
it's just something
and it's
that is
supposed to only be 28 days
programmed.
in a month.
It's
It's
about
something that was just
observation of the nature. That's how we know when fall the seasoning, because it's the
okay.
cycle of the
Why
earth.
it
We
can't
just
just be
constant
I'm so
observation.
sick of
winter?
this smart
But
dumbass
why
nigga
it
talking.
just can't be always cold now? Always hot now? Why we got to say winter, fall, and spring? Like why we
It's
got
just
to say January,
Because
February, March? Like
those
That's
are
just
why?
natural
those
human
are very
language.
real
You
things
always
though,
put
Cakes.
labels on shit to give. Whenever we talk, we say
Those are very real
Shut
things. That
up.
they're not like the lunar cycle is real. You have a solstice, right? You have the summer solstice, the winter solstice. So all of that stuff is real. It's just when it started is what's up for contention when everybody's kind
He's
of coming
talking
up
about
with.
why give it a
So
name,
basically, so
period.
basically,
Okay, because
they
look,
they
That's what
made
he's
Doom.
arguing.
months.
Why do you
So
even give it a
basically, you
name?
saying to
I got
me,
a great
Doom, they
question.
made months because of so people know when the weather change.
Control.
Well,
Basically,
so there's a full lunar cycle that happens every month. It's about like 29-ish days on average.
is
And then, so when we have I think it's like the Gregorian, one of those two calendars, either the Julian calendar
It's the
or
Gregorian
the
No, the
Gregorian
calendar.
month
one,
that
they
we
had to
use
make some
today is based
adjustments. So
off.
they refined the Gregorian calendar to kind of line up with the Earth's, what we would call the Earth's orbit now. But like, yeah, it's based off of the phases of the moon. So the moon, from the new moon, that whole cycle of going from new moon back to new moon is
None
the
of the
month.
names of the months
Yeah.
represent those lunar
But
I just
look,
cycles.
want
They
y'all to
all
but
know.
look,
I
represent
just want
unique
y'all to
but,
know.
but
goddesses.
hold on,
I just
but
want
look,
to.
check this out though. Check this out though. If that shit is really accurate like they say it is, why the fuck is New Year in the coldest month rather than in the spring when life begins again? New Year
Well,
should
Oh
be in the
man,
that's
you
spring,
thought
because
you
of
really
not in
looked
the
that
coldest
shit,
month.
didn't you?
exactly.
well, so I mean, they're used to it. Depends. Like some cultures, the New Year is on the summer solstice.
I'll do
Exactly,
y'all.
which
Look,
but it's
Bayou,
man-made. That's
Bayou,
what I just stated.
Bayou.
It's
I'll
all
do you one
man-made.
It's
better.
man made,
I'll
but
do
it's
you
still
one better.
naturally
I'll
happening.
do y'all one
That's
better.
what I'm
It's
saying. So why
exactly.
would we go off of something that somebody made, like because a person said so? Like if we going off because of what somebody said,
And
basically.
then you got to think about it like this:
That's just like
when
religion,
you sit on a
man-made
couch,
religion.
you got to think when you sit on a couch, you can understand why it's called a couch. But this shit right here, nigga, this shit is a love seat, nigga. I can't sit on this motherfucker unless I'm in love. What kind of shit is that? You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
Love seat, you right. Why did they name it love seat?
I fucking hate you, motherfuckers, man. I swear to God.
Hey, Daquan, look, I'm glad you said that because when you go to the AMC theater, the IMAX, the nice ones, them bitches don't have seats. They only have love seats.
Fuck, fuck.
Damn,
I went to an
that's
AMC
deep.
where
They
they had
saying
the
you should
movie
be
playing on
doing
the
at the
side of the wall.
theater. If they only got love seats at the theater, then what do they think? What do they want you to be doing at the theater?
Making love.
Yuck.
In
Making
the
It's all a
movie?
love.
conspiracy
Hey, that
to bring back
that's
the
why
population numbers.
the seats recline.
See, they only put those in the
Yep.
white. They only put those in the white neighborhoods because they want the white population to increase. But in our
Yep.
neighborhoods,
Exactly,
we
bro.
And
get
they
That's
tell you
deep,
turn
bro.
your
conspiracy. You
phones
feel
off.
me?
Ain't nobody be recording nothing in there.
That's deep. That's deep, bro.
Exactly. Right.
Yep, yep. And you know they put drive-in theaters in the black community because they know most niggas' cars don't work or they ain't got them. Real talk.
All right. Well, thank you for the intermission, cakes as always.
You're
And
welcome.
Cake's on
I,
some deep shit, bro.
I hope your
Okay.
smash
So
burgers
at
are
those
smashed.
theaters, they have a bar in the front, right? And they get you all liquored up. You can even order drinks at your seat.
Bruh. Yeah, I seen that.
Jay,
Mm-hmm.
But they don't serve no
It's
Hennessy
only in
though.
Louisiana. I
Ain't
don't
Y'all,
think
nothing
everybody
like
here
serve.
in North
I
Carolina, they
don't
do
think
it.
everybody movie theater
Why is
serves
winter
liquor
never
like that.
Here in
depicted
North
in any
Carolina, they
ancient
do.
civilization?
ain't nothing like roofing a bitch in the middle of a movie.
Okay.
Okay.
On a love
Gonna
seat
drop him.
Ooh,
You're
you
with
gonna
know
have
no
to
what?
come
cameras
back.
around.
You know
You're
what?
gonna
Yeah,
have to
you
come
going to
on
drop
back
him.
up after that one. Why is winter never depicted in any ancient civilization?
What?
Why has winter never been depicted by any ancient
I
civilization?
don't know if that's
Molly
true,
out
but
in
you
her
tell us.
Where do you get
champagne.
that
She
from?
ain't even know
And
it.
the first time that you hear about a winter is when Napoleon tries to go and take over when he's going to Russia. And he gets over there and everything already burnt up and everybody
I don't
unalive
really
on the
think
way
that's
back
true
from the
though,
winter
because
storm.
the
That ancient
ancient
enough? How
hold,
far
hold
No,
on,
ancient?
you
What's
hear
the
hold
about
on,
timeline
the.
of
hold on, hold
ancient?
on, hold on,
Let's
hold on, hold on. The ancient Greeks, right? They had a mythical land called Hyperborea, I believe it is. It was like the land north of the wall, blah blah blah. So they definitely did depict scenes of winter, what they thought was
How
some
long
sort of
ago did
like.
the Greeks live, Tom?
And Europe was froze over
Did
for
did he not?
years and
Did you say
many years.
ancient people? Right? Were those not ancient
How
people?
long ago did the Greeks live, Tom?
Are they ancient people, Bill?
How long ago did the Greeks live,
Are
Tom?
the Greeks ancient people?
How long ago did the Greeks live, Tom?
Are they ancient people?
Long ago to the Greeks time.
Are they ancient people? It's a yes or no.
No, Tom. They're not that ancient because if you look at it, the Greeks was around when the Egyptians was around, when all them people was around at the same time.
Right.
But
So ancient
they'll have you trying to
Egyptians.
think.
Yeah, they call them ancient
But are
Egyptians,
they
bro.
really?
Like, come on,
But are they
Philly.
really ancient though?
Oh, they weren't as
No, but I'm
ancient as the
asking, are they
Egyptians.
really
Yeah.
ancient?
The ancient Egyptians were ancient to the ancient Greeks.
And they never depicted winter.
Well, that's because they're in
In the
They're
Africa,
desert.
North
ancient to
Africa,
us.
right?
The fuck?
There's not really
The
nothing to
Mayans
depict. It's
didn't
kind of
depict
just sandy the
winter.
whole time.
The
What
Mayans,
part? What part
the
of a
Olmecs
So your
didn't
tropical
depict
grandparents were
All those
ancient
winter.
to
regions,
tropical
me.
though, Bill, don't
rainforest
really
has
The
a
have winter.
winter,
Naga
Bill?
didn't
At what
depict
point does
winter.
something become ancient?
The Dogons didn't depict winter.
When that
Okay, so
pussy
wait,
start
hold
blowing
on, hold
out
on, hold on, hold
powder,
on. Every single
You're
thing that Bill
When
just
mentioning
what?
said, that
people
they
who
don't
live
have
in
winter now,
tropic or
though,
desert
Bill.
environments.
Like it's
They
very
don't
something
have
time
becomes
winter.
frame.
something becomes ancient when that pussy start blowing out powder. Poof.
But
My
wait,
great
Hold on.
grandparents are ancient to me.
I feel like the question is a little unfair that the people that you reference, Bill, because those are all like
yeah,
tropical
exactly.
or
They don't have
desert dwelling
winters.
people. They
They
don't
don't
have
have winters.
winters.
Yeah. Well, they do have a winter, but there's very mild
But
winters.
it's
So there's
not
People
like
basically
a
don't have
permanent sort of
winters.
winter that you would
it's a
find with
very
snow.
they have milder winters where there's really no drastic changes to depict.
That's where life started.
So I
It
mean,
didn't
like,
start in the North
isn't
Pole or in the South Pole.
the Aurora Borealis that's named after some Greek dude? Anyways, I think that's like about like the northern winds. I can't remember. I think it's like
Right. See,
Boreas
No,
or
that
something
is
like that.
that's what I
no,
mean.
that's
That's where
about the
they
Northern
get
Wait a
Lights.
minute.
where the
Hold on,
Greeks get
Tom
the
Cruise.
idea of like
Wait a minute.
Borea
Wait
or
a minute, Tom
Hyperborea.
Cruise, because I got one for you. Because I just caught on to what you said. Hey, the mounds in Poverty Point in Monroe, Louisiana, which is the same age as the pyramids in Giza,
Yep.
those mounds are built on the winter solstice. And I'm going back on
Okay.
mute.
That
Well, what
nigga
does that
thought he
have to do
cooked with
with the
that shit.
question?
He swear he cooked. In his mind, he just fucked you up. Swear to God.
So, do you think that maybe there are stories and documentation about winter? It's just it's not as popular because who wants to relive anything about winter?
It's just that
And in the cold, people
winter
didn't
came.
go out;
It's
they
just
stayed
that
inside
winter
more.
came with the colonizers for some strange
I
reason.
hibernate in the
That
winter
doesn't make
And
because I'm
then in
sense.
not
the
built for that
15
shit. I'm
and then in the
allergic to snow.
1500s when they had the world map, there was no ice. None. Not even around it, nothing but dry land.
Whatever makes you feel better,
So you
Bill.
telling me
Okay.
white people so powerful they can bring the winter with them? I see why these
You
niggas
you've
call
No,
seen
y'all.
Game of
you
Thrones, haven't
bitch
you?
I'm not
ass
Yeah,
gonna lie,
white
nigga.
bro.
people ain't that
I
powerful in
Seen
my
see.
Game of
book.
Thrones?
I'm just saying these niggas is powerful, bro. The more you talk about them, the more powerful I realize these niggas. These niggas bring weather.
He never
Yeah,
said a
you
chance
can't
at
beat
this
niggas that
point.
bring weather.
They pretty scary. I ain't
That
gonna
sound
lie.
like some shit off of Rivals, nigga. That nigga brought the weather, nigga. You tripping? Yeah, you can't beat white
they
people.
brought
We done.
they brought a bunch of sub zeros to this.
Yeah, we done. We can't beat white people. It's official. The
All
fuck we
right.
gonna do?
Yeah, I
These
don't.
niggas bring weather.
Wait, let's get, as Pumpkin would say, let's get back on the information, y'all.
Accent is crazy.
We got to the point where we were saying that not all of the more than likely most of the people who were classified as Indians weren't what we would consider BOK people. So does anybody want to touch on that part? The
Yeah, and
history
let me
part.
ask this question too, though. If I
Uh,
make a shirt, if I make a shirt that says, let's get back on information, y'all. Anybody up here gonna buy it? I'm
I
just
would buy
asking.
it as for my jammies.
No, I
I
buy
wear
it.
them.
Pumpkin made it.
yep.
I buy it just to support you.
I would
Bet,
buy
bet,
it.
bet. I'm
Pumpkin
about to
made it.
get it out there. What the fuck?
Hey, she's the one that started it.
See, that's why we can't let biracials in our ranks. You see
Yo,
what
why?
happened
What
right there?
the
You
fuck?
see what that white person just did?
Okay, let's everybody chill out.
Really?
Let's get
So what
back.
are we
Let's get
looking at?
back to the
What are we
information,
looking
y'all.
at, Bill, on this map? Explain this to us.
Map from the 1500s of the world.
You can't let
Okay.
fake Africans in your ranks.
There's no ice.
See?
Do you think that they had ships that could withstand going up to like the Arctic regions
It's not
at
about
that
me
time?
thinking. They mapped it. So it's about
So,
knowing
so
at this
they
point.
so they mapped what they knew about, right? So if they had never traveled to the poles or the Antarctic regions, how would they know to map it?
So if they mapped the outside of this land being land and no ice, that means they haven't been to it. Is that what you're saying, Tom?
What do you?
You're
I
saying
don't.
what you're basically saying is they just drew some shit that they've never been to.
Well, no, I mean they could sort of counter your thing, right? Prior to Columbus, there was no. They didn't know an entire landmass existed over here. Two land masses exactly, right? So they didn't map it. So I think if they haven't seen something, if they haven't explored to that region, of course it's not going to be on the map because they don't know about it.
So you're telling me they traveled to the land that would be outside of where Antarctica is and
What do you
found no
mean the
ice?
land outside
But
of
what
Antarctica?
you're saying is
I'm saying that
what
they've
you
never
hold
traveled
up.
to those
I get what
poles,
you're
so they
saying.
didn't know to map
I'm
it.
saying she
You're
cooking
saying
your
that
ass,
they
bro.
mapped the entire world and the land outside of it, but they didn't find Antarctica.
What do
That's
you
what you're
mean the
saying.
land outside of the world? What does that mean? What
Do
does
you
that
see
mean?
the land? Do you see this land, the ring of land around
So
the
explain what
main
that ring
land?
of land is.
Do you see it?
I see, but explain what it is. What is that supposed to
This
represent?
land.
What
It's
land?
supposed to mean there was no ice out there.
I don't think
What?
that's how the North and South Pole works.
I'm confused.
Just stay confused, Tom. Can we move? Can we go back to
Stay
the original
It's
confused.
conversation?
confused, Vanilla
Let's stay.
Sky.
Let's stay confused. But yeah, anybody
Did you
want
call
to
that
talk?
girl Vanilla Sky?
Yes.
Does
Yeah,
anybody want
Wow.
to?
Really like
Does
that
Vanilla.
anybody?
movie. See,
Would anybody like to go
mute
off
me.
of? I'm sorry, Chacha. I'm just trying to get back on. I didn't do that last one, but I'm just trying to get back on topic. Would anybody like to touch on the series of events
Pause.
that happened? Oh yeah, pause. Would anybody like to touch on the series of events that happened after the reclassification in the early census?
We just kept being us indigenous niggas. We created the culture that y'all follow still to this day. And we all
Take a laugh.
Oh,
Good.
damn. Swipe.
Guys, come on, man.
Swipe or no swiping.
Come on, man. This is my first time doing this shit. I can't. This is too much.
To be fair, there is a new
This is
person who
fucking. This
likes
is
to answer
fucking.
the questions.
This is fucking overwhelming. And Cha Cha was answering my question, by the way. She was giving her
please
take.
don't fucking drop me. You don't y'all some haters, but it's cool.
We are the culture. Keep going,
We
keep
are
going.
the culture. Thank you very much. And y'all hate on it.
We in the
Tonto,
streets.
jump
That's all
on
fake stuff,
it. Jump
cha-cha.
on
That's the
it.
culture. Eating mofongo. What's the culture exactly?
You know that's not my only lineage. You know that, right? And I think you mad at that, Vanilla Sky.
Oh,
He's also from
don't
South
call me
Carolina.
nappy headed. I feel it.
I think you mad at that. I think you real mad at that. Cause I feel a lot of heat coming off y'all niggas couch right now. You know what I'm
What?
saying? I get
Wait
to
a minute.
brag a
What the
little
fuck?
different.
What the fuck you mean you feel heat coming off a nigga couch?
I feel a lot of heat coming off y'all niggas couches. Yep.
There's
Yeah.
no heat coming
Why
off the
are you
couch.
that
You
close
probably
to a
just
nigga
got
couch?
farting on it.
Why are you even that close to a nigga couch, Cha Cha? Let's be honest about
Y'all
this shit.
don't even know where I got that from because
I
y'all
don't
not
want to.
us. I know. It's a cultural saying. So, you know, it's tradition. But I feel a lot of heat
So
coming
it's a
off y'all
group of
niggas
niggas,
couch.
niggas couches feeling the heat somewhere in this
No.
world.
If y'all watch the movie Belly, it was the hater nigga. And that's when DMX was like, I feel a lot of heat coming off that
We
couch.
don't watch that degenerate ass shit.
Actually, Belly's
So
was a
so
fantastic movie. It's
so
an American
so
classic.
yeah.
Respectfully, what is the third thing asked on the prompt? Like,
ODB, yes. Well, welcome to the live. The first thing is saying, if black people are the true indigenous of this land, how were they
Use the
replaced?
second
That's
or
the
third
first
lane
question.
from right to take the exit.
Damn,
okay,
Forget to
I
niggas
take
mean,
the
got
yeah.
stuck
exit.
in the
I
vehicle.
mean,
Don't
This
that's,
forget
nigga,
to
this
I
take the
mean,
nigga,
that's
exit.
just,
Second or
this
third
nigga
lane from
Ubering
right.
and
like
shit.
y'all, that's why I got off this shit in the first place. But
Yeah, you might want to drop.
No, I'm just saying I'm cool, but like all the
All right, don't forget
uneducated
to
people
take your
just like
exit.
screaming on the
Take
internet.
the exit
I really
now.
don't got time to
Take the
argue with
exit.
Exit, nigga. Exit
ratchet
left.
all day. But like I
In the
said,
left two
Last two
lanes,
lanes to
nigga.
keep
Left
left.
two
I don't got
lanes.
time to
Exit,
argue
You
bro.
with
need to
ratchet
listen.
all day. Let me know when you want. Let me know when I can
On the
speak, Holmes.
left.
I don't
Yeah,
want to
go ahead,
argue
bro.
with
Go
the
ahead,
ratchet
bro.
dude. Go
It
ahead.
just we're just coming back down, but go ahead, you got it.
Turn, nigga, turn.
Yeah, bet that. So it's simple,
2.5
bro.
miles. Come
Bro,
on, my nigga.
chill,
Focus.
Oh, y'all can
chill,
hear my
chill.
GPS on the motherfucking yo?
Yeah,
For
we
real?
can
Yeah,
I
hear
ain't
that
know
nigga,
shit.
that.
We
they
can
can
hear
hear
that
your
shit.
What do
GPS.
you think we was talking about? You better floor it for those 2 miles.
I ain't know. I thought I only heard that shit in the background. That shit, black people, y'all niggas is funny as hell. But this is what I gotta say. So it's simple,
You got
bro.
2 miles.
Not all of y'all melanated people are original inhabitants of America. Maybe some of y'all got descendants of melanated Europeans, Africans, like people be claiming and stuff like that. But the ones that are from here, you know, the actual Black Americans that are from here, there were things called vagrancy laws that made it illegal for Black people to speak in their native tongues and things like that. That's well documented in the book From Here to Equality by Dr. Sandy Darity, the effects of vagrancy laws and Aboriginal ties to their tribe. So, I mean, these are just simple things that you go by reading what I call Black liberation power books, like Here to Equality, Powernomics, with people like Dr. Claude Anderson, that has came up with names like Native Black America or Native Black
Dr.
Americans
Claude
and things.
Anderson acknowledges us coming from Africa.
Dr. Claude Anderson acknowledges being Aboriginals from America too, brother.
No, no,
So,
no,
Well,
no, no. Dr.
vagrancy has
Claude
nothing
so
to
yes,
Anderson.
do.
yeah. So why,
Dr. Claude
Vagrancy
wait,
Anderson
has
why are
is
you?
nothing to
a
do with
huge.
speaking.
Listen, show me.
Dr. Claude Anderson is a
Why would he
huge
come up
Pan
with the
Africanist.
term Native Black American? Now
Vagrancy doesn't
just
have
go.
anything
Now
to
go.
do with speaking. Vagrancy means being homeless or wandering.
Now go.
Vagrancy laws are
I want to
against
hear
the
the logical
He
homeless.
said
response why
Has
this black
nothing
vacancy.
to
man
do with
came up with the
Vacancy.
speaking.
term
He
Native
didn't
Black
say
American.
vacancy.
Vagrancy.
Because I was on live. I've
Be a
heard him.
slow ass talking about
You got to
vacancy.
you can't just take what other people tell you and
Yeah,
run with it.
last.
You need to look the shit up and make sure you're saying shit that's
What
true.
are you talking? Do you
Vagrancy
not
has
read
to
books?
do
Do you not read
vagrancy
books?
has
I just
vagrancy
quoted
has
multiple
to
books that
do
you ain't
with
never
being
read and vagrancy
homeless
laws that were
and
real. But you over
wandering.
here talking about that. You could
Do we need to
listen.
pull up the
I have better
dictionary
things
for
to
your
do
ass?
than argue
Do
with
we
the
need the
unread
dictionary?
ratchet hoe
Do
on
you
TikTok.
need the
So
dictionary?
listen, you could come with
I am
actual
far
real
from
facts,
ratchet.
or you could just leave
Do
me alone.
you need the
You don't have
dictionary?
nothing I need,
Wait,
and I don't
let
want to
him
Okay,
conversate with you.
finish.
I'm
you're
Let him
obviously
finish.
uneducated.
What you was saying, ODB?
I was quoting books like Here to Equality, Dr. Claude Anderson is a term
And his
Native Black
acknowledgement of the African diaspora.
American, his reason for using it. You still have not came with no factual evidence. You seem like a
My
shirtless
nigga, I
retard
know Dr. Claude Anderson.
on
He acknowledges
TikTok.
us
But
coming from Africa. That's a
let
fact.
me know when you gonna come with some actual facts other than
Tell
just
me Dr.
screaming at your
Claude Anderson
phone
doesn't
like an
acknowledge us coming
ignorant
from Africa.
Negro.
Answer the question. Does he acknowledge us coming from Africa? Yes or no, brother?
I dropped him.
I didn't drop him. Just letting you know I didn't drop him.
See, a lot of
No,
heat coming
I
off
think
this couch, yo.
I think the panel switching dropped him.
Yeah, but y'all missing what he's saying. He wasn't saying just the vagrancy things. He was listing off many different books that talks about how they
Exactly. He
systematically
was
were
talking about Dr. Claude
changing
Anderson,
things.
who acknowledges us being
Relax,
Africans
Daquan.
in America. As a
Relax,
matter of fact,
Daquan.
Dr. Claude Anderson says we should have financial and economic relationships with Native Africans in America in order to build a power-nomic group between us and them.
All
So
right, but
why
he
the fuck
was,
would he
but
bump
y'all
Dr.
cut him
Claude Anderson?
off.
I don't know. That was pretty
Yeah,
stupid.
but y'all cut him off before he was able to make his
Yeah, because
full
you want to hear a
point.
nigga give you that bullshit and we take
Oh,
it
it's
to
because
fact.
he said the R word.
Bro, this man has not
ODB,
said one
ODB.
thing to disprove nothing I said.
ODB, 1 second, ODB. Just make sure you don't say the R word. That's why you
You
got
read
the.
So did Dr.
Powernomics.
Claude Anderson
You
say
can
that we
read
should create a
Powernomics.
relationship?
You can read Powernomics. Read Powernomics, and it clearly states Dr. Claude Anderson's position on why he made the term Native Black American.
Brother,
Simple. I'm not
Empowernomics.
arguing no person.
I'm
I'm not
asking you a
arguing no
question. Since you've
fools,
read
bro.
the
Fools.
book,
I would be a fool for
Empowernomics.
arguing with a
Listen,
fool
brother,
on the
it's not
internet.
arguing.
Unless you
It's
have
not
something that
arguing.
disproves what I'm.
Listen, stop it. Stop it. It's not arguing. Empowernomics. Did Dr. Claude Anderson say that we should have a relationship with the Native Africans?
Dr. Claude Anderson stated a lot of things in
I'm
about
asking
economics.
in the book, did he or did he not state that specifically?
Did he not state that specific? Show me the chapter and show me
He
the.
did, and I said,
Show me
okay.
the chapter and show me. I can pull up the chapter and the paragraph where he states why he calls people Native Black Americans. So go pull it up. Use ChatGPT because I know you don't read books. So go ahead, bro. Like, I'm not arguing with fools all day, bro. I don't have time to be on God's internet that he granted us with, arguing with fools with no facts or no, like just pulling stuff out their butt all day.
All right, that's enough. I did it.
Oh, why you hold up? Why you
Why
kick
you
him? You was
dropping
kicking y'all
him?
ass.
Cause he's just saying the same shit over and over. He's saying the same shit over and over and over and
Man,
over.
you was asking the
Don't
same
do it.
question
But y'all
over and
let
over, and I
all
This
was
is
giving
my
you
these
the same
goddamn life. I don't
answer.
give a
y'all let all these other bozos
Man,
be up here
who's
that
the
don't
bozo.
contribute nothing to the
good shit,
conversation.
ODB.
Like Tom Cruise
Oh, don't
don't
call Tom Cruise a
contribute shit
bozo.
to the motherfucking
Tom is not a
conversation.
bozo.
Welcome to the African side of TikTok,
You
niggas.
can take a lap, Cha-Cha, since I'm
Oh
a
wait,
bozo.
can we not do the dropping?
TikTok.
Let's not do the dropping. Let's not do the dropping.
You already knew what was gonna happen. Come on now.
Yeah, I guess I
Y'all
did.
grown men and y'all TikTok gangs is hilarious. Go
All
get
right,
some
man.
money,
Do you
bro.
want to
But
address the
anyway,
prompt though, bro?
so
Address the
like I
prompt, please.
said, you got to find something to disprove what I'm saying. The term Native Black American exists, and it
Yeah,
exists
you
for a
take
reason.
several
So
laps,
go show me the
bitch.
text and pull it from the books. What I'm going to give you is actual facts and information. Like in Delaware, the first HBCUs that were established by people that have Native ancestry. So you see what I'm saying? So we could go all day on what we want to talk about. What y'all really want to argue is the out of Africa theory versus the multi-gen theory all day. And I don't have time to even do that because I can tell you're not well read enough to have that
Okay. So do you want
conversation.
to address the
You see what
prompt or
I'm saying?
not, bro?
Because
Do you
all of
want to
these
address the
things that
prompt
y'all
or
are
not,
basing it
bro?
on,
Oh
when
my
it goes
god,
back,
dog, we got it. Just address the prompt. We get it. We're done. Address the prompt.
all
Hey,
right, well,
big screen me real
I
quick.
already did. I said Vagrancy Act,
Big
things
screen me
like
real
that.
quick, this
Boom, boom,
capping
boom.
ass nigga. Shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Dr. Claude Anderson explicitly uses the term Native Black Americans to
Not fucking
differentiate.
YouTube.
One
You can
second,
pay
brother.
YouTube off
No,
this
no,
shit.
no, 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 no. To differentiate
Damn YouTube.
enslaved. Ho. Stop it. Stop. Don't crash out. Okay? To differentiate descendants of enslaved Africans in the United States from black immigrants and other minority groups. Nigga, again, you're talking about a man who explicitly acknowledges the African American slave trade.
Nobody, I acknowledge the African slave trade. I mean, the
Fuck is
numbers
you
are
talking
skewed,
about?
but I
You
don't
were
sit
trying
there
to
and I
utilize
don't
the
say the
native black
transatlantic
American
slave trade
shit.
didn't
Stop
happen.
lying,
No,
nigga.
that's
You were
what
trying to
you
use the
said.
native black American shit like it was some shit about you niggas being native to America. Goofy ass nigga.
Which is
Get the fuck up out of
Using
here.
YouTube source, Darkwan.
Man,
Stop
get the
it.
fuck up out of here,
the
nigga.
book and not the Spark Notes,
Shut the
nigga, you would
fuck up,
know.
nigga. You full of shit.
But you took the Spark Notes because you don't
All right,
have
nigga, tell me what he said, nigga,
book.
specifically.
You've never read the book, and I can
Tell me what he
because
said
you're leaning on
specifically,
the term
nigga.
African
Tell me
American,
what he
which
said
is of course
specifically,
Google is going to tell
nigga.
you
Tell
African
me what he said
American. Dr.
specifically.
Claude Anderson
Cause
states
what?
that he
Cause Bill
uses.
pulled up a source and that shit said Wikipedia. I didn't say a motherfucking word, but now I use my shit and nigga want to
Deep
cry about it
lineal
being
ties.
Wait,
YouTube.
who source said Wikipedia?
You pulled one up last night, nigga.
Constitution
It was
of America,
Wikipedia.
bro.
Stop it.
You're
Which
a
one?
loser and you
Hold
don't
up.
read,
Stop
bro.
You said
it.
last
You're a
Go
night.
back.
Say
shirtless
Go
right
grown
back.
there.
man
Come
on
on now.
TikTok. Have a good day, sir. That's how you cook somebody.
Yeah, goofy
Get off the
ass
stage.
nigga. You know you getting challenged on this dumb shit you talking. Native Black American.
I'm not arguing with
You
shirtless
thought you
men on
was
the
running
internet,
that
bro. You're
game.
over the age of
You
35
thought you was
shirtless
running
on the
that
internet.
game,
That's
nigga.
sad.
You don't run that game
That's
over
sad,
here.
bro. You're a crybaby.
You
Listen,
thought you was
I'm gonna
running
say it
that
again.
game.
If you
nigga.
read the
We
book
on to the
Powernomics
topic,
and
please.
not
Like,
take the Spark
what
Notes,
is
Shut
the
the fuck
Dr.
up.
Claude
focus?
Anderson
ODB. We gotta let's just get to the topic, bro.
states the position of Native Black Americans as ones
If
who
you
have
don't have anything else to contribute other than insults,
ancestral lineal
if you don't have anything else to contribute other than
roots to the Black American race.
you have a good day, sir. I don't want to, if he cooked, but he's just insulting people.
It could.
And
I just don't want to
that's just
get
for us.
cooked because that been
The bickering should be conserved for us. So,
Yep. So I just was
man, y'all
proving that
hosts must
vagrant.
like me or something. Y'all keep trying to kick me because I got a.
My God.
I was just proving that vagrant and vagrancy has nothing to do with talking. It means you're homeless or wandering.
Yeah.
That's it.
was listing off many different
Hey,
books.
Bill, you ain't
Y'all
gonna tell me
just
folks you had a
stuck to one
Wikipedia source
and
or
ran
anything?
with it.
Hold up. That was just
This
for the
isn't a book.
definition of first generation, you bastard.
Exactly.
That don't count. That was for
Exactly.
the fucking definition of that wasn't no actual information, motherfucker. You can't pull that
Hey,
bitch
hey,
ass
you
shit.
gotta give me a free one
You
then.
not hell
You
nah,
gotta
I
give
ain't
me a
giving you
free
a
one.
free shit.
You gotta give me a free one, nigga.
Yeah,
What you
give him a
talking
free. I
about?
think he gets a free one, Bill.
Yeah, I get a free
No.
one.
Actually, I
Fuck
think we all
no.
get a free one. We all should get a free one now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was literally for the definition of
Hold
first
on. Let
generation.
me go. Let me go
That
ask
wasn't
ChatGPT
even
some shit.
actual source. That was just to give the definition of what a first generation is. Like, come on now.
Hey, it was
That's the case, motherfucker. Your free one gone. You done fucked.
Oh shit, we got another nigga with some information now.
Oh, it's the young Arawak, my Grenadian brother.
The saltwater drinker.
Oh, the rainwater, the rainwater.
Oh
Not
yeah, right.
not too much. He's my fellow tether over here.
What's up, Sliding Penguin? You gonna hit us with one of them long ass introductions you be coming in with?
First, he gonna roll up. Now, what he does, he gonna stay on mute because he ain't rolled up yet. Because instead of rolling up and then coming on the panel, he do that shit in reverse. So he finna spend the next 15 minutes rolling up.
Oh, yo, that one fat dude that everybody hates is in here.
I'm on the panel, right?
I'm
Why?
already rolled up. I'm already rolled up.
Shit,
What's
okay,
good?
okay.
Yeah. What's good?
There's nothing, chilling.
You want to answer the prompt?
Let me see. If your ancestors were the original inhabitants, how were they replaced? Mines wasn't like replaced like that. You know what I'm saying? Come from unconquered peoples. The ones that lost some lands, they just island hopped. Whatever. That's what they did. And other places was different. If they had to jump on you, it was too late. If you was able to island hop, then you just lost the land. Sometimes people try to fight back for it. You can see a video I dropped of my tribe actually rescuing Africans attacking slave ships. Like I've been telling people we did, and we trained them up to actually rescue their own peoples. So that happened hundreds of years before it happened on the mainlands. But some people, were replaced, unfortunately. Not in big numbers. How did they use their language and culture? Language was like basically to communicate. So I got 2 tribal languages. Kalinago, Carib of South America, a little different from the one on the.
And tell us where you learned these languages from. Did you learn them from your parents, family members, ancestors?
All right, so it's a mixture. Sometimes it's you can learn certain things from your ancestors, your parents, little words. So say, hand me the cocoa, grab me the papaya.
Nigga, those are English words.
No. Papaya is a indigenous word. Cocoa is indigenous. It's
Are you
indigenous
serious,
stuff.
nigga?
Yeah, I'm serious.
The Nahuatl people in Mexico called cocoa cocoa. I'm pretty sure there was a word for it.
Did y'all know that the Mayans used cocoa butter? This is indigenous to here.
Kookaloo. They would say, pass me the kookaloo. Certain
Nigga, no,
things.
the
That's
fuck
an
you did.
indigenous
You just
plant.
said cocoa.
Kookaloo is an indigenous plant. Yeah, I'm just telling you, cocoa's.
And then tell us where you learned the rest of your shit from. Was it YouTube, Google? Where did you learn it at?
And then the rest, you have stuff that you still learn from certain elders, and then you have different tribal people that will show you stuff on YouTube's. You got living dictionaries.
There you go.
You got a plethora of different things.
So none of your people taught you this shit. The majority of the shit you learned
my people
from YouTube and Google.
My people taught me a lot of stuff, bro.
Did you say you didn't lose your language or anything?
Like you heard a Jamaican say like man for talk or gal for talk, ray ray and thing. The word ray ray is a Kalinago Carib word for bat, like talkative bat. That's what that means.
So, Sliding, do you have people in your family today who speak the language fluently?
Yeah, some will speak it about like 30-some%. Some could even speak a little bit higher. That's the ones that's on the reserve. American ones average like 25%.
25%? What the fuck do you mean 25%? Come on, bro.
How much of y'all language y'all got? Tom, how much of your language you still got?
I speak
Well,
English, white boy English.
unfortunately, Bill,
Yeah,
we
yeah. And
speak
Tom Cruise,
English
I got a question for you too, right? If you look up Old English 1450, I want everybody to look up Old
none
French
of us can read Old
1450,
English. Let's
Old
not even do that.
Spanish. Listen, 1450, Old Germanic, Old Dutch, Old Portuguese 1450, Old Italian 1450, right? And I guarantee you that it'll be a different type of all them languages compared to what's over here.
Are
I
you
No
sure
shit,
promise
that
you.
nigga.
we don't speak Old English? We all know that. No one speaks.
Words.
Yeah, but we're
And all the
asking.
other colonizers and words. All right,
We're
thank you.
asking about no. There are people who still speak their languages in this hemisphere that have not had contact with European languages, and they can speak it fluently. So the question states, how did they lose, or how did you lose your culture and your language?
Well, it's
It's not
assimilation.
about
Did
mixing.
you just
I'm
say?
Assimilation.
asking.
Did you
Assimilation. Just
just say
trying to be
people
on
that didn't
code.
have
Trying to be
European
on code with
contact?
the like trying to be on code with the system of colonization. You can look up a Google picture. It's this brother named John or something like that. He's an inland tribe guy, right? And
Nigga
he's
named
in a
John.
straight up, like he's in a straight up like business suit and everything. So certain tribes, certain peoples, actually more than that had to assimilate
You need
to
to
make
look up a
money.
nigga named John in a business suit.
Bro, hold up,
Yeah.
Tom. Did you just
It's
say
an
that
Indian brother.
there were people that didn't come into contact or did come into contact?
I mean, it both applies. There are still uncontacted tribes, and there's still people who have, for
There are still
example,
uncontacted tribes, and there's still
who
people who have.
Well, obviously, the uncontacted tribes would still keep their shit because the colonizer never got to them to take their shit away.
obviously.
So that asking that would have been completely you. That's what you. I'm pretty sure that's what you asked him at first. I didn't hear did. I heard didn't. So to ask him that is kind of wrong because obviously they would have kept their languages, and then to turn around and say, "How did you?" Because niggas came in contact with the motherfuckers. What?
But no. My point is that there are people who have come into contact. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I did misunderstand you. My point is that there are people who did come into contact with Europeans, right? And they still speak their languages fluently because
That's because they set
they're
up the
still
boarding schools for them. They didn't set up the boarding schools for themselves.
No, you.
Yeah. And we
I
had
feel
boarding
like
schools over
that's
here.
such
I'm
a.
trying to answer
Hold
your
on.
question.
It
I'm
was
answering
under
your
the
question.
missionary church schools.
I'm answering your question with intellectual honesty, and I'm being genuine. They had boarding schools set up by the colonizers to teach them all of that shit. That is a historical
Not
fact.
true.
They
That
didn't
is
set up
your.
these schools for themselves. You can Google right now. You can do it and then come back with the answer time if you really
So
just Google.
we
Just go to Google.
rebut you,
Just
right?
go to
But
Google. Just go to
hold on,
Google right now and
Bill.
come
Hold
back
on.
with it on the big screen. Did
Okay,
European
I think that's a
colonizers
regional
I'm
thing.
set up
I'm
Indian
gonna
boarding
respond,
schools?
and we're gonna all go on mute because I've been on mute, right? So the boarding schools were not the purpose that you were saying. You're misrepresenting what they did, right? Those schools were to assimilate the indigenous people into the American or overall European culture. There was no teaching of their indigenous languages. That they took it from them. They broke them from their culture, and they separated those people from who they are. I don't understand where we keep or why we keep saying this, but it's just blatant misinformation, and I think it's kind of, I don't want to say evil, but to minimize what those people suffered in those schools to fit your narrative is kind of crazy to me.
Nah, but everybody know that
Those boarding schools were not.
they had boarding
Hold
schools.
on. I get
Hold
that, but
on,
those.
wait a minute. Wait. So
They had boarding schools
they
in the
took
Caribbean
it
and
from
South
them
America
and
too.
then they gave
It
it
was just in
back?
a different way they did it.
Is that what you're saying, Tom?
I'm saying that those boarding schools, the purposes that they served were to assimilate the indigenous people into the European dominant culture. That is a fact.
Well, what was
Talking
the
about two
purpose of the
different
5
things.
civilized tribes? Yeah, because
Y'all talking about two different things, man.
Well,
So
it's the
Indian
same thing
boarding
though. It's
school.
the same
She's
thing though,
correct
Sage.
on
It's the
Indian.
same
She's
thing.
correct on Indian boarding schools. Now, when y'all are talking about like tribes that are learning their languages, right? Which is a tribal thing, and you're applying that to schools, which there are tribal schools or classes, curriculums that teach people of their tribe their language, just like Americans learn English, right? I mean, these things are
No,
sensible. No one comes out the
we're talking about at that time, no, Sage. We're talking about at that time. We're not
at
talking about
that
like in
time, but
today's
at that
present
time.
time.
But I think this is a regional thing as well. It's based off of isolation, number one. So if you're talking about tribes that do retain a language, it's because they are usually isolated, i.e., Canadian tribes to a certain extent. Also, Mesoamerican, not many, very
Yucatan.
very low amounts of Mesoamerican. There's more of a fluidity when you come to South American tribes that do retain a language, but it's not. Again, these are places where you're not. It's not the same in America. America is pretty much fully colonized. There aren't any uncontacted tribes in America, in the borders of the United States at all. So it's more of a regional thing, and I don't understand the argument. I think that's logical, right? I would believe.
Wait, so
Yo,
Sage,
I only
wait,
know of one
hold on, Penguin,
uncontacted tribe.
Penguin, 1 second. So Sage, you're saying in the United States, the earlier boarding schools were primarily meant to force European culture and ideologies onto
For
those
sure,
boardings, or
for sure.
okay. So and then now so are you saying that there has been maybe a little bit of a conflation between those schools and what's happening now as quote unquote indigenous people are trying to reclaim their heritage?
Exactly.
Okay.
And it's not just now, they've been doing it. Like when we look at tribes that have been established, they've been established for a long time. So it's not like they haven't been teaching their languages to a certain extent, but a lot also languages are that's a whole nother conversation, layers of that a lot of people kind of take extremes on, not really want to be truthful about, but essentially, yeah, I think a lot of people conflate these things, and that's why she took offense to him saying, speaking about the schools as if that was them institutionalizing them into learning their language versus the opposite. It's just a
Well,
conflation of these
I'm
things.
not. I'm not taking.
Yeah.
I'm
And
hold on. Hold on,
I'll
fighting.
agree with that too, because we
I'm
don't
not
make
taking
fun
offense
of
to
no
it.
boarding schools. That's
Right,
just
but I'm
not
saying
cool because that's
I'm
a
not
real
taking
thing that
offense
happened.
to it, but I think that at a certain point we have to start being historically accurate, right? Like I know people want to believe in their whatever history and blah blah blah, but these are well documented things that we have resources on, and so to lie about the purpose of them, it gets a little weird to me.
Yeah, and Tom Cruise. Make sure you look up the church missionary schools in the Caribbean in the 1500s,
Where was the
so you
first
can
Indian
see
boarding school set up?
it was boarding schools there too in the early
Right,
1500s set up too.
exactly,
So yeah,
Fighting Penguin, and that's the purpose that a lot of those missionary
that's why I
churches
don't make fun of no
serve.
boarding schools. I would never
Right,
do that. I would never
exactly,
say they
because
learned indigenous
what they were
languages from there.
doing
That's
was
crazy. That's
disconnecting those people from
diabolical.
their
That's
culture and their
sick.
languages and assimilating them. We can see that throughout the world. This happened in Africa, this happened in Asia, this happened in the Americas. I don't.
And urban areas, because all y'all talking about is the public school system. But you know what I find quite odd though?
But John,
They
look,
spend
this is what
money
I find.
to
This
they
is what I find very awkward with this story. It's funny that these Indian boarding schools did not come up until after Alaska was purchased in 1867, and the first one was in Pennsylvania. You see what? That's where the phrase comes from. That's a
Yeah,
Native
but
No,
that's
American.
fine.
no,
Now,
no,
hold
no.
on,
They
hold on,
had
hold on, hold
school
on.
churches. They had
Can I
school churches was boarding
can I
schools
just
too
read what the source
from the
says real quick?
1500s, even in
Fighting.
Florida.
Hold on, Fighting. If we read the paragraph above Federal Register, it says, founded by Army Captain Richard Henry Pratt, Carlisle was the first federally funded off-reservation boarding school for Native American children. It is infamous for Pratt's philosophy, kill the unalive the Indian and save the man, and served as the direct blueprint for over 400 government-run boarding schools across the U.S. designed to forcibly assimilate indigenous children by stripping them of their languages, cultures, and traditions. Is that not what I'm arguing?
But it sounds like public school
People language
systems.
that they were stripped of.
Right. I just said that the purpose of those schools was to assimilate them into American culture. What is your source is backing what I'm saying.
Ask what, like, honestly, if you know that these children, not adults, children were put in these schools and abused, right? Why think that there's anything to take light of that? It seems like there's so
Yo,
much.
hey, yo, Sage. Hey, yo. Let me tell
Which
you why. That's an
tribe is it,
African trait.
Sage? I'm confused.
Hey, yo. No. It's Tom. He's not talking about you. Listen to him. He's not talking about you. You know why? That is an African trait that people do to mock things. Real indigenous would never mock none of that stuff that happened to indigenous kids. You got indigenous blood. I'm just telling you, that's just how it goes.
What?
No, Tom,
Hold
you
on,
jumping the thing.
guys.
He's not talking
Hold
about
on,
you. He's saying
Socks. Hold on,
general.
Sliding Penguin, because I think I'm getting what Stilly's saying. And it's a little bit of what I'm saying. It sounds like the public school systems, because think about it. Why would they go through all that trouble to do that, right? Strip the Aboriginals from their culture, only to now be on these reservations teaching them how to be an Indian. That doesn't make sense.
Wait.
Well, it's the people they're teaching
Hold up.
themselves how
How
to
does that?
reclaim their
How
ancestry.
did you
No,
put
they're
that
not.
together and it did not make sense?
No, they're
Just
not.
think about
Because
that. You saying
think about it. Yeah,
okay? Hold up. We
really
just heard
sit
you.
there
Cha
and
cha. You
think
just said
about
it.
it.
Let me deconstruct it, please.
Let,
Right?
hold on.
So you
Let her
just
ask a
said
question
you
first.
just
You
said
don't even know what the question is.
why would they strip people of their culture and their language and later on just to give it to them again? First of all, these tribes wasn't given their culture by the government. They are trying to retain a culture that was probably either lost or somehow preserved in a way for their future generation. So for you to assume that it's just like the government made this plan, this full loop plan, it's kind of crazy, right? It doesn't.
Yo,
That
even the
part
dog is
doesn't make
agreeing. The dog
sense.
is agreeing. Y'all hear that? The dog is agreeing. You hear that?
So I mean, to his point, it
I
does
don't think
seem
the
to make
dog like what you're saying.
it does seem to make a little
I'm
bit more
just saying though,
sense.
it don't
Wait,
make
hold on,
sense though,
sliding.
bro.
Hold on, sliding. It does seem to make a little bit more sense if these people are on these reservations and they are trying to reclaim what little of their culture they were able to retain through all of that stuff. So like you're right, like it doesn't really make sense for a government to take or take and give or give and take. Like that doesn't make sense. Like that, I think it's kind of what we're all saying.
There's no history of no
Exactly.
European
So these
nation
schools
speaking
was
these
really
tribal
made
languages
for a
to give them
specific
any
group of
legal.
people that they kept reclassifying because they named you, gave you clothes, give you a mentality to go by, and that's just not putting two and two
But
together.
these Siberian, quote unquote Siberian kids, they weren't going to the American public schools, right? Like they were. We had like what's the thing that Steely brought up in the screenshot. It said save the or unalive the Indian, save the man, right? So I think
Absolutely.
that's more so kind of going to what Tom says, that they were stripping these quote unquote Siberians of their culture, right?
So how did they keep that
Okay,
culture
but
when they went?
that
So
that's
I
what
got
I'm
a
saying.
better
That goes
wait,
question.
into
hold on.
Why
my
do you
question.
think it was
Who
only
How did they keep their
Siberian
culture if
children
they went to school to
put in
take their
those
culture
schools?
away? Answer that, please.
Say wait, say Billy.
They keep their culture if the schools were to take their culture away. Can you
I mean, the
explain that?
schools were absolutely trying, but I think it's hard
No, it
when
wasn't no
so
trying
so I
because the
think
narrative
so
goes
I
that they
think I
lost
think
their
the
language and
issue
culture.
I think the issue
The
is
narrative
We
goes
don't
that
have
they
a
lost
they
their
history
didn't
of
all
language and culture.
nobody.
no. So let me answer your question. So the narrative is not that they all lost everything. That's our narrative, and that's your narrative. Their narrative is that they tried to destroy them and by putting these kids in these boarding schools. And the problem with that, though, is that they're only putting the kids in the boarding schools. So you still have elders and things like that who still speak this language, and they're trying to pass it down. And that's the same issue that a lot of them are talking about now. We're trying to get this information from our elders before they pass away. Like, that's their narrative.
All right, now what if I have sources that disproves your stance on that?
Who are you talking to, sir? Can you introduce yourself?
But I want to know what makes you think that it was only these what y'all quote unquote call Siberian children that were put in
That's a
these
good
schools.
question, Sage. Let's just shelf that for a second. Mr. Chief Top Up, can you give us your ethnicity, ethnic background, please?
I'm biracial, but I'm a native and white.
Native and white. Okay. And what
Yeah.
tribe? What tribe are you native?
Homo Nation in Chittimacha. It's in South Louisiana.
South Louisiana. Okay. Thank you. So go ahead. What do you want to present?
So the last video I made, I'm pretty sure y'all familiar with Vil Day Day. He's one of the bigger creators for y'all's movements on TikTok, right?
Wait, who is y'all's? This is this panel has people who believe in multiple things. Not yet. Who's y'all?
Well, what the
That's
Black
the kid
Aborigine
from
movement.
Marksville.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, the Black Aborigine movements itself, right? So the last video I made was because a dude named Vil Day Day, he made a video. I actually like to make rebuttal videos and stuff like that, right? And he basically pulled up a picture of Indian children in a classroom, and on the board behind the Indian children says, "Please do not speak Eskimo." So I'm not sure if any one of y'all really took y'all time to really dive into how Eskimo is actually a slur. It's very derogatory for those people. And they don't actually call themselves that, you know? And it's also a broader term for all American Indians, right? So just like with I think one of the other guests was up here saying, right? The goal was to unalive the Indian and save the man. That was their ideology. So you could kind of say the one drop rule, how William Pleckard used, that was kind of like a slogan, right? The unalive the Indian and save the man was also a slogan and also an ideology. So hold on. Oh, that's not it.
What happened?
I wonder what man they talked about saving. I wonder what man they were talking about saving.
So the same pictures that y'all pull up, oh, they're standing in front of a sign that says
You got
Indian
us
children
upset, y'all.
schools.
Just.
Oh, yeah, my bad. That's
take
just how I
information.
talk. I have to be more specific. But a lot of people who pull up these pictures and basically say, oh, they went to this Indian training school to learn to be Indians, you have to make sense how there's nations in Canada and the United States that are finding those same children that you said that went to learn to be Indian. Why are they being found underneath those schools? What's the purpose of that? If they're trying to use these people to infiltrate and rewrite a history in the peoples, what's the point of unaliving them? You know what I mean? Like, the ideology works against itself. There's many articles that you could go and find on these children being found underneath these schools for simply speaking their language. They were tortured, severely beaten. You know, if they spoke their language, stuff would happen to them, unimaginable things that we can never fathom. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I feel like if you could if you're gonna go like say something, right? You could easily go ask Google, and then it's gonna pull up many different sources, maybe a few of which is primaries. You just have to dig for it. Once you gain a clear understanding of what you're speaking on, I'm pretty sure that the stance that they went to these schools to learn to be us, that will completely dissolve, and you will actually become educated on what happened to these people and what was the purpose.
Let me get the best
No,
news.
but I'm saying it with the intention of saying y'all not dumb people. I don't know if that's not going. I don't know why that keeps going over y'all.
Hey, can you? But look, I went and asked Google something.
you
Can you put
need
me on the
more
big screen
Cha-Cha.
because I was more curious to know how close are they language related to Siberians? How
Siberians. They
close is
got
the
the
Native
Athabascan
American
language.
language?
Yeah.
If you put
I
me
mean,
on the
they're
big screen, it
gonna have
shows it. It
similarities.
shows it.
Almost the whole southeast of the United States, all those indigenous tribes, they spoke similar dialects. Like my tribe, the Houma tribe, if you spoke Choctaw, you could basically talk to somebody in my tribe and you could understand each other almost completely. The language
So
of my
you
tribe
speak.
specifically.
So you speak. So you speak the native.
No, not Dene. That's Navajo. I'm talking about Choctaw.
being in Homer, Louisiana.
Yeah,
I don't speak
the Nay
Navajo.
is the other Native American tribe. Then you got the Athabascan tribe. Both of their
Because y'all,
tribes are similar to
because
Siberian. All
Homer
their
doesn't
languages are
have a
similar to
history.
Is that
Siberian.
soul food? Soul food. One
Oh,
I can
that's
find please.
so.
Yeah, so that's all I wanted to bring light to, because they always say that they're not the same people, and so their language is derived from them. Therefore, that means that they are one and the same.
All right, so
Let
now
me
picture
show
this,
this
right?
real quick, and I'm gonna let
Isn't it kind
Soul
of
Food go on
strange
cook.
that the Inuits
That's
in
actually just one
Alaska?
tribe, by the way, Steely. I just want to make that the Navajo do acknowledge that they have closer similarities with some of those ancient Siberian people. Like they've never really said that they didn't.
Which would make sense because them they fucking ancestors, you special ed
All
ass
right.
kids.
Yeah, let me
You
get
know,
the
I
big
just want to show
screen.
one more thing,
That's
right?
right, because they migrated over here and met a population that was already here.
So I know it's kind of
Exactly.
blurry, but if you was to look up all the slurs for Eskimos and intended for Eskimos, right? We know that the term Eskimo is a broad term for a lot of tribes in Alaska. They also, what I have highlighted is snow N-word. You know what I mean by that? And why did they also
Go ahead
call
and take
these
that down for
Eskimo
us, though, just in
people?
case. You can keep talking about
Yeah,
it, but just take it down for us, just in case. Thank you.
yeah. So why did they also call these people snow N-words? You know, the term
Oh, I can
like
show you.
Negro wasn't
How
always
long you gonna
used.
get? Cause damn, it's been 10 minutes. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, maybe they saw niggas in the snow. I don't know what other type of
Hey,
niggas look
the
like.
same people that they call snow N-words, they have
Okay.
pictures right on side of who they called it. And it doesn't look like y'all, bro.
Hey,
They do.
hold
See,
on.
this is. Let
Wait
me
a
get
minute.
the
Hold
big
on.
screen.
What
Let me get the big screen.
is a slur for Indian in America?
For my people specifically, it's Sabine.
No, I didn't know. I asked you that. I asked you what was a slur for
Oh, you can't
Indian in
generalize. There's so
America.
many different
What's
peoples
this?
in
What
Yeah.
America.
is
See,
the slur? What
There's
this is
no
why
is
I don't
the
trust.
generalizing term.
slur?
This is why I don't trust pictures that y'all get, because y'all Photoshop the fuck out of everything. Because y'all are liars. Y'all are all goddamn liars. Y'all see these? Y'all see the hand on the little melanated girl's shoulder? You see how it's what you would consider black, but then you look at this woman's face and she pale as all fucking get out, and then you look to the left at the goddamn hand how it's dark, and then you look at the woman's face and it's pale as all fucking get out, and then you look and notice that their heads are superimposed on their goddamn bodies. Y'all like to Photoshop and lie. Y'all are some fucking liars. That's why I don't trust shit that y'all pull up. I really don't,
I
because
don't
all that
think
shit
that's
is
true,
Photoshop.
They
Kyle.
was
Come on.
calling
And
them
the
So,
thing
I
about
mean,
it,
Steely,
right?
you're
do I
The
actually
get
people that I
zoom in?
pulled up
It's
is
hold
the
okay.
same
on.
Don't
people.
stay right there.
Let
I
me
want to
be.
come
Well,
on. I
let's
So
stay.
you're
want to
Let's
get
saying
on
let's
the
that's
stay on
end.
hold,
Bacon,
hold
Steely.
I
on.
will
Let
zoom in on the
me
end.
And
Stay,
explain.
Cha-Cha,
stay
we got
there.
you next. We got you next, Cha-Cha. We
Hold,
do want to
hold
say,
on. So y'all saying
wait,
that's a
Sage, one
fake
second,
photo?
Sage,
It
hold up,
could be.
Sage, hold
I
up.
don't know.
So the thing with that though is a lot of those images of those Native American people are daguerreotypes, and there are exposure explanations for some of those things coming out darker and lighter.
There ain't no fucking
I'm not
niggas
saying
messing
that
with that
that's what
shit though. Stop it.
that's
Stop.
what's going on. I'm not saying that that's what's going on in this photo. I've never seen this photo before, but on daguerreotypes, when you do take some of these images in the way that they're exposed, you can get dark spots and you can get light spots like that. That's kind of a normal thing. It's what
Yeah,
happens with
but it's a
daguerreotypes.
difference between a light spot and a dark spot, and
Well,
looking
some
at the
things will
picture.
come out
And
lighter and darker.
hold
Yeah.
on, there is a difference between a light spot and a dark spot, but you could still see that someone is European or white, and some of them are
Cha-cha.
actually a person of color. Can you put me on the big screen? They called them snow niggas because they was looking like this.
But look at the hair. Look at
I
the
hope you don't
straight
think
hair
that's
on
your
this
black
woman.
ass,
Like, come
bro.
on.
Long
You
and
don't
straight
look
like a
like this
horse
All right.
tail.
person.
And
And
y'all don't
there
resemble that.
is,
Which
The
is
only way that
excuse
y'all
why,
can get
me,
y'all
hold
hair
up,
like that is
and
because of
that's
excuse
flat.
why
me,
I asked him,
excuse me,
and
Y'all got
that's
to
why
perm y'all
I
hair and
excuse.
asked
flatten
Hold
your
him
hair
on,
and
let
put
what
me
was
picture
the
flight
slur
hair.
for
let me
America.
wait a minute,
Or
Steely.
melanin.
But can I just talk a little freely before I get interrupted?
You don't
I
want to say
I
that's one of your niggas.
I will only take 30 seconds of your time.
I
Can you
promise you, I
show me a
won't.
little patience? Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Because this ain't manipulated by no light or darks. or this ain't manipulated by no light or dark spot. And no matter how you wanna manipulate the wording or whatever, his features alone, you could tell he's not a so-called Siberian. You could tell he's not a fucking European, and you could
That's definitely
tell.
Asiatic though.
Excuse me, sir. And you could tell that he's not no African.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. You can obviously tell this motherfucker has some type of Asian in him, mixed somewhere. As a matter of fact, look at this motherfucker hair texture. Bro, stop playing with these people. I don't get how you can take this picture, look at it, and say, oh man, this is a nigga. Ma'am, you how y'all stealing these people whole culture? I'm convinced you niggas is psycho.
Put me on the screen, man.
Still ain't learned your
And like
lesson.
Can I
for
get
the
my
people that think
time
The
back?
problem
I
Hold
was
again is
on,
y'all
y'all. I'm
applying.
listening, y'all. Y'all
Hold up.
gave
The
that
problem
man.
again
Hey,
is y'all
Cha-Cha, hold
applying.
on,
Y'all
hold on. Hey,
indoctrinate with
let's let
racism
Cha-Cha,
and
hold on,
colorism.
let's let Cha-Cha get her shit off. She's been waiting patiently. Go ahead, Cha-Cha.
Thank you. His features alone, fuck it, so what? All just because you melanated doesn't mean you have to have a particular or a uniform hair thing. You see that in today's people, not all black people got the same hair textures or whatever the case may be, but they still richly melanated. Now, when you talk about snow Negroes, they are still identifying with the fact that this motherfucker's black. They just
Nigga ain't
found his
black.
ass. They just found his ass in the
That nigga's
snow.
not black.
Now, as I've proven
That nigga look
earlier
like a
in
Mexican.
yo, you see what I'm saying?
That nigga's not black.
Now, as I've proven in previous panels, even in the
Black and white
snow,
person.
even in the snow, we thrive in the snow. And even as an Inuit, they still wear animal fur and stuff like that to protect them from cold temperatures. We just know how to adapt to different weathers. In the summer, you wear loincloths or whatever. In the winter, you wear animal fur.
Anyway, my
But it
nigga, that nigga's
doesn't
not
take
black.
Hey,
but
Pumpkin,
it
can I get put
doesn't
on a
take
big
away
screen?
That
from
nigga's
the
not black.
it
Are you
doesn't
tripping, bro?
it doesn't
You
take
off a
away
bit
from
though.
the fact it doesn't take away from the fact that you are deeply
You're off a bit
melanated.
though. That man is just like
Yeah,
any
that's the
other
same guy.
goddamn
They
Native
darkened them
American.
up for Photoshop. Absolutely.
All right, so you could actually go to the National Archives and pull it up on a government website. So this
Hmm.
is Photoshop to blend both pictures together. It's easier to use this picture, especially on a TikTok live, so you can see both pictures clearly, right? So on the left, so if you look up "Unalive the Indian and Save the Man," a lot of photos of this person is gonna come out in that search because this was what they were aiming for. So you can see on the left, his like amount of melanin is basically you
So
could
he
basically
bleached
compare it
himself?
to Cha-Cha's picture, right?
Did he bleach
And then the
himself?
picture
No,
on the right
my
is whenever he was
picture
quote unquote
is not
colonized, right?
Okay, but did he
my
bleach
Our
picture
himself?
is
melanin works
not
Cha-Cha,
different.
hold
And
up,
then,
hold up. Did he bleach himself?
no, he didn't. He was just out
So
of the
then
sun.
how
He
was
went
he
to
lighter?
European civilization.
How was he lighter? How did he become lighter then if he didn't bleach himself?
Less sunlight.
I
You
mean,
know
to
how
be
dumb
fair,
you
Said
sound
the
right
light
now?
got brighter.
No, because I can even
to
use
be
myself
fair,
for
we do
example,
lighten
right?
up sometimes in the
In
winter.
the summer, bro, I get hella dark, and then in the winter, I do get almost white, bro. Like it
Oh
just
my
depends on how much I
god.
am outside. Like whenever I worked in a
Oh
shipyard,
my
I was dark as hell.
god.
Whenever I got out the
but
shipyard,
my
You know
I
picture
was
what?
my
at
At the
like
picture
a
end
is
of the
warehouse
day,
that
not
got
these
That
light
photos
manipulated.
all
happens
all
to
be
melanized.
facade.
My
I see
picture
this
everyone.
is
picture
not
all the time.
Everyone
manipulated.
And I got
gets
a
dark and
question.
light in
No,
the
hold
sun.
up.
So
All
hold on,
BS
hold on, hold on.
aside, I see this picture all the time. I got a question. Do anybody know this man's name?
My
I
picture
honestly
is
don't.
not manipulated. That's all I
Oh,
wanted
okay,
I
to
that's
forgot
say.
this
cool. Does
motherfucker
anybody
name,
know
but
this
he went
man's
to he
name?
went to one of
Can
the boarding
anybody
schools. I
research
don't
this
remember
man's
his name.
background?
He went to one of them schools. I forgot what his name was.
Okay, I
I
think
think it
it's
was part
important to at
French or
least know his
something.
name, do his genealogy, and make a consensus off of that. Because in reality, I'm trying to tell you, a lot of y'all talking points crash into each other because y'all are inherently racist and colorist, and y'all base
Nigga,
your
you is
whole
Okay,
construct
Siberian.
I got
That's
around
some.
these
Can
okay.
I get
You can
my
concrete
cape
time,
things.
you
dog?
can cape for
But
them
go
damn
ahead.
Siberians. I will never
The
do
Can I
that.
get
Mm.
my
My
idea
time?
that
stance
you're
was
But
trying to
let me get
is
call
this
that
straight real.
the people
Hold
who
on,
is
Go
hold
my
on.
ahead.
people were
melanated
So
heavily
was
melanated, so we
racist.
could
Go
also
ahead.
be light.
So this is say from earlier Oklahoma school had red and black Indian students. You see these motherfuckers right here? Don't them look like niggas?
Soul Food.
What's the definition of red Indian and black Indian?
Soul Food. This is not what you think it is, player.
Okay, I got you.
That just literally proves that they had mixture of red, quote unquote Siberians and black people, bro. That wasn't.
I'm saying that's not the only people that was in them schools.
Well, right, but we never said that Afro-Indigenous people don't exist.
So who
you can be
think is going through
Afro-Indigenous
this?
all day,
Okay.
and you can have Indian ancestry.
That
But
wasn't
whenever you go as
We
far
told
to
you
say
that.
that black people are the
We
real
told you,
Indians,
Zoom. The
that's
afro is
crazy.
just an American hairstyle.
Yeah, I'm not doing that extra stuff. So you know what I'm talking about, Steely.
I mean, we're talking about somebody's ethnicity.
We
and
don't
race
know what
whenever
you're
we say
talking about
Afro.
because it doesn't exist.
No, because you said that we was gonna have a fair intellectual conversation so that we can know exactly what we're
All right,
talking
Steely, I'm gonna give you
But
an
it seems
elementary
on
school
certain
example,
points.
right? Hold on. So, Steely, if I walk,
I didn't ask you
hold on.
nothing because I
If I walk up
asked
to you and I
you
was like, your
what
Afro
do they
looks good
call
today,
the
bro. You
American
don't know that I'm
Indian?
talking
What
about the
slur
hair.
do they call the American Indian? And you refused to say the American slur for Indian is nigger, right? But you was quick to call the Eskimos a nigger. You was quick to use it
Trying
for
to
them.
force him to say a word that everybody's gonna flip out on him if he said it.
That's a good point.
It's
He's
not
half
flipping
white,
out
half
on the word
indigenous.
Sage.
So
He
why?
didn't
Come
have
on,
no
let's keep it a
problem.
bean.
He didn't have no problem. He didn't have a problem saying it when he was talking about the Eskimos.
I never
He
said
didn't
it.
have no problem saying it
He
then.
didn't
So
say
take
it
the
I
though.
cap
didn't
off.
say the N word.
But hold on,
You're
Steely.
not on the
I
panel
did.
of
Hold on.
Eskimo.
Hold
That's
on,
different.
because y'all are trying to make it like I'm talking about him saying the word, and I'm not talking about him saying the word. I'm
I
talking
mean,
about
the
him
live's
making
recorded.
the
You
point
can
that
pull
they
it up.
said.
Yeah, man. Y'all ain't even let me talk.
All right, let's take a quick little breather. Nobody get mad. We're going to take a little reset. I do want to quickly show. I don't know if you guys can really see this, but these are Chinese people whose photos were taken the same year that the photos that Cha Cha so kindly shared with us. And you can see that they're very dark. We know that Chinese people are not that dark, but what you're seeing, people, are camera effects, right? It's the way that the quality of the cameras are making people who are not that dark look darker than they really are. Yes, Bill, he's not that dark. That's correct. That's the point. We know that Chinese people typically do not present that dark. I don't know how to turn this fucking background off. But no, he's dark. I said he's darker than we would normally think of a Chinese person as being dark. That's the point. So we do understand that there's a chance that the guy in Cha Cha's pic is not as dark as he's presenting in that photo. That's the only point. That's just kind of how cameras were working in 1904. It was making everybody look a little darker than they actually was. Same thing for us too. There's a lot of photos that are in black and white from that era where BLK people look way darker than they actually are.
You just fucked up by
Bullshit.
saying that. Hold up,
That's
Cha Cha. Oh, wait,
bullshit.
no, Cha Cha is not bullshit. He fucked up by saying that. Because you saying that is when they took these pictures of these Native Americans, that means these motherfuckers was not that fucking dark. Fuck you. Thank you for saying that stupid ass shit.
Yeah, they weren't
They are
that
not
dark.
the original copper
They
colored.
weren't that
The
dark.
camera made them look copper
They're
colored.
closer
Fuck
to
you.
copper
Man,
color.
Thank
can
you
I
for
get
saying
my
that dumb
opinion
ass
point
shit.
They're closer
in?
to
I'm
copper
glad
color.
you
Yep.
was. I'm glad you said that stupid
Yeah,
shit.
they
That
definitely
means
were
that
not
when
black.
they took these photos, these
So
motherfuckers
you're
was not
already talking.
originally that
I know
dark.
you're in your
So they
feelings right
not
now,
the
Bill.
original copper
I know
color.
you're in your
Thank
feelings
you.
right now, Bill, but that's not what you
No,
understand.
no, it's okay. Thank you for saying
What
that
you're
stupid
saying
shit.
is completely
Thank
contradicting what
you.
Cha-Cha's
Thank
saying.
you for handing me a dub. It was
Yeah,
easy. It
you
was that
got
easy.
0 dubs on that, sir. You're just saying you're contradicting what Cha-Cha.
Just that easy. God damn.
You see, you could say that over and over. It doesn't make it true. Like that's the problem.
You said that the camera made them look dark.
The camera did make them look darker. That doesn't mean that they weren't copper
So that
colored.
means them motherfuckers must have been pale because
So
they don't look
Cha-Cha
that dark
just
in the
said that you.
photos.
So
Thank
Cha-Cha
you.
literally just said that you motherfuckers were
Again,
black.
that's not a
No,
good
hold on,
argument.
Sage.
Again,
Cha-Cha
I'm
literally
not
just said that
arguing
you
with a motherfucker
motherfuckers
keep
who
were
on
came
black.
from
saying
natives.
hold
I'm not
on
a
So you
Siberian.
to
I'm not finna argue
dominate the
with you on that stage.
conversation.
you guys just said Cha-Cha just said that these people were fucking black, the same color as us. What I'm saying is they actually weren't as dark as we are. This guy in Cha-Cha's
no,
photo
wait,
is
wait,
whiter than
wait.
what he's appearing. Because
You
you
wait,
guys,
dark as who
look
Because
at his
nobody is
No,
black.
let me get my
Stop
fucking
wait,
shit off.
dark as who are?
Let me get my fucking shit off. So you guys, the thing that I'm saying is, you guys are identifying with these people because when you look at these photos, these people are appearing darker than they actually are. That's the problem. When you guys look at these photos, you guys say, "Oh, that's us. That's the same color as we are." That's
Don't
not the
care
same
about
color
the
as we
fucking
are.
color. What are you talking about?
That's what
I don't know
Cha-Cha
if
just
Cha-Cha
said.
saying that shit. I'm not
Don't
saying
use
that
that
shit.
shit. Don't
I'm
change
saying
that.
if you
Don't
look
change
at
the
his
topic.
features,
Don't
he look like a nigga. I don't care about the
That guy
nigga's
does not
skin.
look like a black
If you
person,
look
bro.
like it, man,
See,
stop it.
guys, put me on the
Stop
big
it.
screen.
What?
Stop
Okay,
it.
Yo,
We
you're
are we
lying.
going
let's
to
go.
Can other
Stop.
people
ignore
talk?
Edward Curtis' work? Are we going to
Look
ignore
at wait,
Edward
hold
Curtis'
on,
work?
Stanley.
What is black about
Hold
this
on,
person,
Stanley.
Cha-Cha?
I don't mean to
You think
cut your
that's a black?
wisdom.
What is
Matter of
black
fact, I
about this
want you to
person?
talk after me. Fuck. First of all, my picture is the only motherfucking shit that I brought up that wasn't manipulated.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck he brought up, but my shit wasn't
I
manipulated.
agree.
And you saying, oh, the camera must have, you still talking in hypothetical as opposed to me showing what
No, that's
is.
literally the truth,
Okay?
Cha-Cha. These cameras make people look darker than they actually are.
And outside of all that, oh well, what if it was the dark and the light spots? Just look at his fucking features, my nigga.
What black features does that man
They're
have?
not. Those are not
Look
black
at
features.
his features.
Okay, which ones?
Come on.
Which features does he have that are black, Cha-Cha?
Yo.
That's
Stop fucking playing stupid, yo.
That's
Yo,
an Asiatic
Pumpkin,
man.
get your
That is
keys
literally
back
that is
from these
literally an Asiatic
bozos,
man.
man.
And he could be an Asiatic
You
black.
know,
He could be an
again,
Asiatic
no, hold on,
melanated.
man.
He could be
Y'all
an
keep on
Asiatic
falling into the
melanated
same
man.
Just because you're
pathway
melanated
So it
doesn't
of
doesn't matter.
nonsense.
No,
And the
look, just
Just
pathway
say on that
is this.
motherfucker, he
Hold
look just
on.
like Darkwan.
Hold on.
Stop
Damn,
it.
y'all stay
that's
talking.
ridiculous, Bill. Don't
Y'all
do
don't let
that.
Like, you
nobody
guys gotta
else
be
talk.
realistic.
Like, y'all got so much to talk about.
Bill, you
God
just playing
damn,
around now.
nigga.
Like,
His
are,
name
are,
But
are
Can we
yo,
get a
is
can I
anyway,
get a show time or
any,
something?
Put a
anyway,
wig
the
on. Put a
thing,
wig on.
Nose
And
Bridge
put a
man,
next
hold
to
on.
Darkwan.
I'm
There
trying
you
to
go.
argue on
eyes.
my
men via
opinion.
Go
black?
get a
Come
wig
on,
real quick.
Body
man.
count.
Are the Indians men via black? Are the dark Indians men via black?
Showtime, this whole motherfucker.
Exactly.
But
Let me
yo,
present, man.
dead
It just
ass,
sounds like
man.
y'all
Hold
don't know
on,
what
hold on,
black
hold on.
is,
Let's
bro.
make this make sense real quick, man. So everything is within this construct of either color or race. So you say they look black. I'm not disagreeing with you, right? Because
Oh,
to me,
Siberian
black.
sage time.
Hold up, hold up.
No,
I'm
please
not gonna
go, bro.
disagree because black can look like almost anything. Black Americans can look like anybody. I don't know where the fuck y'all from. Some of y'all must think that all black Americans must look like some Igbo out of Africa. I don't know. It's very weird to me because as a black American growing up around nothing but black Americans, I've seen black Americans from every skin complexion, every nose structure, every jaw structure, every eye. So, and that's without fucking admixtures of Asians, white tea people, or all this other shit. So y'all trying to entrap a black construct based off of race and color or whatever bullshit, hair texture. It's weird.
So
It
there's
doesn't
black
make
Americans
sense.
with
And
straight
that's
hair.
because, hold up, and that's because y'all are stuck in these colonizer indoctrination
Oh,
called
come
race and colorism. And you don't even realize it.
on.
Y'all motherfuckers are
Oh
blue
boy, this
pillars.
guy stinks.
Oh, excuse me,
You
red
know
pillars.
what?
No, blue pillars. Y'all blue pillars.
Bro, are you
Man, I
serious?
can
You
You're
present
gotta.
gonna
y'all.
sit here.
Hey,
You're gonna
I'm
sit
not.
here and say
Hey,
you've
Sage,
met
I'm not
black
gonna hold you.
Americans
You
with
got a
straight hair.
valid. You got
With
a
straight
valid point.
hair.
You got a valid point. Yes, motherfucker. We got straight hair. Like, what the fuck wrong with y'all?
Right.
Obviously,
Yeah,
you
you're
don't.
tripping. You're
Obviously,
tripping.
obviously, you don't know us as well as you think you do. But Sage, what I'm saying is this though. Even when we're talking about these photos, we have to acknowledge that there was a history of manipulation of the photos by one Edward J. Curtis to give a certain image to a certain people. We
Fully agree
cannot.
with
So
you.
when we're having these discussions, we have to include everything that was going on at that time. And that's the main thing that I be saying
And
because you
I
can't be
agree
like,
Now
hey,
I'm
with you.
finna
this
show
was
you
I
just going
agree
on.
everything
with you
else.
on that.
Oh
I do
no.
So
agree
let me
with you.
present y'all. So
Hey,
look, this is the early Indian Oklahoma school. Let me show you the year the first Oklahoma school opened up. So this say early. You see how the people look, the kids look, right?
No, put it back up. Put it back up.
Hold
Because
on.
it makes a distinction between red and black Indians.
Right. I ain't tripping on that.
So who are the black Indians?
Nigga, you can see the black Indians. What are you
No,
talking
but
about?
who are people historically? When people say black Indians, what do they know? What do they
No, that's a
typically?
revised term. I'm not gonna go there. Let me
Hold up,
present.
hold
Then
up.
y'all can ask me
Well, no,
And
questions.
Steven,
Nigga,
you're
Sage
I've
not
been
was
up
black,
here
so
just saying
these
patient.
are
that
your people,
about the
sir.
racial con.
I've
Sage
been up
was
here
just saying
patient.
stop using the racial
Present,
construct.
Hold on,
y'all.
y'all. I've been up here
Yo,
patient,
I
bro.
hate
I ain't
being, I'm
said
starting
nothing.
to
Let me
hate
just
being on the
present and
panel
I'm
with y'all
done.
niggas.
So this early Indian school, let me show you when the first Indian school was open, right? This shit fucking up, man. Okay, here it goes. The first school was opened in 1871. So that was the early Indian school. You see that it's in Oklahoma. You see that what the student looked like, right? Now let me show you this. Now I'm gonna take you to 1885, right? Now watch this.
Let me go out the soul because I'm finna fuck y'all up.
Then right here it says, in the five civilized tribe. Damn, what the I can't even really read that. Damn, hold on. Give me 1 second. Cause I know I got it on
This
my
shit
other.
says pure Indians are few and far between.
Oh yeah, I got you. I
Negro
got you.
Indians, especially in the
Especially in the
Creek.
Creek
No, no, no,
Nation.
no, no, no.
I got it.
This
Can be
shit.
found in
Yeah, no, no. Now
abundance.
you can read it.
And
Now you can
some
read it. Now
speak
that I
only
seen
the
it. Oh
Creek
no, no, no,
language.
no, 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 no. You done fucked up. It says that they're already saying
I can
that these
read it.
people are too. You couldn't read it before. So
Try to pick
this
and
thing is
choose.
already saying
You not
that
finna
these
explain my
people.
source, dog. What is
So
wrong with your
hey,
ass,
I'm
man?
the motherfucking host right now. You know what? I'm gonna do it because this shit says
That you being
Man, be
biased, nigga.
quiet. Let
hold
that
on.
dude.
I'm reading my
Let that
source,
dude
You
nigga.
said
produce
you
his
couldn't
source.
read it, brother.
Let
That's
the
what you
host
said,
read it,
Dog,
bro.
you
brother.
didn't
Spit
do
it
this to
out.
My
nobody.
brother, you
You
said
Bro,
didn't
you
do it
let
to
the
couldn't read
host
it.
nobody,
read
brother.
it.
You
You ain't
said
do
you
it to
couldn't
Host
read it,
read
nobody.
brother.
it.
Let me
You
read
said
my source.
you couldn't
Get
read
The
it.
out of
towns of the
sight,
five
coming here.
nations, even Indian towns, pure Indians and few can be far. Pure Indians are few and far between.
Hmm.
In the country, some are met. Negro Indians, especially in the Creek Nation, can be found in abundance, and some speak only the Creek Nation. The Indians of five tribes are largely one half and one fourth bloods and resemble white men more than Indians. This is the
Right.
1885 census. I just showed you 1971.
Okay.
The
So going off
hold
of
on, I
that,
showed
soul
you
food,
pictures of the students. I showed you
soul
the
food,
year it opened, and I was
soul
showing
food,
you 1885 how they describe Negro Indians. They
soul
were
food.
full blooded,
So
they said.
no,
But
no, no,
let me
no,
just
no, no.
present.
That's
Let me
not what your
present.
thing says, though. Soul food, soul food.
What
That
it
thing is
say?
what
What it say?
this is. So there's a problem with what you're saying. The problem here is that they're saying that the pure-blooded Indian is few and far between, meaning that they don't have that many of them. And now they're what they're basically saying is that they're
How would
tainted. Hold
they
on,
know what's
Steely.
a
Hold the
pure
fuck on,
blood
Steely.
back in the
Hold on.
I'm
1800s?
going off
That's
of what
propaganda.
I'm going off of his source.
Right. Keep
So
going.
right now, if they're making a distinction that they're first saying that the pure-blooded Indian is few and far between, and then they go on and say, yeah, there's fucking Negro Indians, especially in the Creek Nation. They're saying that the pure-blooded Indians have been tainted by black and white tea blood. There's no more pure Indians. So where is that black blood coming from if you are the original Indian?
Let me
Afro
show you.
indigenous, bro.
But
They're Afro indigenous.
I'm talking
Like
about the
y'all funny.
language that speak only the Creek language. We're talking
No,
about
that's not what
languages
that
here.
says though, Soul Food. This says that
Oh
the
my
people
God,
themselves are
man.
few and far between, bro.
It say Negro Indians, especially in the Creek Nation, can be found in abundance, and some speak only the Creek
Exactly.
Nation
Okay,
language.
okay.
Right.
So if
So
they
hold
can,
on. So
so
see,
no,
you
no, no,
keep
no, no, no,
stopping
no.
me.
But
You're not even
soul
understanding
food.
what I'm
I
doing. Hold
don't
on.
think
Hold
you're. No,
on.
I understand what you're doing. I definitely understand what you're doing. But the thing is, on that source, so there's two words. There are three words. Few
Hold
and far
on. Then I
between.
was
So
going
the first
here
also no,
through
don't skip
1890,
don't
how
skip
they
soul food.
passed the rules that you
Soul
couldn't.
food. Don't do that, man. Please. I don't want to mute you, but please let's just stay on topic and then we move what we can move. The thing with the problem with the thing you
It's on
brought up
topic.
earlier, the thing
But
that
you
you brought
doing
up,
it
the
to him,
problem,
dude.
I'm not. The thing that he brought up earlier literally says these people are few and far between. However, there is an abundance of Negroes in these. So if there's an abundance of Negroes, Those two things can't be together. If they have an abundance of Negroes and while they're saying that the Indians are few and far between, that is literally saying that is not you guys. That's
No,
what that
what
is
they're
Hold on.
saying.
saying
First
Because
is
off, I wasn't
they
even
not
saying that from that
supplying
First
us
source.
off,
the
you're
Negroes.
out of line for not letting that man finish his
Oh,
source.
come
You're
on,
out of
bro.
line
Exactly.
because
Because
if
you
you
Come
did,
hold on,
if
because this
on.
is
you
my
didn't agree,
Philly.
if you just
Come
Exactly.
because
Because
you
look,
on,
don't agree
Steve.
with
what
him,
this
don't
is
cut
my
him
next
off
source.
just
Because I
because
know
you
what he
don't agree
does.
This
with
is
him.
my next
This
source
is
right
literally what
here.
he
It
does,
ain't
Steve.
got
So
nothing to
so
do
he
with full
switched.
blood.
You see
This
how the
ain't got
other
nothing to do
things
with
up
full blood.
there?
It's talking about the
Bro, he
languages.
rushes through
So what is you
sources so he
talking about?
can't address them. That's why I cut him off.
This don't even got nothing to, the conversation ain't had nothing to do with full blood. We talking about languages,
You're the
right?
one that brought it up.
When we talking about the schools and languages, that's
No,
why my
you
next
brought it
screenshot was
up.
talking about the laws that was passed
You
Yes,
can you
we
dealing
can
with
just
their
yes we've
decide
been
that's
languages.
what that
talking about the
means.
We were talking
school.
about the schools
We've
and
been talking
language.
about the
Yes, we
schools
are
and the
her.
languages. Yes, we
But that
have,
just so
Junior.
that his source doesn't say that. His literal source
Oh
So,
my
but
says that
God.
there's
no,
an
we
abundance
don't
of
know what
people.
his source saying because you won't let him present it.
Just
We don't
read.
know what his source saying
Just
And you don't
because
know
you
what
read.
keep
angle I'm
stopping
going
it.
at. You just fucking
And,
just saying
oh,
it.
I don't. Okay, go at your angle. Go at your angle. Go ahead.
As you can see, it's a Negro English. I mean, Indians, especially in the Creek Nation, can be found in abundance, and some speak only the Creek Nation. This is 1885. Now, let me show you what the BIA did in 1890. In 1890, the BIA passed. Hold on. Yeah, 1890, the BIA passed. I mean, the BIA and the boarding school enforced this systematically. Schools, I can't even read that. Read that now. You can read that one.
No, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
Let me read it. A
You can read.
non-biased person. The BIA and boarding schools enforced this systematically. Schools operated under federal oversight, often on former military sites, required children to speak only English at all times, not just in class, but in dormitories, during meals, recreation, and even private conversations between students from different tribes who might otherwise have no common language. Native languages were labeled as barriers to civilization. You want me to keep going?
That's really it. But you can see they got strict prohibition. I mean, strict prohibition and monitoring. Show you how it was forbidden. They can call it corporal and psychological punishment. This is how you seen what the kids look like in them schools, right? So when y'all sit up here and play dumb, like y'all don't understand why our ancestors didn't pass down their languages, when you can sit up here and see, and we can also point to when these motherfuckers got their languages, but y'all want to sit up here and cape for the white man for the shit they did to our ancestors is diabolical. But
Oh, Sage, since you already debunked it that earlier, would you like to debunk it? Since we've already moved past that and saying that that's not what those schools were for.
you said what? Them schools
I'm
weren't for
not.
We
that?
We've already had
didn't
this
Yeah.
debunk
conversation. We've already had this
anything.
conversation about
I just showed you
I'm
what
just
the
You have to
board
show
saying.
schools
you have to
for.
show that in
So
documentation, Doom. You have to show that
we've
in
already had this
documentation.
discussion, and you guys didn't have any issue with it when Sage brought it up earlier, right?
And then the
No
Dawes
one had an
Rolls
issue
came out.
with it
Hold
when
on.
Sage
The
brought it
Dawes
up
Rolls
earlier.
came out 8 years later. Come on, man.
Right,
It's a
but no one.
timeline.
So earlier when there was like a quote unquote Siberian here, soul food. We kind of came to the conclusion as a panel that those boarding schools.
No, we
Oh,
didn't.
okay, Cha-Cha. Well, some of us on the panel came to a consensus after what Sage brought up, and Tom and me.
I'm manipulating shit.
How am I manipulating anything?
Let him finish.
How am I
Damn.
manipulating
What's up?
anything?
Vanilla
What literally
Sky.
happened?
You first.
We don't need to be mad. We're having a good time, okay? The thing is some of us on here were saying that it seems more than likely that these schools were meant to take away the culture from these quote unquote Siberians, and that later on they opened up schools to try to claim that back. So what that would kind of contradict what you just brought up. But also, I understand that you're talking about language, but that paragraph that you had highlighted, it said that Indians were few and far between. It did not say the Indian language was few and far between. It said Indians are few and far between.
No,
However,
no, hold
there
on, hold
are.
on.
It said that. That's what it
I
said.
get what
So
you're saying,
There's
but I'm
no
talking about my
universal. There's
ancestors
no
and how they
universal
lost their
Indian
languages. I ain't
language.
saying shit about them
okay,
Siberians
so
yet.
okay, all right. So you're saying that's how your people in Oklahoma. That's fair. There's 500 tribes. I'll give you that.
That wasn't
I
just
will
the
concede
Oklahoma
that.
school though. That was all
I
boarding
will.
schools. What is you
Oh,
talking
so
about?
every
That was just
boarding
the
school. So you're
pictures of
saying
the Oklahoma boarding schools.
so first you said it was just for your people. Now you're saying it is for every single boarding school.
No, I'm talking about the rules. The laws is the law of the land.
Okay.
Them was laws passed. Them wasn't just no fucking boarding school rules. Them was BIA and laws.
And can I get the big screen real quick? 'Cause this is gonna be a good one. So I used Cha-Cha's picture and I asked Chad, there was nothing before this. I just opened up a completely new Chat GPT. I said, if this person was walking around during the Racial Integrity Act, how would they have been classified? Under Virginia's 1924 Racial Integrity Act, this person most likely would not have been allowed a separate Indian classification in official birth/marriage records. This is going to be great. Virginia's system mainly forced people into white or colored. The Library of Virginia says the act recognized only two races, white and colored, and required everyone's race to be recorded at birth. So if this person was walking around in Virginia during that era, oh shit. What?
That's a fact.
They need to
That
give
is
people
that
Okay,
is
so
a
how
permission.
does
I
fact.
that?
swear it gets.
So that
Hold up. I
I would
swear
that
it
give
doesn't
gets
you
really
better.
that doesn't really
that's I
discredit
don't
I
think
swear it
Afro-Indigenous
gets better.
people
Just
though.
let
that's
me finish. I
arguable.
swear it gets
Go
better.
ahead.
I
Go ahead. Go
swear it
ahead.
does. So,
Worried about his hair.
So if this person was walking around in Virginia during that era, most likely official classification, colored. Possible sub-label in practice, Negro, mulatto, colored, or sometimes Indian, socially / locally. But the state system often collapsed native identity into colored. Now let's stay right there. Now somebody said that he was mixed. He had to have been mixed. But if he
Yeah, I don't think anybody on the actual panel thinks that guy's mixed.
Yeah, he's not that man is full blood. The person that Cha brought up is full blood. So if he was walking around during the Racial Integrity Act, even Chat GPT was like, yeah, that would have been a color. That
I
would have
actually
been a
agree. I
Negro.
think that guy would have been listed as colored.
And he was full blood.
Yeah, I agree.
So I based off 100% of this, just saying.
So
Can I ask the
the only
question
issue
though?
with that,
Can
let me
I
just
ask
say
the
one thing. Let
question?
me just say one thing, Sage, and you got it. The only issue with that is that does not discredit that actually would be kind of go more in line with the idea that Africans and these Indians actually just mixed, and some of these people just have
It
Siberian
doesn't,
ancestors.
yo.
No.
Get this nigga out of here, yo. I'm
Do you
sick.
Really
calm
He
upset.
really
down?
try.
Hold
He
up.
really trying to.
Yo,
So wait a
I'm
minute.
sick of your
So are
I
you
ass.
can't
just
do that
saying my
shit.
are
opinion.
you
I'm
That is
saying
my
sick
that
of
they
you,
were
opinion.
yo.
light
I'm not saying
skinned?
it's a
Wait a
fact.
minute.
Hold
I'm
up.
not
Are
saying
Wait,
you
it's a
can I
saying
fact.
say
that they're
something real quick?
recessive?
I'm just
Can I
saying it's
can,
my
can, I can I get ask a
opinion.
question?
It doesn't matter to
But
me.
your
It doesn't
opinion
matter to
in
me.
this case is completely invalid and
That's
irrelevant
fine, but you
because
know,
uh,
they don't got to get
he's
all
full
crazy
blooded.
about it just because that's what I think.
So then you
You guys,
shouldn't
you
throw
guys
that
need to
aside
Stop
learn.
either.
You guys,
fucking
Then. I
manipulating the
question.
I'm
information,
not
my nigga.
manipulating
You and
anything.
you
Alright,
a
god
host.
damn.
That's
Do
how
I have
I'm
to go on
interpreting the
mute for another
manipulation.
30 minutes to ask a question?
Go ahead,
Alright.
Sage.
So simple, right? I got a question. What if Siberians were just as dark skinned as we are today? Would you still say you are not Siberian?
Oh. Ooh, not. Hey, Sage.
But I'm the one manipulating
I will
things.
tell you. I will tell you this though.
Question.
I believe that the first wave was dark age because nigga, when I you know what I'm saying, be in the garden and playing with my flowers, I get them chinky eyes. So I wouldn't be surprised. Every
I
nigga
wouldn't
get
be
chinky eyes
surprised neither.
if we keeping it a
But see,
band.
hold up. But see, this is the thing though. When you
But
bring that
that
question up,
first,
the
but hold on though.
response
You guys aren't
by
even
certain
listening to
people
what
But
will
that
Sage is
tell
saying.
you
first,
how indoctrinated they
but
are.
look,
You guys aren't even
No,
that
but
listening to
would
what
what that
Sage is saying.
also proves
but
is
Sage,
these
that would
niggas.
have
Sage is
to
saying that you guys are Siberians.
they would have to admit that they were darker before they got to that color in order to even have that. And
I
these
don't.
people do
But,
not
but
want
look,
to admit
that's
that
not
they were
that's not
darker.
true.
Steely,
That's not
I'll
true.
give
No,
you
Nobody,
another.
it's
I'll
not.
give you
No,
nobody
another
want to
no,
say
option.
that.
Steely.
I'll give you
No,
You
another
don't. You
I'ma
don't
do
have
option.
to
you
be.
one
You
better,
can be darker
Steely.
all you
I'ma
want.
do you one better, Steely.
Go
They
ahead, child.
not them niggas.
All
That's
right,
what we've
calm
been
down.
trying to tell
So,
you
so
all along.
what
They
if
are not
this?
them.
Wait, hold on. What if this?
These
What if?
fucking
Oh,
these Native Americans that y'all be
chill
fucking
out.
clout chasing all up
Calm
and down
down.
these
You have a
panels are
internal
not the
hatred for
original
something
people of this
for no
fucking
reason.
land.
Yeah.
But
That's
follow
what we've
me.
been trying to tell you this whole
Okay.
entire fucking time.
All right,
They
calm down.
European, my
It's
nigga.
not
Chill
They Russian.
out.
not that deep.
All right, we get it. Calm
Cha, I'm gonna
down.
move you up.
Yo, all I'm saying is like, let's just put this in perspective, right? It could be many different things. There have been multiple waves that has been proven during different time periods, right? We can look at when this gene that makes lighter skin popped up and make these comparisons. There's so many different ways to look at this. However, I ask that question because it tells me more on where a person is thinking. So if you're saying to me, right, that you're black and that the original indigenous people are dark skinned, right? I don't have a problem with that. I 100% go with it. But then you tell me that they can't be Siberian if possibly they came from Siberia. It shows me the racial indoctrination, the colorism indoctrination people are having to even try to break down this thought process. If you can't get past that thought process, that colonizer mentality, you can't really unpack this story historically. You can't really look at this from multiple layers because you are stuck in the construct. And I think y'all need to analyze your perspective of this and see how much these echo chambers are affecting you versus how you might independently think. And I fold
You're
my
saying
chair.
there's a
Please
chance.
skip me.
You're saying there's a chance that some of these people just have dark-skinned Siberian ancestors.
I mean, that could be just what it is. It's possible. I
To me,
don't
it makes
know.
sense. I
The
think
thing,
that. I think
the art.
yeah.
See, this is the thing. People want to argue stuff that is not relevant to their literal direct bloodline that they can find because it's prison babble.
Yeah. Oh wait, well, how the fuck did I get a Showtime? The only thing I guess I would add to what Sage was saying is like, yeah, I think it would make more sense to me. Everything he said makes sense. It's just the only issue is that I think a lot of people are gonna have an issue when it comes out that they're not actually indigenous. But with this conspiracy, it lets anyone who wants to subscribe to it be that.
You can just skip me for now.
Why the fuck do I keep coming up in this thing? Oh, okay, there you go.
They are not them niggas. That's it. That's what Soulful been trying to say. That's what Bill's been saying. All these fucking Europeans, y'all be prancing in our motherfucking faces. They not us. Period. The Inuit, no, there's no manipulation in this fucking photograph, no matter how you slice it. And salute to you, Bills, for doing that presentation that you did. Because that's what we've been saying this whole entire time. Soulful is showing you that it wasn't these niggas that was getting stripped away from their fucking traditional practices. It was us, nigga. It's these white motherfuckers that currently being federally learned how to be us. While we was the ones being stripped. We still kept our shit. Because while we being panel babies, talking about tobacco, talking about our traditions and shit, they the ones listening in the motherfucking chat and then going off to their own panels and other bozos like you, nigga, like you hosts, right? They go where they comfortable and then they
I
start
don't even go in
talking
those
about the
spaces, but go
same
off.
shit. They start talking about the same shit we're talking about, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we be saying on these panels, and regurgitating that shit, presenting it like it's their own. And y'all eat that shit up. You, OHF, Black First, and all you other fucking frauds and
I don't go in
part-time
those spaces,
broads.
but go off, Cha
Yeah,
Cha. I
motherfucker.
don't go in
Yeah, but
anybody's
you know what I mean.
space.
Niggas that got your
I don't go in
motherfucking
there.
mindset. Niggas
Mm-hmm.
that got your motherfucking
All right,
mindset,
Cha
you
Cha.
fucking
Thank
bozo.
you. You shouldn't
Yeah,
be so
bitch
angry.
ass nigga.
Bye. Yeah, Cha Cha. You know, I don't know why you're so mad at me. I'm not really saying anything that anybody else doesn't say. So yeah, I mean, to me, it just seems like what Sage is saying makes the most sense. Like, if you guys are, I'm just going to use a term, you guys can use whatever you want, Afro-Indigenous, that's fine, because then it lets you be able to reconnect to your indigeneity without telling the Siberians that they're fake. Like, I don't get it. What's the problem? Yo, Darkwan, are you there? Skip.
Okay, so once again, I don't care about who's fucking Siberians, but I guarantee you, when we get off this live, my boy say gonna fall into something about as white as my PlayStation 5. If they descended from the quote unquote Siberians, because you say this shit is proven, it's not proven. There's just facts to support a theory. Ain't shit been proven. That's why it's still a theory. Even if these motherfuckers was Siberian, they was nigga Siberians. So any of these motherfuckers that came over here more than likely look like this. A nigga Siberian. And I guarantee you when they reproduced, they offspring showed nigga first before they showed Siberian. I guarantee it. Because that's how nigga genes work. They dominant as fuck. Dominant as the absolute fuck. So if that were the case, shit, they was still niggas. They was just some Asiatic niggas that came over here. But these pale motherfuckers that be photoshopping into everything, we not finna do that. We not finna act like them the original people. Especially when we got pictures like this of full-blooded people that ChatGPT even agreed, yeah, this motherfucker would have been real. This nigga, yeah, they would not have let this motherfucker be an Indian. That would not have happened. They would have reclassified the fuck out of this nigga, the colored mulatto. They would have reclassified this nigga to everything but Indian. That's what ChatGPT said, and this man is still full-blooded. So, I mean, if niggas did descend from these quote-unquote Siberians that may have migrated or whatever, they was niggas first. Now, they ain't niggas no more. I don't know about you guys, but that motherfucker right there, that motherfucker is not real.
And as the story turns, I will say this: there had to be a dark melanated population that came over here, and I understand exactly what Cha Cha meant when she said that those are not the same people, because they had to create an image for them, which is why we go back to Edward Curtis. So those facts have to be included in this discussion. And like, even if you said, because the first wave is not the second wave. And then that first wave, those elders tell a story of the people that they met when they came across the bridge. They said that they met another population that was already here. So like, I don't be getting the fuss. I don't be getting the fuss, but to act like it didn't start off with dark, because recessive cannot create this. But we can create everything. And if you want, a better image of the picture that Bill have, look at my boy Whispers from Hoodlum. That's a dark, tall, Asian looking nigga who got that same kind of hair. The daddy from the Five Heartbeats. He was Whispers in Hoodlum, and he played in the movie Deacons of Defense with my boy Forrest Whitaker. Yeah, he on there too. But that man looks just like that man in Bill's picture. But I'm just here for the information. I don't have all the answers.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Again, like I don't think anybody would disagree with that. If you guys come from, or if you guys have ancestors that are these ancient Siberian people, then fine. I don't think that's an issue. Like you guys would be branches from the same tree that the other natives are from. So if that's the thing, then like let it rock. It fixes the whole issue.
English is derived from Hebrew. That 1828 is a big year when they removed it off record. I've asked Google, they tried to lie, and once you state 1869, Robert Gavet, who's actually the writer of Noah's and Webster Dictionary, confirmed it. So it's all part of the cover up. And like was mentioned before, James or Edward Curtis, hired by J.P. Morgan. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. This is also backed by Andrew Jackson, the mound builders. Even people who taught me about the mounds, they denied. This is why you guys made a good point. If they were Siberians, they were just the darker race or the darker complexion, because the chiefs today admit ignorance of the mound builders, which is the first stage in evolution of pyramids. Why is America the mound and pyramid capital of the world? Are Native Americans known for building pyramids? No. Chief Shawnee, Chief Wallace of the Shawnee tribe, admits ignorance. They did not build them, but they oversee the ones in Ohio. That's the biggest, most famous site. And one of the reasons why we have fewer bones is fossils is because literally white tea people ate us. Mumia. So for those who believe or know that Egypt is a reflection or is America's, Europeans literally ate us. For medication, superpowers, it was an aphrodisiac to them.
Hold up. Inuits are not fucking Siberians. And here's the fucking proof, goddammit. They the original people of Greenland. The Siberians that came across the bed, that's the only thing that they got in common with the Siberians was them meeting each other at the Bering Straits.
I'm gonna show
Here,
you.
let me pull
I
it
got
up
you,
for
Cha
y'all.
Cha. I got you. I'm gonna show you exactly
Hold
what
on.
it is.
Cause y'all
I got you. I
niggas
got you
wanna
presented that Cha, because it wasn't just Siberians. It might have been some Greenlanders, right?
put me up. Put me up.
I don't really
Meaning when
have the
them
argument of where
Siberians
my
came up here,
ancestors came from because they
hold
was here.
on.
That's what matters.
Because particularly your ass was saying how, now y'all Siberians now. No, nigga. No,
Wait,
nigga.
hold
These
no. Am I
Siberians,
not the
hold
first
on.
person they called Siberian? Stop it. Like, what are you talking about? I just owned it if y'all want to put it on
That
me.
is
That's
true,
the
Siberian
Them
difference.
sage.
Siberians,
That's the difference.
when they came over here, they saw the Inuits. When they came to North America, which is under Canada, they saw us. They saw the Inuits that you saw belong there. Them black people that belong in Greenland, them Siberians saw they belong there.
And
You
let me show
saying
The
you.
Inuits are not Siberians, nigga.
Put
you
me on the
The
saying
screen.
Yeah, but it
Siberians
says that
saw
they're
the
it says that they're
Inuits
related.
So
there.
they're
It says
not
that they're related,
Siberians,
Cha
they
Cha.
Greenlanders. I'm
Hold
with that
on. Let me
too.
show you.
Guess what?
Put me up there.
Whatever you, if you like it, I love it, Cha Cha. I'm with it. You get what I'm saying? They're not Siberians, they're Greenlanders.
you
So,
saying the
so
Inuits
how,
were already here? You said
Put
they
me on
was
the big
already.
screen. I'm finna show y'all.
I'm with it. I think it's all irrelevant to be honest,
So
but
this is the Russian book when they first got here in
Oh,
Alaska.
now it's
This is
irrelevant
the people they
because we
seen when they got
debunked
here.
you
Hold
bozos.
on, hold
Now
on,
it's
Cha Cha.
irrelevant.
Wait,
didn't
Sage is
debunk
on
me
your
at all.
side.
Listen. I just said I asked questions. You didn't debunk anything that I said at all.
Oh, now y'all
I never.
Oh,
No.
Siberians
Okay,
know.
go ahead.
The
What did I say?
Siberians, these motherfuckers, they not the original people. When they
Okay,
let
came
me
well,
over
show
I
the
here
mean, yeah,
source,
across the
Cha.
you
Bering
hold
Straits,
up.
they
Let's
saw
stop.
the
Let's stop.
Inuits.
Let's stop.
They
The
saw
only reason
us
why I
here
said
in
that is
North
because
America.
y'all
We the
called
fucking
them that.
original people.
Hold up. The reason why I use that is because that is what y'all use to other them. However, or other whoever. So now we're othering
We're
other
not
people,
using
right?
that to other
Greenlanders,
them.
that's
That's what
cool.
the
I'm with
fuck
it.
they are.
Greenlanders and Siberians. Let's just understand this. So we got Greenlanders and Siberians, right? So
Let
are
me
you
read my
saying
sources, bro.
that Black
Can we go to
Americans who descend
Soulful,
from
please?
indigenous people
Can
who are
we go
dark
to
skinned are
Can we go to
Greenlanders and
Soulful,
not
please?
Siberians? I'm with that.
Can we
I'm
go
with
to
it. I'm just
Soulful,
Yeah, let's go to
please?
You
Soulful. Let's
funny
go
as
to
hell,
Soulful.
dude.
I
Yeah,
fully
dude, you
support
funny as
that
hell.
theory. I'm just saying.
That nigga said it's
But hold
Siberians.
on, but look, Sage, you gotta
Hey, I
Whether
understand.
thought
they
that was a
They're not
fake
Greenlanders
so
or
so
saying
they could
Siberians
they
don't
could
make a
start
under,
this.
difference to
understand
me.
what the people are saying, Sage. They're not saying that they are Greenland and Siberians. They're saying that they are the people that the Greenlands met when they came into the land.
Look, I'm
Okay.
showing y'all a visual picture. I'm showing you what they
Inuits
said.
are the
Look,
original people. Them
this is the picture they
Siberians
took
are
of
the
the.
ones
Hold
that.
on, Cha Cha. Let me show the
Oh,
source. So these are the original. I mean, these are the people they seen when they got here, right? These the people that you showing, right? I'm gonna show you how. Let me show you what they said. This in Russian, so I had to translate it. In Alaska and the islands of Northern Pacific, in 1788, Shavatsky of missionaries met on Alaska near Yucatan. Fair-eyed, fair-haired, tall, white people. They lived amongst the Kadocha Tingent Indian tribe, spoke their language but differed in manner and clothing. When Shavatsky was told about this meeting, he immediately recalled the stories of the missing sailors from that packet boat St. Paul and decided that the fair-skinned Indians were their children or grandchildren. So they mixed with the indigenous population when they got there, and they just got there not too long before they got there in Alaska. Watch this though. So this book right here is a book wrote by them. I'm showing y'all the title. Now let me show you how they describe the Indians.
Can't see that title.
Hold on. I'm finna read it off my other phone because this shit kind of blurry. It say the Comey people were tall, healthy, well flexed. The majority had round faces, though some have elongated oval faces. They are dark complexion with black, though occasionally dark brown hair. And then I'm gonna show you this other source. This source says a voyage to America 1783 to 1785. This one says it's describing the Indians again. It said their language is quite different from the Kodiak Aleut spoken on the coast, being a mixture of Kanai, Un-Alaskan, and Atna. So they saying these people got Un-Alaskan languages, right? He said they are tall and brown skinned with rough black hair. What does rough black hair mean? Because I know y'all
Rough.
gonna ask. Hold on, I know y'all
Yeah,
gonna ask what rough black hair mean. So
I
let me
know
show
what
you
it
what
means.
rough black hair mean.
Rough black hair. It's rough.
So in the 18th, 19th centuries, rough black hair mean often describe hair that was coarse, dry, brittle, or difficult to manage, rather than just thick in diameter. So those people that you're showing was a mixture when they got here, right? And then I'm also show you this. It was 200 Alouettes turned to Americans, and it wasn't just it. It was way more of them they start changing these people to what's called change, giving them languages. I'm gonna show you. Watch this. They even asked these people. They said, "What kind of man are you?" And really, the answer was, "I am a Russian man." Russian was regarded as the only proper dignified language by the natives, who were ashamed to pick up English words when they were whatever. But these Alouettes was speaking Russian languages and all that shit. They didn't even know they was Indian. You see, they said I'm a Russian man. Then them people had just got there. On top of that, they remember these other mixtures when they got here already from a packet boat accident. So when you see and then they already described the indigenous people as un-Alaskan, dark skin with rough black hair. Those the people they kicked off the lands, and they kept. And I'm gonna show y'all. Watch this. I ain't even gonna talk. So even when you go to like their website, this right here said the most recent category of native people are the Creoles of the Russian American era, who had a mixed ancestry, who was both Russian and Native Alaskan, having borrowed the term Creole from the colonial French experience. The Russians applied it to people who typically had a Russian father and a native mother. In this way, many Alaskans in this time had at least a modicum of Russian heritage, on the chronic shortage of Russian laborers in Alaska. Right? You hear that, Russian laborers in Alaska, right? Now let me show you this. So when they discovered Alaska, they started the fur trade. They set up settlements in the Bering Strait. And it's a newspaper article telling you they had the settlements in the Bering Strait. This in the 1800s, right? And I'm gonna show you also. I'm gonna show you
Yeah, earlier than that, but that's good. That's good.
Then on the other side of the world, they was fighting the Ottoman Empire. And as you can see, it's a frequent arrival by the Tartars, right? Who was the Tartars? The Tartars is a Turkish-speaking ethnic group regarding in Russia, particularly in Tatarstan, with the history rooted in the Mongol Empire and the Golden Horde. These are the same people because, let me show you. On their way back from the Ottoman, this is what they said they seen. 2 Russian ships of discovery had returned to St. Petersburg, and it is stated they discovered a group of inhabited islands in the Great Ocean, passed through the Bering Strait and reached a higher latitude than Cook determined to be the true position of North America, from the icy cap to the peninsula of Alaska, and found to the north another inhabited island. So them people got there, set up settlements in your Bering Strait. That's your Bering Strait story. Then I also got this for you, right?
Just to clarify, what years are these? Is this happening? Is this taking place?
17. He said
I
around
got you.
17.
And then when you understand the fur trade, you will see this. Ain't this all the place all these Athabasca tribes at? Arizona, California, Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, Texas, Colorado, Deep South, Carolinas. Ain't that everywhere all these Athabascan tribes at? I'm just saying.
Aren't they also all up in the north?
Hold on. This the fur trade routes. Remember that. The fur come from where? Alaska. Look at all the settlements they had and where all these people come from.
Hold on, fur doesn't.
Okay,
come,
I'm not done.
Fur doesn't mainly
I
come
just
from
ain't
Alaska.
gullible like you niggas to believe anything. I have to do research. Come on, man.
Fur, the majority of fur doesn't come from Alaska, brother.
I'm telling you what them settlements was right there, and I'm telling you I broke it down piece by piece by piece by piece, starting all the way with the boarding schools. Nigga.
Got you.
So yeah, that dope bill. I'm just saying, so whether you're a Greenlander or a Siberian, I don't know, why, what the argument is about.
The Russians went
I'm
up
saying
there.
them motherfuckers just got there. That's what the fuck I'm saying.
No, the Russians went up there.
So
in
when
the
y'all
50s.
talk about our ancestors lying, and I'm showing you piece by piece how fraud is playing out, right in front of y'all fucking eyes, and y'all laughing at our ancestors, calling us pretendians, and these people got receipts. You can even check genealogical records. You do genealogy. That's why I don't know why you on this, Sage, because you know a lot of them Native Americans that say born in Russia, but Native American, mama and father born in Russia. So
slow
come
down.
on, man.
I
Stop
have
playing.
never
Then we also
said-
know about the Dawes Road that
slow
happened
down.
in 1898, where all them $5 Indians got on there.
Slow
Then
down.
we know the Galleon Millennium trade
I've
up in
never
Mexico.
said
Y'all
to the
better stop playing
contrary
dumb
of what
and
you
playing
just
us like
said,
y'all
though.
don't understand what the fuck went on. Y'all know what the fuck went on.
Yeah,
No.
that's what happened. What you said, just everything you
See, the
got was
thing
just
is,
that.
like, so, like, that information, that's not even relative to me, my tribe, or anything. So that isn't relevant to me.
So why
I
you
don't have
speaking
a.
on it? You should be
I'm not.
quiet then.
No. First of all, slow down.
Well,
I asked
it's
a
kind of not
question.
relevant to you either.
My
So because you guys are
question
from the
was
southeast.
simple. My
You said
question was
what?
simple.
How you think
Hold
them
up.
people got to Oklahoma?
Well,
Where
you
the
guys
fuck
are
you
from the
think
Okay,
they
south. You
but
guys are
came
from the
from?
southeastern part of the United
Where
States.
do
So
you think
it
those
doesn't really
children
make
at them Indian schools
so
came
it
from?
doesn't really make sense to
What is you
focus
talking
on the
about?
people in the north if you're from the southeast. And I think that's what we're kind of saying. It's like there's nothing wrong with this idea that people came through the Bering Strait. Then I'll even say that they were darker and they migrated to the
I
southeastern
don't
portion
feel
of the
like
United
there's
States.
anything wrong with saying they came from Greenland.
I
I
don't think there's
don't
anything
feel
wrong with
like
either
there's
one of
anything
those. I
wrong
don't
with
think there's
any
anything. Yeah.
guy.
I don't think, but well, obviously, I think the issue, Sage, is the Siberian part, right? Like, but it doesn't really. I mean, this whole theory has never really said where these people came from, and I think it's not really relevant. Like, if they came from Siberia, they were still here first, so there's really no reason. Like, I
So
don't
where?
really
How
understand
Hold
does
like
that
why
on.
you. I don't.
sound?
So
How
It
if
kind
they
of makes
No,
came
sense
from
that what Sage is saying
Siberia,
to
they
they
me.
Why
came
does it matter
first?
who came?
they
Wait,
weren't
hold up.
they
If
weren't
it
so
first.
to
what
be
about the
It
dark
does
indigenous,
skinned
hold
red
up.
matter
haired
No,
because
people?
see
ain't that what y'all accused
these
us of
things
doing?
feel like a dick
Erasing
swinging
their culture
contest,
when
right? Where it's
they're the
like,
ones
all
erasing
right,
ours. We're the ones who was
cha,
here
we get it.
first.
You
Right.
don't
They
like
were
them,
here
and I
first.
don't really care for them neither. But the point is this: why does it, like, when we're talking about whether they came across the Bering Strait, whether they was already here, in whatever theory that comes to mind to create the reason why you
Theory.
descend from an indigenous population and dark skin, right? I don't care, because I personally think there's multiple different ways this thing happened, and I think the simplest way is that most of the world was dark skinned and there became later
Hold
waves
on.
of
I got
people of
more
light
for you.
skin. However, listen, whether they didn't come from Siberia and they came from Greenland, I don't give two shits, to be honest, and respectfully. It's good to talk about it sometime, ponder about it, but it's not indicative to my identity whatsoever, nor my tribal identity, nor my indigeneity whatsoever.
And it's technically
Right?
not really indicative to theirs either because it's been so long, right? Sage?
Are you crazy?
So this is also talking about those same Indians they discovered when they got there. And guess what? These people was doing hoodoo. It say the children dance first, jumping and beating their small tambourines, while the older people of the both sexes sing. The men dance almost naked with only their front covered. They follow other, making small steps, beating large tambourines. When they tire, they are replaced by women who dance fully dressed, sometimes alone and sometimes in pairs, and they always carry blown up bladders which they swing while dancing. When the dancing ends, they extinguish the fire, and they extinguish the fire which has been specially lit in the yurts of the festivities. Should there be a sorcerer present among them, he starts to perform conjure in the dark. If there is no sorcerer present, I think that's what it say, then the guests go to their, I can't see that, hut, and generally made from bandara and skins. So these people out there also did hoodoo.
Well,
Show me the
how do you know
Native
this is
Americans.
hoodoo? There's nothing that says that this is hoodoo.
Hoodoo the only thing
Where
that
else do you find tambourines?
in our
Everywhere
churches.
they had tambourines in
Amen, brother.
they
Amen.
have
Let the
tambourines. They used to have
church
Yeah,
tambourines
And
though.
conjuring in the dark is a hoodoo
say
practice. Everybody knows
amen.
that. That's
I heard
describing
Let
about
the
hoodoo.
that dance
church
before a long time ago.
say amen.
And that was the
God
natives when they
has
got there with the rough hair
spoken.
and dark
So
skin.
let the
Those are the
church
people that they
say
kicked off their lands and sent them to the colonies.
amen.
Well, that picture of the Siberian that you had earlier with the guy, he dark, that was sort of like a Mongoloid Siberian. He really was kind of mixed a little because the real Siberians look just like we do, and their hair was wavy, thick, like, and their hair was wavy, thick, and well, you want to call it rough, but what I was going to tell Roadrunner, everything you said about the trade and all that was true because Alaska, Russia, German. Them men's went up there a long time ago in the 1400s. They up there. They went up there for some coal, all kinds of resources. They, you know what they do when they get somewhere. They get to sleeping with the women's and all that. So, and raping, whatever. So they took over up there in Alaska around the 1400s. Not so much as take over. They gradually did it up until what you were showing. The
Wow.
trading and the Russians going in there and all that. But the original Siberians, they looked it like us.
Yeah, I got
The
sources on that too.
church
They were. I got some
say
pictures of them. I just don't know how to put that stuff up there like that. But they
imagine taking
dark.
a fucking white bitch
They got
serious.
wavy
Let
thick
the
hair,
church.
head
Somebody
full of
put some
hair.
sources
Good
up.
to me.
Does
And they
one of
tall,
y'all
like
Africans put some sources up?
them Siberian was dark first.
Thank you, Soulful. I appreciate you, brother.
And
Like
when
I
they
really
got here,
like.
they met those other people he talking about with the rough hair. We was already here too. We was there here. Come on now. But like I
Exactly.
say, those Germans. It's Arthur Lewis. He has a he won the Nobel Prize to write about the Germans. Went all over this globe, and they infiltrated and did all kinds of things. They were learning people. 20, 30 years. They learned the different islands. Got to mixing and laying with them. You know how they do.
So my
Um,
grandma told me this. She from
yeah.
Mississippi. She told me that in Mississippi they already had the fur trade. Them people came and took it over. Why you think a lot of people in Detroit wear furs? Because a lot of
Right.
us from Mississippi, we was already fucking with the furs.
Yeah. We were doing everything. We was trading all over. We govern the world. They ruling. It's two different things. We govern the world. We traded. Everybody was cool. You know, you had your civil war, your little spouts, but it wasn't like this. Just, somebody just, you help them out. And then once they gather themselves, like in Wilmington on fire, when you see we didn't discriminate. You come in, they help them out, and then they gang, and then they ally with each other. That's what they do. They ally with each other.
Them niggas got selfish. That's what it was. Niggas got selfish. That's
Got
all it
Bill
was.
on here looking like an
No,
anime
what it
character.
was the mixing. I'm telling you, all
You
follow the
said on him
mixture.
like what?
It's
I said,
always
not
the
Bill up here
mix.
looking like an anime character right now.
Let the
I like the
church
hairstyle. It goes hard. I like it. I like it.
say
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
that
amen.
shit
Yeah.
fire.
See,
Them
somebody
niggas got
got greedy.
selfish.
Somebody got greedy. Somebody got selfish. Yep. Somebody started fucking up. As usual, get greedy and want it all. Only thing I can think, they just don't do things the right way. They like to hog everything, and then everybody else run around scraping on one. It's like a story they tell. They say the man that owned the company, CEOs and all the supervisors and
Listen,
directors sitting around the table.
if y'all pay attention, I'm
With a
sorry.
plate. He come in there with a plate. I'm almost done. Let my plate. A plate full of cookies, right? And
Right.
then he grabbed the whole plate and he take one cookie and put it in the middle. And all the CEOs and the directors and everybody say, "What we gonna do with that?" He said, "I don't know what you gonna do with it, but that's what you got. Do the best you can." That's the type of people they are. That's where they've been ever since they infiltrated and got the upper hand on things. They just like that. Just low down.
And if
I
you
mean,
think
they like
about
Bless
to
it,
your
have. I
heart,
mean, they have
sister.
so much. They'll have so much. Remember how we used to watch? I don't know how old y'all is. Death Valley days. Okay, Bonanza. But what they used to call that Bonanza.
The
They would have
Bonanza.
all Bonanza. Yeah, they would have all of that land. And you saw it was only about 5 of them, right? And they had the little Chinese man cooking for them. They have all of that land, and that's how they are. They have 300,000 acres, and they don't want nobody else to have none. That's how they be. I don't know. They like 2-year-olds with an automatic. That's all I can say.
yeah,
I know
fact.
my plane.
I mean, if you pay attention, they still doing it to this day. Look at how
Hell yeah.
rock and roll is. We started it. Who the face of it today? Who everybody think it come from outside of the Americans? Even country music. Who everybody think it came from? Even besides the Americans, they
Michelle
still
Williams.
doing the same shit.
You
Like
share with them, they gonna
we
hog it. They
start
gonna
rap,
hog it.
they create the record labels. They
Yeah.
promising we getting 1%. They
Yeah.
still doing it. Everybody dressing like us. They take it from it. It's the same shit. Y'all just
And it's not
not
just
looking at it in the
white.
same way.
Yeah,
It's
I mean
not just
everybody could
white.
have been on Def Jam though if Russell wasn't
Or they
crooked though.
or they
So we
create
did have our
systems.
own record labels, but I mean unfortunately those guys were pretty fucking crooked. It's not really fair to say there was a
Or
conspiracy.
we
Oh
or
no,
there
I ain't
was
saying that.
there
I'm
was
saying they just know how to capitalize
systems.
off us. They keep taking.
No, I know, but we
Then
had
they act like
we
it's
had Def
theirs.
Jam in the beginning, and Def Jam that was, you know what I mean. But Def Jam was screwing over the artists, and that really had nothing to do with white people.
Right,
Who
that's
was
what I was
proud?
gonna say.
Who?
I'm
No,
saying
wait. Time
don't
out.
just
Time
look at it
out.
just
Time
white
out.
people.
Because I'm not
It
gonna
was some
allow you
mixed
to do
kids.
that.
It was
I mean,
Nah.
you don't agree,
Who
Cha Cha,
had
that Russ,
part
you don't,
ownership in Def Jam?
but you don't agree that Russ was screwing niggas
No.
over, Cha Cha?
Who had part ownership in Def Jam?
No, I know that I know that they had partnership in it, but you don't think Russ was screwing people over? Was Russ completely? You think Russ was
Who had
completely
part
innocent?
No,
ownership
he was
in
fucking
Def
people over.
Jam?
Yeah,
No, I
they
know,
do.
Cha Cha. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying I know Rick
I
Rubin and
didn't.
all that, but they
Oh,
still
okay.
they
And Rick
they
Rubin
fuck with
is
Rick
a
Rubin
what?
still. He's
Rick Rubin is a
yeah,
what?
no, he's white tee.
A
He's white tee.
mulatto.
So, but
He's
he's not
not.
mulatto.
He's
He's not
not
mulatto.
just
He's
a
white
white
tee.
He
tee.
wasn't
He's
Say
mulatto.
Jewish. He's
specifically who
He's
he
Jewish.
Oh, he
He's
is.
was the
Jewish.
Jewish.
But
The Jewish.
Cha Cha, even now, when we talk about the artists from Def Jam, they still rock with Rick Rubin, but they say that Russ is the one that screwed him over. Why, like that, right?
It was the other way around.
Yeah,
But I didn't mean
but you do see that though, right? Like they still rock with Rick, but Russ they don't really rock with.
Rock with
I didn't
Rick.
mean to sound
I
like.
mean,
I didn't
Rick is
mean to
still
sound like.
Artist rocks with Rick.
Jay still
Because
rock with
the
Rick.
last artist I saw standing next to Rick Rubin was whom?
You said Hove, right? You said Hove.
No.
I didn't
Because
mean to
I
sound
know
like that though.
because don't Hove still fuck with Rick Rubin?
Eminem. Of
Eminem
course,
does too.
of
Eminem does too.
Listen, it's of course it's multicultural because who has ownership
Right.
in it. At some point, you have to do business with them, especially if you're gonna
Right.
expand your brand.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, yay, he
But
has
yeah.
to. You gotta rub a shoulder or two with these motherfuckers because they the ones at the fucking gate. They the ones gatekeeping the
No,
shit.
I don't disagree with
Yeah.
that, but I think
All
at
right
some
then.
I think
So
at
don't
some
be
point
fucking coming up here acting like
I think at some point
it's some kumbaya situation.
no, I'm not no, that's
It's
not what I'm
the
saying at
way
all.
you painting
That's
the
not what I'm
picture,
saying at all.
man.
What
Yeah, I
I'm
didn't
saying
mean
what
to
I'm
sound
saying
like it was.
what I'm
I didn't
saying,
mean to
Cha Cha,
The
sound
way
like it
you
is
was all
painting.
white.
no. So what I'm saying, Cha Cha, is I think at some point though, like when it comes to rap, at least, like we have to take like some of these guys have to take some accountability. Like it's not like Birdman wasn't screwing people over. It's not like Diddy wasn't screwing people over. It's not like Russ was screwing people over. You know what I'm saying? Like so, Jay was screwing people over too. If you let Dipset tell it, right? So it's like I think at some point, like yeah, we can say that these outsiders were doing all this stuff and all these things. Suge Knight is another one of them too. Like a lot of these people were screwing people over when we actually when we at least had part ownership in some of this stuff. And that's all I'm saying.
You're failing to
True.
realize, especially when you talk about the first black record label. When in Rome, you got to do what the Romans do, or you're gonna be eaten alive.
Okay.
When you talk about shit like that, look who already had ownership in the industry. It was the small hats and the mob.
So you're saying that
That I can't come in as sheep amongst wolves, my nigga. I gotta
you're saying
become
that
a
they were
wolf in
influenced to
order
be
to
like
make
that.
something happen.
So you're saying that they were influenced and they were manipulated
In
into doing some
some
of that stuff.
degree, yes. In some degree, yes.
Before,
Or I will
probably
have
four.
everything stripped away from me. Everything. So when you tell these stories, you got it. That's why it's important for us to have these conversations. I know a lot of people complain about, oh damn, it's a year because nigga, y'all be saying the shit that y'all be saying without talking about the nuances
No, I like
and the
talking
little
about this stuff,
thing.
Cha Cha.
Relax, yo.
I am relaxed. I said I like
All
talking to you
right, all
about
right,
this.
but stop cutting me off.
Oh, sorry.
Without talking about the things that make it so, because y'all be flying information out all willy-nilly like niggas originally had this mindset, like Sugar Hill Records. Y'all brought up Sugar Hill Records. That's the real first black, dealing with hip-hop and shit like that, not Def Jam. And when you look at their biography and shit like that, a lot of the stuff that they were doing didn't work originally, because who were they up against? Who they had to sit up on these round tables with? The Italians and all these other niggas that they had to fucking negotiate deals with just to get a distribution, just to get their records put on the fucking radio. So when you omit that information and just be like, oh well, these niggas were dicking off their artists. No, they had to become a certain kind of thing so that they artists can have the fucking opportunity, nigga. That's the information. That's the information y'all leaving out.
You think when someone like, so I see that, and you think when someone like, maybe from my generation, like a Waka Flocka who was signed to Gucci Mane, right? When Waka comes out and says Gucci was doing dirty shit or whatever, like, you're just saying like Waka should kind of look at the bigger picture and see why some of those things were going down.
If you don't want to come up missing, but yeah, wouldn't that be nice in a perfect world?
Like, instead of blaming Gucci or like, instead of like, Wayne or something blaming Birdman, that they should be looking at like the whole picture.
Exactly. But that's where y'all be manipulating, because y'all don't want to look at the whole picture.
Well, no, I mean, it makes sense to me. I'm just going off of what the rapper said, because I don't know anything about it.
Y'all take pieces that fit your narrative or your intention and bring it on here. See, I'm the full picture kind of person. I like to look at the brushstrokes, but I like to take a step back to look at the whole Mona Lisa.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, I just think because you're like actually like you're actually a part of the hip hop community. Like I consider you someone who's actually like in that community, really like tapped into like the industry. So like I think for a lot of people who are just like fans, we kind of just hear what the rappers say, and I guess we just take that. Well, some people take that for face value, but I do get what you're saying.
And I just want to clear, I didn't mean to sound like just white. When you speak of Russia, they
not selling out to the system. In order to beat this, in order to beat this,
Putin. Their language came from a black guy. Russia now. That's so.
And it's not selling out the system. In order to beat the game, you gotta play it.
I agree with that.
You can't stand on the sideline spectating, talking shit out your mouth. In order to beat the game, you got to play it, right? A lot of y'all niggas play are gamesters, right? Y'all play the game. But in order to beat the game, matter of fact, to the OGs, y'all play lottery, don't you? Are you going to sit on your couch wishing you was a millionaire looking at other niggas do the scratch off and shit? Or are you going to get your ass up and actually play in order to be able to even have the opportunity to become one of them? Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be a lot of us in there too, doing dirt.
Just like politics, you're not gonna be able to get legislation through unless you in politics, my nigga, or you just another bitch ass nigga on the sideline spectator. That's the fucking problem.
Well, Cha, that's not fair to say.
That's the fucking problem.
You don't have to
it's
be a
lot
politician.
Of spectators talking
But you
shit.
can be, but Cha, you can advocate as just a citizen without being involved in politics or actually being a politician. So that's how a lot of legislation is pushed.
No.
Most people are not politicians. They are just citizens who are concerned about an issue when people are presented with that issue and realize that they can vote upon that issue.
Yeah, but
and
you
walking
got
on
people who
eggshells.
may not be a quote unquote politician, but they get their ass up and go to these meetings and have they fucking picket signs and all that. That's still
But hold up. But think
participating.
about all the people that have
Activism is
to.
still
But hold up. Think
participating.
about all the people that gotta get out and organize. Oh, oh shit, that's lit. All right, but yeah, think about all the people that actually have to do event organizing, have to get out in the streets, do door knocking to get a vote to stir. Those people that they're reaching out to, a lot of the times, I ain't gonna say most likely because it's different, right? Depending on where you're at, but a lot of the times are not even interested or even not know something. They are not even involved in politics until there's a person who's actively going around in the community and bringing awareness. So what I'm saying is, I think when it comes to politics, to limit it that the only people who are involved are people who are in politics, I think that's unfair, because especially with the black vote, that's where a lot of our vote come from, is from people putting in the work to get people aware of the issues.
That's still being a part of politics, and that's still being a part of the system. Even activism work.
That's a fair point. I'll
Thank you.
concede to
That's
that.
all I'm
She's just
saying.
saying people who don't get involved at all.
Like
Concede to that. I'll concede to that.
Thank you. Like Yee, for example. You know what I'm saying? In order for once he got up in there and made his money, that's when he spoke the truth, and he's in the building now. He was the spook that sat by the door. I'm in the building. This nigga don't like
talking
fucking
about?
black people.
Who you talking about?
Kanye.
Oh, oh, okay.
These small hats
All
be taking my shit. That's where all the exposure happened. He wouldn't have been able to have that. Now he's creating his own amphitheater. Cause he played the game, beat them at it. Now he's able to create his own rules and be able to open the doors for the next generation, so they don't have to go through that. Come on, yo.
But I think the point of that is Kanye was in the system. He was indoctrinated and he ejected himself out. So he was able to see it from a different perspective. So that way he could be able to mastermind and play the game.
But
I think you have to have a perspective, right?
The game. He
All right.
still had to play the game in order to
Well,
change
I think
the rules.
I think playing the game
you
is
gotta
still a
play the
choice.
game.
I don't think he had to wait. It was still a choice. He didn't have to. He chose to. But he was successful in it, and that's fine.
The game was the Kardashians. Yep. Whatever they call. What they call them, y'all? Did I say it right? When he got involved with them people, that was part of it. That's when his game was. He had to really do that act. Yeah. He sold into that.
I feel like he had to sell in to get in.
That's what he did.
Like from very, very beginning. Like, but again, I don't even like to put those judgments on like celebrities. I don't idolize these people on a moral level or a political level at all, or any outside of like what they are good in. I don't expound that beyond that. Like Kanye West, I love Kanye. I love his music. Sometimes I like what he says, sometimes I don't. Most of the time, I don't give a damn what he says, to be honest. Like, he's nutso to me. But I love him. I got love for him. You know what I mean? And I ain't saying he's nuts just because he's bipolar. I mean, it's about the strategy and things he do, how he goes about it. But then again, I'm not a musical genius. I don't even think I'm a genius at all. So, you know, he might have something that I don't recognize, and that's fine. I still accept him. But, you know, it's just interesting looking at these things. R. Kelly, I love R. Kelly's music. I still listen to R. Kelly, but am I
Listen,
Am I
I'm
saying
just
free
using
R. Kelly? Hell no.
I'm just using gay as an example.
Yeah, I was
Let
gonna
me
say
give you
Kels wasn't playing the game. I don't
I'm
think.
not using it as a subject changer. I'm just using it as an analogy. Here's another analogy, the Matrix. N- Neo still had to go into the Matrix to change it.
Wait, but
Right.
see, I love that analogy because that's an analogy I used earlier when I said blue pillars versus red pillars, right? Yes, Neo was already in the Matrix. He was ejected out of the Matrix, okay? So the idea of the Matrix being a block or some type of wall, a barrier to freeing people is why he went in back into the Matrix, right?
Exactly.
Well, but
He
I
went
understand,
into the Matrix to free the
but
people. He didn't
follow
go
me. I
into,
agree,
hold
but
on. He
listen, the
didn't
point.
go into the Matrix eating the steak. That was the sellout nigga. The sellout nigga
I
went
agree
into the Matrix so
100%.
that he could
But
eat the
but
steak.
what I'm trying to
Neo
point
didn't
out
eat the steak. That nigga was dodging bullets, nigga.
exactly, but
I then. I then.
what I'm pointing out is that he had to come out of the Matrix to be able to master the Matrix. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's the perspective you have to have. You have to. I don't think you have to. It's a choice, but to have, I believe, to be successful in many things, you have to be able to see it from outside of the construct, i.e., race. I can talk about race all day because I honestly don't believe in it. It is not inherent to me. I completely think it is stupid. However, I understand that people are indoctrinating race, so I can have racial conversations. I do know the context exists, right? But it's not biological. It doesn't relate to most of the things people apply it to. So I like to point
Just
that out.
twisting what I'm
You have to,
saying.
no, I'm
I'm
not. You have
above
to
this.
but that's because I left the construct of it, period. And now I can re-enter it and talk about things in a certain perspective that changes minds, is what I'm saying. But if you stuck in
I
a
don't think it was him
construct,
going out the matrix.
yeah,
I
you
think
have
it
to
was
go
him
out
once
the
he got the
matrix.
knowledge of himself.
Exactly. If you stay in the matrix, listen, even race, right? I say this to people. You can't defeat racism by living in a racial construct. It's nonsense. It doesn't make sense whatsoever. It doesn't. You have to be able to understand life and identity outside of a false construct to dismantle that false construct. You can't recognize it's false if you already indoctrinated in it. That's my point. But yeah, that's what I think.
That's why I push that I am not black so heavily, because race does not exist. It's not real.
I agree with you on that term when it comes to race. Where I push the line at, right, is because, and this is my choice, my belief, right? And people can argue this. I look at black as ethnicity, right? And that's because of genealogical identifiers. And I tie the two. People can argue that all day, but with my genealogical identifiers on paper, I can go to court with if I need to make a stir about something. Just people saying, "Oh, I'm racially black," that don't mean nothing. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like people who do have that should be able to stand on that if that is their choice. Strictly their choice. If they want, I don't give a damn what they call themselves, to be honest, socially. And but
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 but like that, but like say that choice has been, it's already been removed. You know what I'm saying? That has already been, that trap is set. I mean, there's no coming back from that now. That trap is set. Like, you say you black, that means that you're a racial group from Africa. That's what it's like now. Like,
I think the trap is set,
I
but you can.
understand what it means between you and I, but on that level, in that playing field, it's already gone.
Okay, so and let's say this on that level, on that playing field, which is race, the racial construct, right? It's already gone. Why identify under it?
gotta ask the blacks, not me.
So that's see again, like people have these, they only want to confine black to a race. I don't even race don't even really exist to me. I think that's a joke. Period. Once people bring it up, unless you're talking about like some type of legal sense and being specific to a time span and you're trying to validate a point, like race is hilarious. Like, so I don't tie my identity. I might tie my identity to my ethnic group, right? Because I do share a certain culture, black music. I have ancestors documented as black, right? I don't have a problem with the black black, Negro, mulatto, colored, all of that. So my thing is, within that realm, I'm not the person to dictate to other black Americans or
we didn't
how
say
they choose to identify socially.
we didn't
However,
say ethnicity anyway. We said custom traditions. We
yeah,
said things like
but I
that.
think
You
but
know, we
a
got
lot of that
custom
falls under
culture.
ethnicity
We
too.
may use culture every night, but it was custom. It was our custom to do stuff. It was our traditions to do things. But
Exactly.
you know,
So,
now you picked up ethnicity. Now everybody getting confused. Okay,
I mean,
ethnicity.
but
Let's see,
the reason why I use ethnicity is because
because
those
that's what
things
they
fall
came out
into
with.
that category of ethnicity.
Yeah, that's what
Shared
they
culture,
came with.
shared lineage, shared ancestry, shared customs. That actually defines ethnicity. So,
Yeah,
this is what I'm saying. Like,
they had to
all
make
these,
another word.
okay, but I mean, each person can make their own decision how they want to identify. But what I'm saying is, if you're going
But
to
like, why do you
argue,
have to make up something when it's already something there for us to use?
you know what though? Right there, I agree 100%. Right, and I made this point. You was on the panel, right? And I say to people, right? Okay, if you are indigenous, what's the problem with checking the American Indian box?
Not
It, the
nothing.
defi- the definition literally says belonging to one of the original peoples of North, Central, and South America.
Well, because
That
it
is the
doesn't
definition.
really, because as it sits right now, that wouldn't really have a positive effect on the community that you typically live in.
Okay, but the
Why
point,
would
yeah, I mean,
why would
I don't know about that,
if
but
the people, yeah, if the people put
what
down the
I'm saying,
adjective and just started saying that they
I
was
think you would need to
American,
have. I
how
think
would
you would
that
have to
hurt the
need.
community?
I think you would need to have more people identify that way in
Yeah,
certain areas because,
you would
like,
need
if
more.
it's just like Sage putting that and he's BLK, but then there's also a bunch of people who are Native American putting the same thing, he's just going to get lumped into their
No, they
box
don't.
and
Native
his vote's going
American
to
do
go
not
towards their
like
population.
American
Like, well,
Indians.
his status is going to go
No,
into their
they don't do that.
population bucket versus the one that he's actually
what,
in
what,
because he doesn't
so
actually live in those communities. He lives in the black community.
Native Americans don't like American
regardless,
Indians at all. They do
But that's
not like
that's
And
them.
that's
the
the only reason
hold on,
I
no,
see an
hold
issue
on,
with
no.
that. Yeah.
That's but see when they're talking about it on a political level, it's not called the black community. It's actually called the urban community, urban housing development, urban music, urban street clothes.
Yeah,
So it's a
yeah. I mean,
name. It's not black.
there's still things like the Congressional Black Caucus. Like I do think that a lot of our issues get funneled through, like you said, like the urban thing. But now even that landscape is changing too, where you have a lot of people who are Latino who are a part of these urban communities. So I do think that there needs to still be a distinction, so that people are able to be identified so they can get the issue they can get solutions to the problems that they're individually having as like separate groups, you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
when you start looking at the applications of everything we do, school, work, careers, job, when you look at the application, we got one sentence for what Black and African American means. It's one sentence, and it says you're an African. One sentence. We don't want to sell ourselves short like that. There's no land, there's no resources. But if you read all the other definitions, like he just said, is tied to North, South, Central America. Then it gives them customs, it gives them this, it gives them resources. This is what we got to look at. We don't like to read. I guess we don't comprehend what we read. I don't know. But when I looked at it, I'm kind of pissed off. Okay, if I check black and if I check African American, you just gonna say a group of people that be in Africa. That's all it says. It has no land or nothing. You don't do me like that.
Even tell
I mean,
you
yeah, but it still does
You don't
address.
do me like
hold
that.
on
It
I
real
still does
want
quick.
my
I want
address.
to
That
land.
doesn't even
I
come
want my
with that doesn't
resources.
even come with a culture.
But
Don't
hold
have
up, hold up.
nothing.
This is the craziest part though.
Don't let
Every
nobody
other
do you like that.
definition, check this, but every other definition ties back to original people. It literally says original people.
What,
Not
Africa?
the
Except for
not
black
white,
slash African American, it
not
says
white. It doesn't
you
do that for
belong to
white as well.
one. It says
Group
you
of
belong to
people in
one of
Africa.
the. But watch this. You belong to one of the many racial groups of Africa. Now I ask anyone again. I always ask this question: name me a racial group in Africa that is documented or existed prior to 1790. It didn't even exist prior to
Can't because it
1950, but
doesn't exist. It
Well,
only
That's
you
what
can say
they
exists
the
over
did.
exact
They
same
here.
thing about
erased us.
you can say the exact same thing about Alaskan natives. That's like they didn't come up like American Indian is not the term that they
but
created for
but the
themselves.
different
You
but
But
can
the
say
they
the
still
difference
exact
gave
is,
same
them
thing.
but
land. They
hold
gave
up,
them
no, it's not the
land. They
same
gave
exact
them
thing because
resources.
Well, you
but
guys
hold up,
didn't name
American.
yourselves American Indians.
But
You renamed them.
no, Doom. It's not the same thing because the
No, American.
category is American
Indigenous.
Indian slash Alaskan Native. Definition: belonging to one of the original peoples of North, Central, and South America.
Land.
That is the definition.
Resources.
If you check that box, that is the definition you are identifying as federally. Understand that. So when
Absolutely.
people talk all this other stuff, I'm just like, I get it. Okay, you don't want to be called black. Well, why you check black? If you don't want to be called black, it shouldn't matter if black exists. Do
Exactly.
you
Hey,
get what I'm
Sage,
saying?
but look, don't you
Hmm.
have the choice to self-identify?
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah.
do, but that's not going to help
That's
you
and
either
that's
way.
you don't know if it's going to help or not. Don't say that.
How's it
Don't
going to
say
help
that.
you? How's it
You
going
don't
to
know
help
if
you?
it's going to help.
I'll
Hey,
point this out. Self-identifying in major. Hold
however
up.
it helps.
But check this. In a lot of cities, self-identifying by American Indian does give you exclusions or exceptions when you are seeking benefits on a state level
Okay,
instantly
I could see that. I
without.
could see that.
So
When you
there are
don't want to get
things.
pulled over and knocked upside the head, you have to do it.
Also, self-identifying as American Indian can give you access to certain funding, such as grants that are not centralized, focused only on tribes. It can give you. There's all types of access to things that you can get self-identifying as American Indian in the right places. Other places you might have to have federal or state enrollment, right? It's just different based off the states mostly. But yeah, I mean, these things do have an effect
But it
versus
still sucks.
saying
Like I
you
see,
come from a racial group in Africa that never
it still
existed in the
sucks
Hey, so
because
first
you're
actually, you know
still
what?
place.
following what they say.
Let me do a little bit of a shift really quick because now that it's just us friends here, what is the problem, Steely and Sage, with what is the real problem with being a mix of indigenous and African? Like, what's the issue there? Why is that? Why is that
I don't think
something?
there
Why,
is.
hold on, hold on,
Listen,
hold on.
I
Let me
don't
finish.
think
Let me
there is
finish the
an
question. Let
issue.
me finish the question. Let me finish the question. Why is there an issue with that? Like, especially when there's something that's something that's been well documented as being like a thing. Like, why deny that? Like, why go off of something completely different?
I don't think there is an issue. Well, no, I have to
There's
be
got to be an
honest.
issue. I mean, there's clearly an
No,
issue for some
hold up.
reason.
I'll be honest. I think it's twofold, right? And I said this yesterday actually on a panel, right? There is the projection that if people say they aren't of African descent, that there is some type of anti-Africanness in their intent or ideology or belief system, and I don't think that's true. However, I do believe it is true to a certain extent to certain people, and I believe it depends on the persons. So, as a genealogist, right? When we do genealogy, we it's important that we stick strictly to the facts We tell people what we have found, and we validate it with cited sources and all this. We don't tell people they are something because we think on a folklore story or a belief or what we just feel. That definitely that goes against our ethics, right? And that's how I identify. I identify and I claim the ancestors. I know for sure I can cite the sources. I know who these people are. I can put a body to them. Right now,
But
however,
in
I
that
don't
same
believe.
regard, isn't there still an issue
Someone
to
in
that
the
regard?
comment
Hold
would
on.
like.
Well, let me just. But I don't
All right,
think
I'm gonna hang on to
that
that last
I'm the
point.
only person. I don't think that everybody is exactly like me. I do think there is a trend of saying, oh, having an issue with African descent. Let me tell you, if I find a person from Africa in my genealogy, I will be the first person to tell
You haven't
everybody.
found
So
it yet?
that's not
I promise you.
that's not the
And
But
thing though.
Don't
That's not
I
and
the thing though.
that's
promise you.
Sage. Wait, Steely, before you
but
make
hold
your
on,
point, because
Doom.
I
But
do want
hold
to hear
on,
your point.
Doom.
Wait, hold on. Let me just answer what he said because I do want to hear
Go ahead.
your perspective on it as well, Steely. But I just want to get this one little see what it's like. It still kind of feels like there's a little bit of an aversion, I guess. And I mean, you did kind of touch on that, but like for me, it kind of seems like there's an overwhelming amount of evidence that most BLK people in America originate from Africa. And, for me, I feel like the conspiracy part of it is maybe that the black Indians have been underrepresented in these cases. But I also think, like, obviously, I think the issue with what I'm saying and people being quote unquote Afro Indigenous is now not everyone's going to be invited to that, right? Because then if we do, or if we are able to use DNA, then and we are able to see that there are black people with indigenous ancestry via DNA, then that means that like not everyone's going to be able to come to that party because some people are going to wind up not having that ancestry.
Well, with indigeneity, with dark skin, there's just anti-blackness that is a major issue within indigenous
I agree.
culture within the communities, and that's and it, which is just wild in its exception when you look at how these tribes really whitened themselves up historically.
Yeah.
White is a status. It's not a color. There you go thinking about
Well, okay,
colors again.
excuse me, lighten their skin up
No,
via.
it's white as a status. It's
I know,
benefits,
but I'm
land,
just talking.
privilege, education. It's a
I'm not
status
talking.
quo.
I'm talking about their genetics or how they procreated with
And the
more
black was
people
the
of
pale
lighter
people.
skin.
So let's just say
I'm
people
not
from
trying
Europe.
to get.
Let's just say people from Europe. Let's not get hung up on the words.
I
The
can't really
people
just say
from
people
Europe
from
were
Europe
they were
neither. What
vast.
you'll
They
get
were
into it.
black
Listen,
vast.
that's not gonna work.
I see it. Yeah.
I mean,
That's
like,
not
well,
gonna work.
you all are following the protocol because
Nah,
they
I
all
see it.
said by
It comes a
2032,
time, it comes a point in life when you gotta call these people by their name.
2050,
Caucasians,
they
bruh.
want everybody to be like mulatto. They want everyone. They don't want it to be too many dark. So would I have a problem? You say the African, why you have a problem with it? Well, the African American, that means you got a little of the African. So now the Africans, for some reason, I've known Africans for a long time, and they didn't want to be called black. They didn't want to be called African American. All of a sudden, they're doing, because you're following the protocol. They have a thing to cosplay you, and then they're going to replace you by the time 2032. You're following the program just fine.
I just don't think there's
Okay,
enough of them to do that.
let,
And
I'm
they
gonna.
only make up
That's
like
what
1%
they
of our
want, and that's
population,
what
though.
they're getting, and it's
There
happening
just
because
isn't
a lot
enough
of
of
them
them
are
to do
coming
that.
in.
There isn't
So
enough
let's
of them to
not
do
go.
that.
Even if you say that this game about trying to convince Americans that they're Africans has been going on for a
A long
long,
time.
long,
That should show
long
you right
time,
there.
and
It's a
But
game.
the
hold on.
documentation
Hold
that
on, Steve.
shows
Let's
this
get
I
is
Steely's point.
agree.
Let's get Steely's take, and then we'll go back to open discussion. Let's just get Steely's take.
Go ahead, Steve.
I'm just saying, like, I don't like it's nothing towards Africa, and that's the point. Like, I grew up in the '80s when we was the motherfuckers that made Africa cool. We did it because we didn't know any better. We did not know any better, but I knew that like I wasn't black, and my grandmother never taught me nothing about no African. She just always said we was Louisiana Creoles. We have been here. So
Well,
like
isn't
I'm a
there a point?
third.
Oh, sorry.
I was a third grader that got reclassified from a Negro to an African American. Like
So
I can
yeah.
actually say, hey, I got reclassified.
Well, I mean, on paper,
Like, and
we went from Negro to black,
It
right?
was
Because like
seven countries came
my
with
mom was
that
born in
shit is
1950,
wild.
but my mom was born in 1954, and her birth certificate says Negro. Mine just says black. Like, so I mean, we didn't get reclassified to technically there's not like a racial reclassification to African American. Like our birth certificates still say black on them, right?
Have you watched the 10th
Well, you know,
annual
African
African
American
American
again is a
Summit in
political
New Orleans in
identifier.
1988?
But
You
if
have
you
to
but
watch
hold
Is
on,
that the
y'all
one where
do
Jesse
know
Jackson like
African
It's
American.
on
Hold up,
YouTube.
popularized the term?
but
No,
Steely, African
it's not.
American is a
Hold on,
political
Sage. Hold on,
identifier.
Sage.
Right.
Go
Hold
ahead.
on, Sage. They had a summit for it in 1988 in New Orleans, and the people, bro, it's the people, bro, it's the DEA, the enforcement people, all these people is in this meeting, bro. 25 people decided that we wasn't gonna be called this, regardless of how we felt. Like they literally say all this in the video. Like I would implore you to watch
I
it
know what you're
so
talking.
you
I know
can
what you're
really
talking about,
understand.
Steely.
Yeah, but there's also isn't there also a lot of evidence that the term Negro also is referring to people from Africa as well? So like, what's the difference?
Well, okay. I believe there's a difference.
I
For
would
sure.
say yes, and I
So,
would tell you that
Negro,
those are the first Negroes, and
yeah,
they also
Negro.
had white. They also had white Negroes too.
But we're talking about descriptive
Yeah.
terms, right? So yes, Portuguese seen some dark skinned people say Negro. You get what I'm saying? These are Negroes because they dark skinned.
But referring
The
to them as being
Portuguese
people
said
from
that. Hold up,
Africa, though,
and
right?
the Portuguese said that shit all around the world. Okay, it's a descriptive term.
Well, right. But
Right?
when they said that, they were referring to people from Africa, no?
Wherever they seen dark skinned people at.
But they were
So if
saying
they
like,
see,
yeah, he's got to
if
be
they,
African.
Well, I
so
guess
this is the
Albania
thing.
part of
Hold
this
on, this
game.
is the
It look
thing.
like it's
There's
working.
history,
They're gonna get
but
we're gonna get
go ahead, sister.
cosplayed. We're gonna get cosplayed, and then we're gonna get replaced. And then there's a reward at the end to get you your little black credit card. I guess I sign up for that too, because it look like they said by 2032 they want it to be too many. No, too many people be black. No, be original. They do want you to be black and African American. So all the Africans, I'm gonna say the 7 countries that came in the 1400s attacking us, they're still here, and they've already. Their goal is all of the countries want them 7 countries want to take all our resources. They
Right.
already got 2 of them already. Everybody in the country is rich. They're gonna
Right.
make everybody in their country rich. There's no poverty in their country. And then
Right.
I
All
seen
right.
this in the movie. I guess this movie gonna come
And
true.
and that's
It
why
looked
when
like
people
our
be
land
asking,
was the barren. They done sucked us dry. All the other countries got rich because of people like this. Keep thinking that these people everybody is okay.
and
No, they're
that's why when
not. They're
everybody
after
be
your land.
asking, everybody
Mm.
be asking, how did y'all get taken over? It was 7 different
Yeah,
motherfucking countries that came against us.
yeah, they
It ain't
still
like the
here.
crackers just came over here and did it by themselves.
Africa
They
was
took
one of them.
yes. It
Africa
was
was one of them, and
like
they're
I tell
still working
anybody,
on
if
their
you want to
plan.
know
They
who did
all
it,
the same
if
people.
you want to know who
So
did it,
fearful.
all you got to do is look at who's successful, what races are successful when it comes to running businesses in America, and those was the allies. You got the motherfucking Indians with the dots. You got the Asians that's over here. You got the Russians. You got the ooze.
And it
All
was
of
one
the
of them.
Africans. You got
Britain.
all them different goddamn countries that came against us at one time
Because
on
they
this
couldn't
one
whoop us
land
by
Now tell
mass.
them
themselves.
who opened. Wise. Now tell them who opened the door and let them in. Tell them who opened the door and let them in.
I don't know who opened the door and let them in.
Can,
Who let them in?
Sell out, Nick.
can I ask a
Sell out.
question though? Like real
The
talk.
The ones
So
that want they're selling out right now.
Steely, can I ask you a
who
question
got
though?
tricked into thinking that he's a foreigner on his
Yep.
own land and started
Yep.
operating as a foreigner, ally a Democrat.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
So Steely, question: do you believe
And they think they're gonna
that
get something.
our
They're
community
gonna be on
is
the
at a
end.
position of weakness that we will not, that we would fail at preventing such things that people are pushing to be fearful about?
We've never been that, but I think that we've been trying to sound the alarm and don't nobody want to pay attention.
Yeah. Look like we finna go down to it. Well, like they showed it.
Because if we can look at the work with MLK, they
Yeah.
teach in school that they would have you thinking that everybody was for what MLK was for. And it was a slew of people that was not with MLK. They did not want to desegregate. That crippled our business, our economy, and our power.
Yes. Because I don't know, why would you want to sit in somebody's restaurant? I used to look at that and say, why is they sitting there trying to make somebody get them something to eat? Do you know they put boogers
Well,
and
they can't
everything in
cook.
your food? I wouldn't want to eat nowhere where somebody put boogers
Right.
and
And
stuff
that's
in my
why I be
food.
looking at people when they
Fuck
be on
that.
TikTok crying,
Yeah.
talking about, so you don't want to serve me, you racist. I would be happy. I would be so happy if I walked into a Caucasian restaurant and they said they're not serving me. I wouldn't even be mad. I'd be
Whoa.
like, okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you
But
so much for the warning.
yes, the warning, because don't tell them what they put. That's why
Exactly.
our food right now is full of GMOs and different shit.
And the crazy part is we was the ones who separated from them. When we the ones who separated from them because they was the ones with the disease. So we separated our businesses and had our own businesses and letting them do theirs. That's
Yeah.
why they tried to put us with them. We was winning doing our own shit.
We must like this genetically modified food stuff in the air, because this is
And
what
the
they
whites can't
do. We
cook.
must like this genetically modified food stuff in the air, because this is
And
what
the
they
whites
do
can't
when you
cook.
let them
Everything is
in.
microwave.
I feel like this is like, so I got an envy, right? And then I'm gonna say, oh, I want to be their friend. I want to make up with them so bad, so I do it, right? And they say,
Just
oh,
gonna
you
make
want to
them
be my
rich.
friend? Come on, come on, come on. I'm gonna let you be my friend. Come on, and they finna fuck you up, and you steady thinking they like you. What's wrong? You know what? I don't know. I can't get it. It was. Yeah, we had it going on. That's how they had the Wall Street and all them other rich cities that we had.
No,
But they
but
figured out.
fake ass history would have our people believing that in the 1800s they were slaves.
Yep.
In the 1700s we were slaves. In the 1600s we were slaves. We didn't become slaves until 1865. We was free up until they abolished slavery. Slavery was abolished for them. We was free in 1865. Correct. Correct.
You see their own cousins won't let the white man teach him the Chinese. He teaches all kid because he already know the cousin gonna do.
And it don't even make sense if you
But
go back
we
to
don't.
1865 and the 1800s, how our people was dressed. How our people was
Yeah,
dressed with such status
we
and
was sharp.
yeah, and the tall hats and everything that they dreamed of wanting to have, we had.
We
Like,
looking
how the
like
fuck do
Steely
our
up there. We
people
look like
think?
Steely every day.
Yeah, how do our people think? That's why I be thinking when people say we was enslaved, what is the picture of that? Is you really thinking about roots, nigga?
Man,
Do you think our people was like that?
I had them chiffon, them dresses on them little girl and our little girl, and them cutting them little shiny shoes, and everything was perfect. We didn't miss a beat, boy. We was something else in the food, our businesses, everything was sharp. But y'all wanna integrate. Yeah.
They say a mind is a terrible thing to waste. So when anybody else can occupy your mind and your way of thinking, then that's sad. Like I was telling Daquan yesterday, our people going through the shit because we see what they've been doing to our people now. We ain't going through no shit based off what they said in the 1600s because ain't nobody alive to see that dumbass shit that they claim was going on. But our people ain't start really getting fucked up into the early 1900s. Because it took them from 1865 to the 1900s to make us slaves on paper. It took them from that long to make us slaves on paper genocides. 1865 all the way up into the early 1900s. That's when you would see our people, and our grandmas can vouch that our people was going through some shit with these motherfucking Caucasians running through,
Not just
burning
Caucasian. Don't
crosses.
do that, because you know you mess us up when you do that. It was some black ones in there too, helping them do it. There was
Well, I'm
some
not
black
saying
ones in
they.
there too,
I'm not
and
saying
they
they
was
not, but
from
we're looking at
another
the
country.
motive.
I'm saying they was another country. A lot of them was from a different country. They came over here to attack us too, but they can look like us, and y'all keep falling for them. Hmm. Yeah, so that's the way it go. I guess we can. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to sit in nobody's restaurant that want to piss in my food and put the cover it up and then stir it up and give it to me. I just don't. Okay, yeah. So I don't know. We like it. We love our. I heard that it was a saying. What year was it? Something. Love they crackers. Niggas love they crackers or something like that. I guess that's what's going on. But like I say, I hate to say it's just white because it was different. It was some of us, and then it was a whole lot of them foreigners that's dark like us. They were black. Y'all keep calling yourself black.